Okay, I should be live now. My mic isn't muted like it was yesterday at the start of this stream. We're not having any mistakes at the start of this stream like we did at the start of yesterday's stream. Because today, everybody, we have the Pokemon World Championships Finals to watch here tonight. Yesterday, we watched Day 2. The day before that, we watched the opening ceremony and Day 1. And here today, we have the finals. What everything has come to, what everything has led to throughout the year, all for us right here today. I'm pulling it up myself, making sure we have everything good to go. There is only one stream here today. There are not multiple streams. I will note I have been watching it for the majority of the day today. Actually, since it started, I've had it on. I've been watching it. Here we go. It should be up. Let's see. Right there. Yo, Spear N, thank you for tuning in on Twitch already. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let me go over here. I gotta adjust the title. At the World Championships, I need to put the words finals in there because, you know, it's the finals, the biggest, baddest day of this. It says we're live on YouTube.
We will get to that match in a moment, though, but this is the final reminder you'll hear from me, probably. If you haven't already, make sure to grab the Sylveon that we are currently distributing via Wi-Fi in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. All you have to do is connect to the internet, enter in the code SleepTalkWorld,
has anyone claimed any of these?
and you can get your own Sylveon.
I haven't claimed a single thing.
Oh,
you know what? I got a notification on the dashboard of
to win
YouTube.
the Senior World
New
Championships in the
achievement,
video game.
2,000 subscribers. People like your channel and it shows. I appreciate that. Pokemon, or not Pokemon, YouTube. Thank you. Pokemon, I'm thinking of Pokemon. Yeah, that's sick. I got a 2,000 subscriber noti on here. Yo, Cobra, thank you for tuning in. OTX, thank you for tuning in. Here we go, here we go. Spirit, do you live in the U.S.? It's 2:47 in France where I live. I do live in the U.S., yes. You live in France? That's kind of sick. You guys just had the Olympics. Yes, I do live in the U.S., though. I do live in the U.S.
Might as well.
It is currently 7:48 p.m. for me right here. Yeah, I got to post on Instagram saying I'm live.
Spotify, and I have a challenge for all y'all at home. Every single song has
oh my god, I got a notification on YouTube. You have 2,000 subscribers. That's kind of sick.
From Pokemon Sun
Yo,
Moon or Ultra
OTX,
Sun,
thank you for
Ultra
becoming
Moon.
a member. I appreciate that. Hey, let's go.
We're
're getting members right off rip tonight. Thank you so much.
I'll give you a hint.
Dude, this is sick. We're getting members over here. We got that 2K sub noti. View analytics. What's this analytics thing is showing me? You have 2,041 subscribers, 489,000 total views, 13,000 total likes, 1,500 total comments, 773 total shares. Dang, dude, this is sick. I've never seen all these analytics and stuff like this before. Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate that. But let me get the stream. Copy link for the stream. Let me post over on the gram, letting everyone know I'm live. Yo, Beacon Alexi, thank you for tuning in as well. Get new hype for the member. I appreciate that. Like I said.
Everybody coming
Let's
together,
go.
their favorite trainers, either from their same country or somebody whose story you've fallen in love with over the course of the weekend. Use that hashtag Pokemon World to let us know who you're going to be rooting for here in these three upcoming
link to the stream
matches.
should be on Instagram. I just gotta post on the story. Going to sleep. Gonna see you soon. Hey, we'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow again. Don't worry.
Took a little bit of a tour around the area this morning.
Tomorrow we will be. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow actually.
And I got to walk around the Hilton.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Bro, just watching present videos. Funny. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, dude. That's my legit like one of my favorite videos I've made. Officially, we were talking about this last night. It officially became my most viewed video ever today. Most viewed video and piece of content I think I've ever had on the channel. It became that today. So thanks to everyone that watched that.
And there was also like
Beacon Lexi, I've seen that. A lot of people have been saying they think we're going to get some sort of news for something at the end of the game today. Or at the end of the stream today. That's what everyone's saying. I know for sure they're going to announce Worlds is going to be next year. And my guess is, I think Australia is because they went, because you think about it, it was all mainly US. Then the pandemic happened. Then they went London, Japan, US with Hawaii this year. I think they're going to go somewhere else. I don't think they'll do US back to back. I'm guessing Sydney, Australia for the next one.
But everybody's really a part of the celebration, no matter where you go.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon has always felt like a family to me. So being able to see Pokemon really being embraced by the city of Honolulu, thank you to everybody, of course, for your hospitality, but also to see the Pokemon people give back. We had that Genki ball toss the other day, which are little mud balls that contain microorganisms that actually eat sludge. So we actually, there were a bunch of people who made them and then threw them into the river to help clean it up and, you know, make the world a little bit of a better place.
Imagine
so there's a lot going on here this weekend. It ain't all just video game battles.
I was watching one of his videos today. His not newest video, but his second most newest. Or no, not the newest video or the second newest video, but the third newest video. I was watching that. I was out playing Beldum Com Day today. I maxed out my 100 IV Metagross today to level 50. I'll show you guys it in a sec.
Anytime you get to travel the world, it's always a blessing, Gabby, that we can go
watch the finals on YouTube and Twitch, link in bio. And then let me make sure the link to the stream works. And thanks everyone for all the support. Dude, I ended the stream yesterday. I ended the stream yesterday. When I ended the stream, I think I had 2,014 subscribers. And I just clicked refresh because I was waiting for the stats to come up for the stream just to see, you know, the analytics and stuff for like viewership and all that stuff. And it jumped up to 2018, then 2020, then 2024, then 2025. I just kept gaining subs out of nowhere. So I appreciate all the people that were subscribing yesterday after the stream. It means a lot. It presents announcement hopefully this week. So the reason I made my presents in the first place was because for the past 3 years, it might be 4 years, I think it's 3 years. For the past I said what it was in my video explaining the presents. For the past 3 years, the Tuesday before Worlds, they made a presents. This year they didn't.
It was a very natural metagame development as well as it felt like while
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own. So that's why I made my own. And hopefully we'll get one. A lot of people are saying next week, but like, how early do they? How early or in far in advance do they normally announce the presents? Because you know the Pokemon Day one, we just know it's Pokemon Day. And then the Worlds one was the week before Worlds started. So now it's just like we're kind of just. We're in the unknown. We have no idea.
They'll give you preparation for next
this championship talking to Shadow Calyrex is broken AF, dude. It is. It literally is. I remember, dude, there was someone that tuned in. These were early streams of mine. I'm talking like around, honestly, around this time last year. Because I started streaming beginning of July last year. So it was around like, I'd say end of July, early August of last year. Someone was tuning into the streams. I don't remember what their name was, but at this time, it was before Worlds. It was beginning of August, end of July, beginning of August last summer. Someone was tuning in saying that Shadow Calyrex is one of the best competitive Pokemon there is, and it's going to be insane for the next couple years. And I didn't know anything about. I'm like, oh, okay. I'd never even played doubles battles before. And then here we are at Worlds this year, and I mean, dude, it's just been absolutely cooking.
It's really interesting to see
in the finals, though. It is, I believe, Ice Calyrex versus Miraidon as the two restricted Pokemon. We have Luca, the guy from Italy, he has the Miraidon, and then Yuta, the guy from Japan, he has the Ice Rider Calyrex. Those are the two we're going to see. And then, Rox, Taku, I'll just say Rox, in between and on Twitch, think we're going to get any Legends ZA news anytime soon. I've been seeing more and more people talk about it. Like I said, a present, obviously if they make a present, so I think they'll mention it. But one thing I think is kind of, I do think, we're going to get something soon, right?
Yeah, and I think from the
we have
perspective
to.
Of our juniors,
yo, Pokeclubs, thank you for tuning back in. I appreciate it. 108, thank you for tuning in as well. You got a shiny Metagross today? Hey, congrats. Oh, I gotta show you guys my Metagross. Oh, wait, I have an egg hatching. I have an egg hatching. I have an egg hatching. I have an egg hatching real quick. I'm gonna go full cam when I hatch it. I'll go full cam when I hatch it. Dude, I gotta show you guys my Metagross. I maxed out my 100 IV Metagross today.
The families of these juniors finalists are, but also how excited our finalists are to play on stage.
Well, let's go ahead and meet.
Here we go. Egg hatching. Give me something good. Shiny. Dude, I want a shiny Sableye so bad, but.
Good, because we have some great players for you. We are about to welcome them to the stage.
Today's not the day.
Please put your hands together for your first competitor from the United States, Kevin Hahn.
Look at this. 4,286 CP on my Metagross right there. Max that thing out today. Ooh, that guy's got a Dracovish plush. I like it when we see people bring the plushies up. I think it's cool. You got a Shundo? I've never gotten a Shundo before. Look how little that kid is. He probably beat me.
All right, just one question for both of you. First, Kevin, in order to come out on top in this match, what will be
Wait,
the
are
most
these two
important
battling
thing
each
for you
other?
to do in your play?
I think the most important thing for me to do is to stay calm, and even if I lose a game, I have to not get tilted because that will really distract me from playing well.
Yeah, staying calm, not getting
This is like
tilted.
Brock Lesnar going up Jose Aldo. Like, what are they doing here? What's the age gap on these two? I thought both of them were going to be little kids.
Go ahead and use it.
そうですね。この試合で優勝するために何が一番重要なんですか。
はい。EA とかのポケモンたちをうまく使いこなすことが重要だと思います。
The most important thing is that he uses his Pokemon well.
That's a great advice as well. All right,
Good
let's hear it
strats,
for
good
our two
strats.
competitors. We cannot wait to watch you play.
I'm excited to see what
Thanks so
teams
much.
they
Go
use.
ahead and take your seats. Casters, let's get this match started.
I got a good shiny, I think, too.
Thank you very much.
Did I evolve
Anna.
a shiny one?
Really
Meta.
fun start to the VG
Oh, no, I got a
section
3-star shiny
of
one.
the
Is this it? No, this is from
Sunday.
2018.
Kevin and Tatsuomi are two very
1691.
accomplished trainers in the juniors division.
Yeah, this
We're
one's
looking at the
3-star.
team matchups
I got this
as
one today
well.
that I evolved.
think this should be an
1691 3-star
explosive
shiny.
matchup between these two
Metagross.
juniors.
And what's so exciting for me
Meteor
is that
Mash
both
is
these
such a
juniors
good
are
move.
here with their
Specifically, I like battling now. One thing I'll note is for
Tatsunori
Worlds,
actually competed alongside of his
for Worlds,
brother
it's Great League is what they
in the
compete in,
juniors
but I will note
division.
Master League's my
Kevin
favorite league to
and
compete
his
in
brother
Pokemon
Chris
Go. Like when you just play for fun.
the tournament
And
together last night.
Metagross is my
Chris
dog.
also
I've won
a
so many
regional
games because of
champion,
that.
so we might have
And
an international champion. So really, we might have a bit of a new Pokemon family rising here from both sides of the field.
Yeah, it was really great getting to talk to both these trainers backstage before, seeing how confident they were, seeing how excited they were, and seeing how excited their family was backstage supporting them. But the first thing I got to say out here, Gabby, with Kevin Hahn in particular, I mean, this is potentially the start of a huge run. We'll get into the accomplishments as we get prepared. But one of the big
people there, man. Look at
Kevin
everybody
Hahn
there.
Normally, routinely takes down Masters Divisions players at our locals. He's not from Jersey technically, so I can't claim him, but he lives close enough to Jersey to participate.
Kevin Hahn's
at
from
our
the
NJ
US.
locals.
Look at that.
I've definitely taken
Look at the
it
teams,
out,
look at the teams,
so
look at the
I'm
teams.
not gonna lie.
Instant we're okay. Kevin Hahn's like a
Players I
typical
was
team
hanging
we've
out with
seen.
this weekend from
And dude,
Tri-State, they're like, "Oh, yeah,
the
I've
kid
lost
from
to
Japan,
Kevin
he's
too."
got
So here at his young
he's
age
got
in the junior
Iron
division,
Freds,
he's beating Masters players. That's good.
Zamazenta,
Shows
which
how
Zamazenta
effective
we
he
saw
is.
Michael using.
Let's take a look at
But
the
then
Pokemon
she-
matchup
you-
here between both of these trainers, as Kevin is running Calyrex Ice Rider, which is the same restricted he won the North American International Championships with.
Yo, Hector, thank you for tuning in.
Facing
Yo,
off
Louis Cat, thank you for the
his
dono. I
own
appreciate that.
Zamazenta. Now, you
Thank
may
you, thank
look
you,
at
thank
this
you.
team and think
Doesn't
it
matter
looks
who
a little
plays
bit
our favorite
familiar
champ.
to
I
what we
appreciate
saw
that.
from Michael
Like I told you
Kelch
guys,
the
the
other day in
goal,
the
my
Masters
goal next
division.
year, I want
But
to
that
get
Iron
invited to Worlds by
Treads, I know
Pokemon.
you mentioned
I ain't gonna be
earlier,
there.
Joe, because you were so excited.
Compete.
What a crazy
I want to get
Pokemon
invited
to
out as
see
a
on
creator to go
unique
make
team like
content there.
this.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely. I
goal.
don't think,
We're gonna find out where it is here
even
tonight
Michael
as well.
Kelch is going to be using Iron Treads. We actually saw.
We're gonna
multiple
find out
times
where
on
it is
stream
tonight.
this weekend, and it definitely makes sense for a metagame counter. That steel ground typing, also a really fast Pokemon, has a lot of utility.
Ooh, he won the
We'll
North
see if it comes
the
to this
New
matchup.
Orleans
Looking
one.
at
That's
these accomplishments,
wow.
Kevin Hahn, the
EUIC, NAIC,
and NAIC
Fort Wayne Regional, then
champion
London World's
this
top
season.
16.
So that would be quite the trifecta if he can cap the season with the
Yeah,
Worlds
he's
win.
won.
Not
That's
only
kind of
that,
crazy.
He is a 7-time
North American
regional
International Champion,
We could only
European
fit
International
one on the
Champion,
graphic,
and he
so
could win
was
World
asked to
Champ
pick
as
his
well,
favorite
all in
regional
one year.
championship, and it was Fort Wayne in 2023 because that was the same one that his older brother won in the seniors division.
Thank you for
So they
tuning
had
in.
a nice
So
family
any
win there.
announcements that they
Kevin
would
looking
make
to
will be at the
continue
very
winning
end. There's
here
the whole
on a
closing
incredible
ceremony they will
streak. I mean,
have.
winning
We got a
the
couple of
European
hours
and
until
the
that
North
takes
American
place.
International
We have
Championships
it's the
back-to-back in a
juniors,
season
this
is an
game,
incredible
the juniors
accomplishment.
division,
His opponent,
Masters,
Tatsuomi,
no, junior
was
division,
able to
senior
win
division,
a
master
round one
division,
bye in this
award
competition
ceremony,
by
closing
placing
ceremony.
top 4 at the Japan Championships earlier on the season, but will have to face down a very formidable opponent.
Maybe during an intermission here, we should go back to last year's World Championships and see if they how it played out.
Kevin's giving himself a lot of options. He
appreciate it from Instagram, big fan.
Really
Yo, hey man, thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate that so much. So many people have come over from Instagram to check out the stream and videos and stuff. To anyone that's found me from like those other platforms and you've made your way from the other platforms to here, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it so much. That's so cool. Thank you.
The same choice, Scarf or Shifu, with coaching as well. He's definitely using just really strong core Pokemon in the metagame. There is that fun fact: EUIC and NAIC champion ready.
That's crazy. EUIC and NAIC. Gotta get to Worlds next year. Worlds is like that seems like the coolest. I'm interested to see where it's gonna be as well.
By Michael Kelch's win.
That's what I'm so excited to see. Where is it gonna be located?
Earlier on this
Imagine like Australia. I think that'd be a sick spot for Worlds. Because Australia is like the closest thing we have to real life Pokemon.
Has a couple of very
because like I think Hawaii is the perfect Pokemon region. If I were to pick anywhere that'd be like
the Chi-Yu with the choice
to like embody a Pokemon region, I think Hawaii's perfect because of Alola. It's literally perfect.
This team plays very similarly
but then you look at
this matchup compared to what we saw yesterday.
What Pokemon are these crazy, wild, absurd creatures? Australia is full of that stuff.
I'm sure the Tornadus and the Iron Treads were really standout Pokemon for Tatsuomi when he was playing Miraidons in Swiss.
Not sure how to explain it, but you're very unique content creator for Pokemon World. I don't watch a ton of Pokemon stuff because a lot of the previous players are a bit older and out of touch. So your level of humor and content is super funny and relatable. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm trying, like, we were talking about that last night. Like, I see all these other creators. I won't get on a too big of a tangent here. I talked about this yesterday a bit. But, I see people have asked me to do the Nuzlocke, the Shiny Hunts, which I do those on stream. But specifically for my videos and stuff I make, like, I feel like everyone's done everything you can do. And I feel like it's just like, it's kind of, no disrespect to the people that do that stuff, but I feel like it's almost boring at this point. Like, how different can you really make a Nuzlocke or a Shiny Hunt? So the stuff I'm trying to make is like the Pokemon Presents I made this week. I've never seen anyone do that before. Like, I'm trying to go with like out of the box ideas that I think I relate it's like about some of like the most obvious Pokemon things ever. I swam against the water type Pokemon. Obviously water type Pokemon can swim. How fast could I swim against them? But like stuff like that, like I just like I have a bunch. I came up with an idea today, and I have a very good idea for a video. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna try to get it for next Saturday. If not, it'll be the Saturday after. But just out of the box ideas and stuff like that. Because like I feel like when people think of Pokemon creators, they think of people just playing the game. Now we stream every single weekday, and I play all different games. I play Unite, I play Showdown, I play MMO. We play Scarlet and Violet. We're playing Black 2, White 2 right now. We played Sword and Shield on stream. We played Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee on stream. We've done all kinds of games on stream. But like, in terms of like videos and other content to make, like, I'm trying to come up with some of the coolest, craziest stuff that you've never seen before.
And he has several options for that, but we'll just have to take a look for ourselves.
Exo, I'll say X. Thank you for, again, thank you so much for tuning in. And you saying that, like, that means so much, man. I appreciate that. FaZe Alien, thank you for tuning in on Twitch. I appreciate that as well. Here we go. Game 1 of the Junior Finals. See, this is how it should... Wait, is this a special background for the finals?
With the spectator mode too.
I know, it's always so exciting to see just how incredible the crowd looks in the game for these
It is a special one.
Finals. But let's go ahead and talk about the board state here, because this Incineroar is a great supporting option for the Calyrex, but is going to be a bit slower.
Oh, shiny Incineroar too!
So you have to be very careful.
So this is a different, they said it's spectator mode. This isn't how we've watched the previous games.
Is he considering Trick Room in this matchup
should I move my...
Because Calyrex Ice Rider is going to be slower than both of the Pokemon
on
Tatsuomi's side of the field. Does seem like a great opportunity here to try and use it either this turn or next turn.
Wait, so we can't see what moves they're picking or anything like that?
Zamazenta does not have enough attack power to take it out.
I don't know if I like this one better.
The Trick Room really does make a lot of sense, Gabby, because looking at Tatsuomi's team. Zamazenta, fastest thing out of all the Pokemon. Choice Scarf on the Chi-Yu as well. The Tornadus is also super fast. Iron Tread's an incredibly fast Pokemon that Kevin Hahn might be able to twist the dimensions and switch up the narrative. But for
I appreciate that.
Terra Ghost Incineroar on the first turn here. Kevin using
Terra Ghost Incineroar looks so cool.
Zamazenta doesn't want to take any damage.
Like, look at that, the purple on it. There doesn't just, especially with a shiny, dude, it pops so well.
Fake out, but it's into the protect on Calyrex, so Kevin doesn't take any damage this turn.
Incineroar's ripping the parting shot. Oh, but it protected, but it's still.
So really smart, safe play from Tatsuomi.
A lot of times when you see Terra Ghost on an Incineroar, you assume that it is there to stop fake out. Once you are
does parting shot not go through? Oh no, it's the substitute it goes through on.
Type attacks don't work either.
I was gonna say parting shot will still do the drop, but it doesn't
if you
because
can
it's not
afford to use the terrestrialization on your Incineroar, you essentially set up a Pokemon
I was watching
that
Wolfie. I thought I had a new
damage
piece of
from
information I
Zamazenta.
learned there from
And
Wolfie,
what's
but I was
better than
wrong.
not taking damage? Reducing the damage it can do as well, and just
Dude,
as you
look at
pointed out,
Rillaboom's yoked, man. Look at his forearms. I gotta get Rillaboom-like forearms.
In this turn.
Right onto either of Tatsuomi's Pokemon here that are both physical attackers. Yes, Body Press uses the defense stat instead of your attack stat, but it would still work pretty well. Here's the double target with the grassy terrain boost from the Woodhammer.
Calyrex is hanging on, dude. You doubled into the Calyrex and it ate both of those. That Will-O-Wisp just threw?
Connecting onto Tatsuomi Zamazenta. So now it is
Zamazenta's burned
now.
now.
It will be doing half of the damage from its attacks. Trick Room successfully going up. Now for the next 4 turns on Kevin's end with these Twisted Dimensions, these slower Pokemon will move first, and that's bad news for Tatsuomi.
It is bad news for Tatsuomi,
how fast
but he
is
does still
Zamazenta,
have
though?
some
Isn't
plays he
Zamazenta
can
probably
make here.
slow as well?
While the Rillaboom is at full health, there is a chance prior to any attack boost on that Calyrex that it can survive a Glacial Lance, assuming there's still a partner standing next to it to reduce the damage. So if Tatsuomi has trained
the
his
Ghost
Rillaboom
Terra
to
hat's a
survive
good one,
that
isn't
attack, he can fire off another
Room sets are
Woodhammer
annoying.
into
Dude, they
that
kind of are.
Calyrex. We saw that it didn't do as much
Like,
damage
we were talking
as
about
one
that
would
last night. I'm
assume,
like,
thanks to
dude,
the
the Trick Room,
activity
like, if
from
you
that
throw up a Trick Room,
Incineroar,
you
but it's still gonna
take
put it within
command and
knockout range of
completely
another
change the
attack,
game.
which is exactly why Kevin decides to keep it safe and switch it out.
If you went setting up Trick Room.
Will swap
Like, I used Trick Room
Raging
for a little bit
Bolt.
with
Raging Bolt,
Blood Moon
one
or
of the Pokemon
Saloon when that
taken
first came out, the
competitive
Kodiak
Pokemon
Bear.
by storm
I
over the
would
last
go
half
Trick
year
Room
ever since it became legal
with
through the
Cresselia and then the
DLC,
Kodiak
a
Bear
very
next to it.
offensive
Dude,
Pokemon.
you
The
delete
wild
everything.
card from Zamazenta
No one,
will
because
be
no one
wasted
survives
since
the Kodiak Bear's
Calyrex
attacks.
swapped off the field anyway.
And then if something does and it gets an attack off on Blood Moon or Saluna, Cresselia can heal it up with
by one stage, but of
what's
course,
it called?
if it goes for the Woodhammer into this,
It has some move where it can
Raging
heal
Bolt
up
on the other
you
end,
itself and
it's
its
still gonna be a
teammate.
solid
And also,
defensive
do it
spot for
has
Kevin.
I would have helping hand
it
on
gives
it.
him the opportunity to send that Calyrex right back out onto the field once the damage
Alex ain't
has
tuning
been
in as well.
lowered even further.
Zamazenta is kind of fast. Boots out
U-turn
128.
targeting down that Raging Bolt
That is
also
faster than I
means
thought
that
it was. I was thinking it
Calyrex
was like
doesn't
80
take
something.
any damage from that switch. Essentially swapping
I've never used it.
spots
Sword and
so it
Shield
could
I
dodge
never
the
played.
U-turn.
Right,
I never really
now
battled
Tatsuomi's
too
gonna
much
have to
during
reveal his
Sword and
third
Shield.
Pokemon
I did
in
at the
this game,
start,
winning
I did
one of
OU
those
in
Pokemon
Showdown,
the
but
back
that's
that are
about the
generally
extent of what I
speedy,
did, so I'm not
say,
really
except for
familiar with all
Raging
those
Bolt.
Pokemon too much.
The other 3 are pretty fast Pokemon that would not
In terms
be
of battling, I'm not like
quickly
those
under
some of
Trick
those fraud people you see that don't even know the
Exactly.
names of
I
them.
do want to take a
Like,
moment
I love
to talk
Mystic
about the
7
overall
for
positioning
Pokemon
of
Go,
Kevin in
but
this Trick Room right
dude, I
now,
remember when
as
Gen
he
3 was
sends
coming
the
out
Iron
in Pokemon Go.
Treads.
He had never heard of
Joe
Aggron. He had never heard of Salamence. Like, to be fair, he kind of like got into Pokemon with Pokemon Go, but I'm like, I was kind of laughing like, this is like the biggest Pokemon Go creator, and he doesn't know Pokemon as Gen 2.
It's going to be moving slower under
Shout out
Trick Room.
Mystic 7 though. He's a
hardly gonna
Pokemon
take
Go
any
goat.
damage from either Glacial Lance or a Draco Meteor.
And
I'm not gonna lie,
unfortunately
my
for
collar's a
Kevin,
little-
I think he
little
has
tight
to
on
make
this.
a
You have to
very
adjust my
defensive
neck.
play here, either by switching out one of these Pokemon or by letting them get KO'd.
Dude, that's
this
so
turn,
sick, like all the
mostly
background and
from an
stuff.
attack
So
from
this
that
is
Iron
custom for
Treads.
this. See,
And
this
then
is what I've been
sending your
saying.
Incineroar the
They're
next turn to
capable of
threaten it
doing
with
this.
Intimidate,
They should do
threaten
this
it
for
with a
every game.
Will-O-Wisp. It's a very unique
Let them
Pokemon
battle
that
in
I
like a
don't think
custom
he's
place.
encountered
They don't need
throughout
the
his
whole
run here
elaborate,
at the
full
World
crowd
Championships. So let's see how
and all
he's going
that
to
stuff.
plan a strategy
But,
around the huge threat that it brings.
I mean,
And you have
it
to
would be
wonder
cool
what
for
Tatsuomi's
Worlds at
strategy
always have every balance with special arena.
Terrestrialized here in game 1 as Zamazenta's had some damage mitigation from the burn, might not be as valuable. You turn into a dragon type and you'll be very weak to both of Kevin's Pokemon, so maybe it's up to this Iron Treads or Rillaboom later on in this game.
One thing I don't like is you can't see their health right now. This spectator mode I don't like as much as the other mode.
Kevin's end as well as Iron Treads protecting, so if Zamazenta went for the protect, it wouldn't work. But of course,
one thing I've noticed already, this battle's very slow.
Good information all around for these trainers. In addition, by double protecting there, Kevin ensures that he can target down attacks into that Iron Treads when it doesn't have protect
dude, you're a monster.
A little bit strange
Regigigas without, because neutralizing gas, for those that don't know, which is Weezing's ability, makes it so abilities are null. No abilities do anything. So Regigigas doesn't have slow start.
And then you can, again, adjust to the game.
That's like the slacking I have in the randomizer. We have a non-truant slacking. It has drought because the abilities are random.
So these Draco Meteors, even if they
and that thing hits like a truck. Same base stat total as the box legendaries of its gen, Kyogre and Groudon.
Making a big call on this turn to swap that Iron Treads back out into the Rillaboom. High horsepower into the ground type is now resisted, so a really smart call. But the Draco connects. It hits
Draco Meteor almost takes out Rillaboom right there.
In the red. The double target does not get the KO, and now Body Press will hit into
That's kind of crazy. Rillaboom surviving the...
There's one more turn of Trick Room remaining now, and the Rillaboom has
right
access to fake out once
again. See, I love
again
stuff like that. Like, look, we have 3 legendaries on the field and a starter. I think that's so cool.
So even though Tatsuomi's
that, like, Rillaboom's a competitively viable Pokemon. Watching Worlds makes me really wish we had a new Pokemon Coliseum Gamer Battle Revolution, and they used that for tournaments. Give us a cool spectator mode in game during Worlds. We would load up their games and watch. That would be sick.
To deny Calyrex the chilling nades from knocking out the Rillaboom, you can go ahead and target down another
I do wish there kind of were more
on
games.
The opposing side of the field if Rillaboom opts to go for fake
like they did more stuff like that. But to be fair, they only really have the games that are like I think they're continuously updated.
Calyrex will swap out in this position,
like
so a little bit worried about a fake out going into that slot.
The new sets.
And now that Incineroar with
Unite,
Terra Ghost,
Pokemon Go now
immune to the fake out if that's what Rillaboom wants to go for. But Tatsuomi had a really smart play. The previous turn, can he get another advantage?
I've never played it myself, but I know what it is.
Trick Room.
I think a lot of people would like that,
though.
though.
So he's shown off all 4 Pokemon he brought in game 1, and smartly does not click the fake out. Instead, uses that momentum to U-turn out.
Oh, I thought Rillaboom went down there.
One strategy that has been popular in Pokemon for almost an
eternity
we
can't see the items.
Is this idea that
on
as long as you can
whatever they
keep
used to
switching
watch
your
the games yesterday,
you
could see the items.
You can reposition, you can respond to whatever threats your opponent brings, and with the
actually, no, they put the items on the screen now that I think of it. They don't put them up here now.
There is so much damage potential from him on the field right now.
I don't know. You know, we got kind of a mix of things here. Yeah, the games yesterday, I was like, I liked how that we saw everything, but I didn't like the background. This one, I like the background. But we don't see as much. I think I would take the background over it. And again, when it's cutting out there, that's not me or the stream or anything. That's like the footage of the game. Because you can tell because the commentators, there's no issues with them.
Scarf is allowing it to outspeed Chi-Yu on the other hand.
I think Counter-Strike did something similar to that. It's funny you mentioned Counter-Strike because that's really where I got the idea for doing this. I've never played Counter-Strike before in my life, but I kept seeing clips of Oni Pixel on TikTok. I'm like, this dude's hilarious. And I looked up some of his stuff, and he does like watch parties for Counter-Strike tournaments. And so I'm like, you know, I should do that for Pokemon tournaments. I'm like, you know, let's do it for Worlds. And that's where I got the idea to do these streams. And let me just say, best idea I've ever had. These past 3 days have been some of my favorite streams I've ever done. Would make the battles we went to watch the whole game with battles with the battle animation would be more interesting. You can have native in-game detailed move types, ability, etc. Like with Pokemon, honestly, like they can do anything. I feel.
In game 1, body press follow up into the Urshifu.
They should do like they're capable of doing something like that. So I think they should do something like that. It is so cool.
Almost takes it out in a single hit, and that is the power of the combination.
So nobody's gone down, right? Or no, the tornado, just didn't bring whip, right?
It means your special attacks do so much damage. Even though Chi-Yu locked into a single target attack, this Chi-Yu, if given the opportunity to attack, could easily KO the Urshifu or this.
Yeah, has nobody gone down yet?
Now Kevin does have options to get.
I mean, it's the World's Finals. It's World's Finals. It doesn't get bigger than this.
Faster, and we did see that another Surging Strikes would be enough to lock in that KO. But the Raging Bolt also has access to a priority attack in Thunderclap. So if Kevin assumes the Chi-Yu will be attacking again this turn,
one thing I'm noticing, there's a lot of
swaps into the Urshifu
switching.
slot. Urshifu was hit by a body press the last 2 consecutive turns.
I feel like
so
more
now
than
Kevin
not even like
body press goes into that
U-turn
slot.
stuff, or like
Now
we have
he will
U-turn,
be
volt switch, and those type of
immune
moves.
to it as a ghost
This
type.
is, or like parting shot as well. They're just actually like just switching the Pokemon. Way more than we've ever seen so far from the games we've watched already. It's crazy Incineroar's been relevant since 2019. Dude, Incineroar, I love Incineroar. Oh, the Raging Bolt goes down to the body press. First Pokemon going down so far this battle.
And gets rewarded KOing Raging Bolt.
Even if Raging
I
Bolt
love how
opted to
Zamazenta lights up like
thunderclap
that.
Zamazenta,
Like
so
the
it could attack
red on the
before
shield.
being knocked out.
But dude,
Zamazenta
Incineroar,
has
people hate on it so much. And now I've never
health,
played
it
actual
wouldn't have
competitive Pokemon,
mattered.
so I
Tatsuomi
understand
said
competitive
this when
people
we were
might have
talking
different
to him
feelings about
before the
Incineroar.
game. He
But I think it's so
loves
cool that
bulky
Incineroar
He
is the
loves
best
having
Pokemon of
the
all time in
ability to
competitive
stay on
Pokemon.
the
Because
field
it's a
and
starter
take all
Pokemon.
of these hits.
Once again,
And
look at this.
even though the Zamazenta
You'd think
was
the
weakened by
legendaries would be the best
Intimidate,
Pokemon.
was
The pseudo
weakened by
legendaries
a
or all these other
burn,
crazy
it is
mythicals
still
or these
doing
crazy
enough
monstrous
damage
Pokemon.
thanks to the time
But
it
it's
has
the
to make a huge
or it's the
difference in his game plan.
WWE
Now this
Fire
Calyrex
Cat
is
from
already down to that
Alola.
third
That's
of
the best
his
Pokemon of all
HP.
time.
Sure, the
I think
Incineroar
that's
has
so cool.
effectively full HP, but there's no Trick Room up. Your restricted is very close to being knocked out. Losing Raging Bolt, who does so much
You know what's
damage on
crazy to
Kevin's
think
end.
about,
It's such
too?
a difficult position here in game 1.
Incineroar
It
and
is. That all
Rillaboom
being said,
are
though, with
one
the
gen
combination
apart.
of Urshifu and Calyrex still available at this moment
Like,
in
I
time,
think back to
I think
Incineroar.
Kevin
I feel like
has a little
Incineroar is
bit of
so
options
old.
here. This Urshifu has the Choice Scarf, like we were
Rillaboom,
talking about
to me,
earlier,
feels
but it
brand
also
new
has
still.
coaching, which means there's a way to power
But then when
up
you
this
think to, like,
Calyrex. One thing
I
he
mean,
could
Chimchar
consider
and
doing here
Torchic,
after a turn of fake
they're
out and
one
maybe
gen
even
apart,
setting
about
up
4
Trick
or
Room
3
again,
and 4.
is to try to power
Just
up
like
this Calyrex
Incineroar
so
and
it can make a
Rillaboom
bigger
are
difference in this
7 and 8.
matchup.
Like it's
Rillaboom
just
clicked
I don't
a
know. It's just
U-turn,
I feel like
almost
that
as
like
if it's choice locked
Alola
into it, but it's
to
not. Consistently,
Galar.
Rillaboom swapped onto the field
Like
as
I
a
feel like
defensive
Alola
pivot,
was so
and then
long ago
go
and
U-turn
Galar was
into
so
something else
recent.
in the back,
But in
revealing
actuality, it's
Iron
like they're not
Treads
far
yet again.
apart at
It's
all.
been a while, but it looks pretty poised right now until Calyrex twists the dimensions. That
Trick
means
Room's
Kevin
going
got
back up.
to
So we're
bring
into
his
2
Calyrex
Trick
on the
Rooms
field
here.
and set Trick Room up for
This
a
is the
second
longest
time
battle
in
we've
game
watched
1.
on stream.
It is a second time, but again, there's so much damage on the field, and I'm not sure if Kevin can match that damage from Tatsuomi. Calyrex
Dude,
Ice
we
Rider
got
did
big
manage
boy
to twist the
Iron
dimensions
Treads
in its
over here
favor,
making
which
an
means
appearance
it will
first.
be able to attack first.
Second?
But
Second
like you were
appearance on
saying,
stream, I
Joe,
believe.
this
There was
Iron
one other
Treads will
person that
be able
used
to
it.
take a hit from it quite comfortably. It's most likely going to need 2 hits from High Horsepower or Glacial Lance to secure that KO. Meanwhile, Zamazenta is still free to try and wide guard if you want to stop this Calyrex from attacking, or you can continue to use those body pressures to just wear down the HP of your opponent.
Well, Kevin has protected his Calyrex Ice Rider on the turn. Knockoff goes into that protect. Tatsuomi is just making so many great decisions turn after turn in game 1. The body press will hit Calyrex as protect stone. No
Man,
damage
another turn
really
with just
from
literally
anybody.
nothing
just a
happened.
little bit of HP recovery thanks to the grassy terrain.
While the HP recovery is nice, though, it's not necessarily going to help even out the Pokemon count here. You have to start looking at how Kevin can go on the offense in this matchup. Iron Treads is certainly the bigger enemy here, as with grassy terrain active on the field, you can utilize Steel
Oh, you know,
Roar.
I
It's
just
a
noticed at the top of the
steel type
screen.
attack. It has a very
Grassy
high
terrain,
base
2
power,
turns. Trick
but
Room,
it
3
only
turns.
works
Oh,
when
wow,
there's
that's actually
terrain on
sick.
the field. It'll also remove the terrain by using that move. Now, you might look
I
at that
feel like
Zamazenta
seeing it
and
from
think,
this
well,
angle,
he
too,
can
makes it feel
appreciate
like the
some
battle's
healing, you know,
taking
you're
so
gonna be
much
taking
longer.
damage over time thanks to the burn.
Because we can't
However,
see
I
what
think
they're
in
doing.
this scenario, you don't necessarily mind losing your terrain because it's going to stop your opponent's Pokemon from recovering.
I like
as
Incineroar's
well.
stance.
But
Do we stand
it
there
looks
like,
Iron
come at
Treads is just content to
Let's
keep waiting
go.
out this
He's ready to
turn.
throw
Iron
hands.
Treads really just
Yo, M, thank you for tuning in.
more
Looking
of a
sharp. I appreciate
warning
that.
on
Thank you.
Tatsuomi's
Had to
end,
dress
like,
up for the
hey, eventually
finals.
I'm gonna click a hit here. Rillaboom hangs on with 1 HP.
Oh, but Rillaboom goes down.
Into that slot. Double
Oh, I was gonna say, like, how is he
Finally,
surviving
Rillaboom
that?
goes down with what will be 1 turn of grassy terrain remaining, but what a crucial survival from the Rillaboom there. The hit from body press will bring Calyrex down low, but just because of that burn from so many turns ago, Gabby, it's really not doing enough
I was gonna say the body
damage.
press is doing
That's
nothing
very
now.
common strategy when
We kind of
facing
saw that
off
with
against
Michael's
Zamazenta
team
as
yesterday
well.
when the
You lock
Chen
into
Pao
Ghosted
wasn't on the field.
Crystallization on your
The
Incineroar, so
body
it'll
press
really
wasn't doing
struggle
that
to
much.
deal damage.
But when Chen powers on the field with the stat buff or boost from it, it was insane how much damage it would do.
And you kind of wait it out.
Maybe I try that. Maybe I try to make a team with the Zamazenta. That's one of my favorite Pokemon I've seen so far.
Trick Room ends, and now
like
you're able to go on the offense and really threaten some huge damage.
Tatsuomi doing exactly what you mentioned, the double protect, so he doesn't take any damage from Kevin's super powerful Pokemon on his side. That high horsepower goes into Iron Head's protect, as well as Incineroar's knockoff there. So you can see that's multiple turns in a row, or of the last times that Iron Head has been on the field, that he has been double targeting that slot because it is such a massive threat.
It is, and now that the
so is he gonna swap Iron Hands out now, or is he gonna leave him in?
The Iron Treads is going to be one of the fastest Pokemon on the field.
Trick Room has one turn left.
To avoid damage
Does he go for a double protect here?
Protect for a turn, but that's not going to necessarily help you navigate the situation any better. I think you have to go on the offense. Just try.
One thing I didn't really realize was how little Donphan actually is.
And then also start
I was looking up. I think I was looking at a thumbnail for something. I was looking for pictures of Donphan. And I was finding pictures of Donphan next to Ash. Like, man, Donphan's tiny. Got it down to the yellow first hit, and then knockoff is going to take it out!
First because of Trick Room. Double target means Iron Treads. All of those turns of positioning meant it didn't get any attacks off. The Life 4 being knocked off as well. Here's the body press, but because of
body
the
press still can't take it out.
Recovery from the grassy terrain turns,
yes, yeah, I knew they had to do something with the
and now Trick Room has ended, and now
the Iron Treads there. I knew that was gonna happen.
Zamazenta and the Chi-Yu standing on the field for Kevin.
Terra Ghost too.
The
Terra Ghost hat is a pretty cool one. I like the ghost.
But it is going
and the
to be
purple, like the
super
crystal purple, looks sick as well.
From the Chi-Yu's dark type attacks, and there of course is that Zamazenta as well still for Tatsuomi.
I don't want to, because
that being said, though, the victory conditions for Kevin are starting to look good. All you have to do is take out that Chi-Yu, and the Zamazenta
just had to make sure for a second.
Deal damage.
There's 3 minutes left here in this game one. That is how long and back and forth this battle between these juniors has gone. Dark Pulse though into the ghost.
Oh, one taps Incineroar! One hit KO!
Boosted damage from
look at Incineroar.
This Pokemon is just so difficult.
As he falls.
The Terra Ghost that helped Kevin on turn 1 is costing him late in the game.
That Terra Ghost is not as
2v2,
safe to make
2v2.
if there is a
Both are down
like
2 mons.
Chi-Yu in the back. So that is an adjustment that Kevin will have to make going into game 2 of this matchup. For now, you certainly can utilize your Urshifu to outspeed
do the Gen 9 is some of the most broken legendaries. Dude, all of those ones, all of those like
what
are they called?
But it's at such
Chi-Yu,
there is no
Chen-Pao,
more
Ting-Lu, and
around. Another body press honestly
Wo-Chen. Chi-Yu goes down here. All those, they're all cracked. Ruins of treasure, ruins of treasure. They're cracked. They're cracked. What? I mean, speaking of legendaries, we got the Gen 8 ones out in full force right here. From we got a box legendary and the legendaries from 2 DLCs, and then the Calyrex finally falls to those body presses.
Body press for literally 18 minutes, and he finally gets rewarded.
Well, technically, with 3 minutes remaining, your math is not far off there, Joe. But yes, we are down to the final 2 Pokemon here. Urshifu will continue to move first, and we will continue to see these surging strikes connect 3 times with the Zamazenta. It looks like
it's going to take
Urshifu's
got it. I think Kevin's got it.
To lock in that KO here. Let's see how it does.
Will Incineroar be able to help give Kevin the win?
Oh no! The Zamazenta takes it out!
And Tatsuomi Shimanuki is going to win a long drawn-out game.
Wow! Wow!
Bulky Pokemon indeed.
Absolutely.
That Zamazenta was incredible.
That was crazy, dude. I'm gonna have to use Zamazenta now.
And it didn't leave, even though it was burned, even though it was.
Oh, look, we can see all the items.
That
it was Citrus Berry, Assault Vest, and the Rillaboom.
The
Rillabooms were Assault Vests. Whoever said that earlier, they were Assault Vests.
That battle. And the way
Choice
that
Vest to use,
Tatsuomi
Safety Goggles on the Incineroar, Clear Amulet on the Calyrex, Choice Scarf on the Urshifu. Kevin's Raging Bolt had Booster Energy, and then Tatsuomi's Raging Bolt had Clear Goggles as well, or Safety Goggles, sorry. Oh, it was Life Orb on the Iron Treads, and the shield obviously in the cloak. We didn't see the what's his name?
A little bit
the
with
tornadoes, but there was a cloak.
On terrestrializing, don't Terra right away on turn 1 because you don't know what Tatsuomi's plan is going to be, especially after you have so much success of burning Zamazenta, really mitigating so much of the damage that Tatsuomi's
Raging Bolt's a cool Pokemon
restricted
too.
Pokemon can provide to your side of the field.
These kids are so young. Yeah, I wasn't gonna stream these games. I was just gonna go live for like the Masters finals. Like, you know what? Let's watch these kids play. Like, this is gonna be sick watching them.
You have to just look at how heavily
using
positioning
now
came into play between both of these trainers. We saw that Rillaboom swap in twice for Tatsuomi to take a ground type attack for the Iron Treads. We also saw
dude, when he lost the Iron Treads like that, I was thinking it was gonna be GG's because, like, dude, you could tell, like, he has to swap it out or go for the double protect, and he just left it. Like, you knew it wasn't going first because of the trick room. Still managed to turn it around,
use
though.
that to influence how the board is.
Maybe I'm just an idiot.
Game 2.
I'm also really wondering.
Yesterday when we were watching the game, it was Luca and Shenue, I think the guy's name was. In both games, or all 3 games, I'm like, oh, the first game I was like, Luca's gonna lose. He won. Next game, I'm like, oh, Luca's gonna win. He lost. And then last game, I just had no idea who was gonna win. So, I mean, no, if you could gamble on this, whoever I say is winning, just bet the opposite.
U-turn positioning is just so crucial for Tatsuomi in game 1.
It was.
I've never liked Urshifu. I haven't either.
Rillaboom has become this support titan in the regulation G. Honestly, it seems like Rillaboom is more useful than
I've never used
Incineroar in a
Urshifu
format, which is something
I've never used Urshifu because I don't like it. I just remember Urshifu breaking through my protects and killing all of my guys.
Flinch support, being able to pivot and deal some damage.
I'm building an Archowdon
Blastoise
Blastoise Rain team.
Heal up your partners is
I've
so huge.
wanted to use. You know what? I've been wanting to use Duraludon now with an Eviolite.
Miraidon, where the terrain adds
because I used Duraludon in Gen 8 OU all the time. My Gen 8 OU team was lead with Galarian Zapdos, Choice Band, Brave Bird, and just nuke everything. Then in the back, I had Dragapult, Galarian Slowking, Inteleon, Duraludon, and the Leaf Lord, Surfetch. That was my team.
So many double protects as well. Remember, we went through 2 full Twisted Dimensions. That
team was really good for me.
It does, and I also noticed as well that Kevin
that's all singles, though. That's not doubles. That's not doubles. I didn't start playing doubles till literally
when he needed
day 1 of Worlds last year.
To the advantage of the Calyrex Ice Rider, and when he needed to double protect to stall out his
Charmander just hanging out in the back there.
Enable the other Pokemon on his team. It just shows how comfortable he is with this restricted Pokemon. Which
you know what
sense.
I want?
He was on.
You see on the back of these chairs, they have that like stitched Pokemon patch. I want one of those.
Pokemon, thanks to the help of
they look sick.
Through the day, winning those next 5 rounds, winning his top cut matches.
Dang, that little kid's got the backpack I want.
So if Kevin is of any of the junior trainers here in Honolulu, Kevin's certainly one of them that can make a comeback.
For sure, and also all of that experience as well, winning multiple regionals titles, multiple international titles. Tatsuomi, this is really his breakout performance at a competition. He got top 4
I like how they're
at the
talking
Japan
about
Championship
this is breakout performance at a competition.
Really prior
the
to
kid
that,
looks like he's 8
8
years old.
Just because I think there's really only a couple of opportunities that people from that region have. But still,
we've had the biggest comeback in competitive Pokemon history because in the DLC got Triple Axel and Knockoff back. I was hyped. I've always hated those
world champions this weekend.
Weavile and
we're going to go
Sneasel. I
ahead
can't
and
stand
jump
them.
into game number 2.
They just bother me in the game. They don't leave me alone. An Ice Shard just kills all my guys.
But Kevin Hahn, of course, might have something to say.
Shiny Incineroar lead again. Wait, is that I think this is the same lead from Kevin as last game.
For Kevin in game 2 compared to Zamazenta Chiyu for Tatsuomi.
A big adjustment
Chiyu's a cool Pokemon, isn't it? You guys like the shiny for Chiyu? It's like all blue, I believe. I think it's really cool.
Threatens away the Ghost-type Terastallization on that Incineroar, and it also threatens huge damage onto the Calyrex Ice Rider. A lot of times, Calyrex Ice Rider will Terastallize into a Fire-type in this position just so you don't take super effective damage from this Pokemon, or you even get resisted damage depending on what attack
That's kind
the
of a cool
opponent
color
hits.
combo.
I would not be
the
surprised to
Calyrex
see Kevin
Ice
go for
next
that
to the
turn
shiny
here.
Incineroar.
You could try and set up Trick Room again early, but I think you have to prioritize getting another burn down onto that Zamazenta, and then you need to start doing damage a bit more aggressively.
And it's a tough decision for Tatsuomi, as you mentioned, the fake out potential into Zamazenta.
One thing I'll note too, in terms of watching competitive Pokemon, this is my favorite. Gen 9 is my favorite gen to watch in terms of aesthetically, how it looks aesthetically.
And Calyrex Terra Fire on this turn would resist the potential.
Terra Fire, very first turn on the Calyrex there. I assume in fear of that Chi-Yu.
On the turn thanks to that flinch, but it's a Dark Pulse into the still Dark type Incineroar, going to take that way better here in game 2. Now Trick Room is up, Calyrex fully healthy, and Incineroar still with a lot of HP.
With a lot of HP and a lot of time on the field to land another burn against that Zamazenta, to parting shot out to weaken the attack.
Exactly what I'm saying, exactly! I'm like, moreover, we battle Penny in Naranja Academy. Like, this is the World Championships.
Thanks to the fire type terrestrialization.
This is where I was saying, in the middle of the town. I was like, this is where every battle should be.
As a result.
Chi-Yu, because of that Choice Specs held item, is forced essentially to swap out on this turn to reset the attack it wants.
It's little things like that I look at something like Pokemon. It's like they're capable of doing this. Like, why don't they do that for every? Like, has no one just thought of that yet? Oh my God! It one tapped the Rillaboom.
That's going to be a one-hit KO and an attack boost for Calyrex.
Learning from game 1.
Wow, that Calyrex is scary now.
Chi-Yu got off the field. Rillaboom knocked out, and now Zamazenta
burns the Zamazenta again. Yes, Tatsuomi won with the Zamazenta last game, but that was a big problem for that thing. It was doing no damage to anybody, but it still takes out the Incineroar.
Still super effective into the Dark type Incineroar, so it's more than enough for the KO.
More than enough.
Two very strong Pokemon, but I would definitely say Kevin Hahn comes out on top. One, Zamazenta's its damage hurt because of the burn, and Calyrex got the attack boost.
Calyrex
so both are down one Pokemon.
Zamazenta is going to be the slowest Pokemon on the field, but hey, that Iron Treads is still
Big boy Iron Treads is back. Last game it did nothing.
The same 4 Pokemon into this matchup that we saw from him in game number 1. Going back to game number 1, we saw this.
Do you guys remember how much everyone hated on Raging Bolt when it first got announced in the Pokemon Presents last August?
We saw Kevin very consistently target down that.
I've always said, I think it's a cool Pokemon. When I first saw the trailer, I thought it was a little goofy. Once I saw the official sprite for it, I'm like, okay, this thing's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, there's essentially no need to worry about the wide guard mind games for Glacial Lance when you have 2 Steel types on the field that don't want to take a high horsepower, and a Fire type Chi-Yu in the back that wouldn't want to swap into it either. So Kevin smartly clicking the Glacial or the high
he doubled into the Iron Treads.
Go into the Protector, wouldn't hit Iron Treads anyway in case he hit that slot. But there are 2 turns of Trick Room left for Kevin.
There are 2 turns of Trick Room and 3 turns of Grassy Terrain, which
so means, once again, this is the same as last game.
That Zamazenta will have a couple more turns to not
the
necessarily
Iron Treads used it to
keep
protect.
That burn damage around.
Trick Room is
that
still
all being
up.
Said though, Kevin is in the driver's seat for this matchup as he can go on the offense. One thing I do want to call out here is the fact that getting that Glacial Lance to connect with that Rillaboom a couple turns ago.
It is on the Iron Treads
for him because of the risk of wide guard on
bug.
that Zamazenta.
It's Terra Bug Iron Treads. We are not making it up, everybody. One of the bug typing, one of the most underrepresented types in all of
Not
Pokemon,
very effective. Is this going to keep it alive?
That high horsepower resisting it.
Oh, it got a crit.
These Iron Treads can't survive the turn, and Zamazenta's all by himself on the battlefield right now. That could have been an amazing Terra for Tatsuomi, but instead, it's going to result in a KO.
Zamazenta doing its best to get a little bit of damage thanks to body press down onto the opposing Calyrex Ice Rider. Tatsuomi is now down to his final 2 Pokemon.
2v3 right now.
Chi-Yu, who cannot protect thanks to the Choice Specs item that it's holding, and that Zamazenta. This is also going to be the final turn of Trick Room. So while this Calyrex Ice Rider still needs to click high horsepower to be safe, it is able to land that net against the Chi-Yu and pick up that KO.
There's the one-hit KO into Chi-Yu, so it's
and now it's a
Calyrex'
3v1.
second knockout of the game, getting another attack boost. And here's the booster energy, aided, I should say, Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I think
into
this is
doing
GG's. This is
over
GG's.
half. That's the other important thing.
Lots of
from
bug
that
stereotypes
turn
of Worlds this
before
year
Gabby
didn't work
is
out
that
this
the
match
boost
though.
energy
Dude, it was
onto
Luca
Raging
had
Bolt
the guy that's in the
special
finals
attack meant
for
that
the
Thunderbolt
Masters
does even
division.
more damage, meaning
He
the
has it on
critical
his
hit
iron
is
hands.
even stronger.
I'm like, I saw it.
And
Like,
with just
bug,
Zama
really?
Zenta remaining
It worked though.
on
He's in the
field
finals
for
of Worlds.
Tatsuomi, I think it's time we turn our eyes towards a game number 3 here in the juniors finals at the World Championships.
Kevin Hahn has forced a final and decisive game
All right,
3
going to a game 3.
his junior opponent Tatsuomi Shimanuki. The winner of this match is going to leave Honolulu as the junior division world champion. And I think Tatsuomi, I think we would agree, Gabby, those 4 Pokemon seem to be the core 4 to bring, but that turn 1 was just so great from Kevin.
Look at the trophies on the left over here.
From Kevin, again, recognizing that the ghost-type terrestrialization on that Incineroar was punished by the presence of the
That was a big play, taking that Rillaboom out early like that.
And when your opponent leads Chi-Yu and you know that it's there, that gives you all the confidence you need to lock in the fire-type terrestrialization on that Calyrex Ice Rider. That was also an amazing play from Kevin here, where he did go for Glacial Lance despite the presence of a wide guard on the Zamazenta.
I love how Incineroar's falling like that. He looks hilarious.
I love to see the emotion. I love to see the passion. These are the trainers that are the future of the competitive Pokemon circuit. Seeing how passionate they are now makes us so happy to see how much they're going to grow as trainers. This is one of the toughest matches they'll face in their short lives so far, but it's going to help them progress to even better players once they make it to the Masters division.
Like I was saying yesterday, you'd never see me canceling a battle.
Said, though,
I'm going down swinging.
One battle separating both of these trainers from the title of Junior World Champion, and
kind of surprised neither of them has an Ogerpon.
About how Kevin adjusted his game plan.
Now I see Ogerpon in the background there.
Let's take a moment to talk about how Tatsuomi could potentially adjust his game plan going into this game number 3. When you think about how that first game played out, it was really the positioning between the Rillaboom and the Iron Treads that gave him the time he needed to get through Trick Room and ultimately win the game. We saw Kevin adapt to that in game number 2, but to me that means in game number 3 you can also make an adaptation.
Just finished my edit of Feraligatr, throwing it back for my school project. Yacht, by the way. Glad I caught this stream today. Was wanting those Pokeplaya flavors melting on my tongue. What?
Spot mentally. Let's not say for the Pokemon, obviously there's so many difficult decisions you have to make every
I feel
turn.
gross after reading that comment.
Can I stop Trick Room from going up? Can I punish Terra Fire?
Thank you for tuning in, by the way.
Better than I did
I guess.
In game,
yeah.
Game
Thanks
2,
for tuning in.
You only have access to these 6 Pokemon that brought you this far, so you're gonna have to worry. What are those options to stop the Trick Room?
See, look at, oh my god, look at the perfect shot of it. Look at that. I want one of those for my chair. Like, put it right here. Put it right here on my chair. Pokemon. So like when I get up and I start like dancing around or something, like I'll have that on the back. That'd be sick. That'd be so cool. Oh god, I almost just broke everything.
RX.
Catch a fire-type terrestrialization with a high horsepower that could
all right, here we go.
Out, but instead,
game 3, game 3.
A very similar lead here from Tatsuomi in game number 3.
This is for all the marbles.
It is for all the marbles.
Kevin Hahn, Tatsuomi,
game 3. The first champion of EGC will be crowned here right now after this battle.
Urshifu Rapid Strike next to Calyrex Ice Rider. That Urshifu has the Choice Scarf. It's faster than Chi-Yu.
It's faster than Chi-Yu, and while we know that Chi-Yu can terrestrialize to survive the hit from the Urshifu, that is a big commitment for Tatsuomi to make in turn 1 of game 3 here. If he has that Iron Tread still in the back of his party,
yeah, I'd say he's got to get that thing out of there.
That bug type. On the other side of the field, Kevin really can comfortably go for that fire-type terrestrialization once again on the Calyrex, knowing that the Chi-Yu has already been revealed.
Chi-Yu has to get swapped out here. He's cooked.
At least comfortable in some capacity this turn, since Incineroar is
not. You see that firework?
Zenta has to feel at least comfortable.
It's like Saturn.
That's
kind of cool.
On turn
oh my god, wait.
So you can't burn these body presses into the other side. Kevin Hahn,
Terra Water. I assume to get the buff with the Surging Strikes.
Damage from those water attacks, the Surging Strikes, they're already massive, and they're going to be even bigger in this
oh my god,
game.
Chi-Yu's
cooked. No protects. There's no, you can't protect anyway in front of Chi-Yu, or with Chi-Yu. That's only a 2-hit KO. You don't even need the third
Chi-Yu's
Surging
cooked.
Strike.
1-hit KO. Down Chi-Yu goes.
shift for Kevin as he's able to secure a knockout on the first move of the first turn of this game 3.
And there's the
Ooh, the body press does big damage to Urshifu, though.
Damage into Urshifu. Definitely cannot take another one. Here's
Glacial Lance doesn't do much at all to Zamazenta.
Thanks to Zamazenta's steel typing. So you do lose your Chiyu, but you do get a lot of damage onto the Urshifu, and Trick Room is not set up.
And you also cover for the potential Rillaboom switch in that turn. Instead, Chiyu was just knocked out.
That was a good play. He was ready. So I was saying he's got to swap the Chiyu out, but he swaps Chiyu out. Rillaboom's going to go down to that.
By this Pokemon. It is more than within a Grassy Glide knockout range. So if Kevin wants to
look at
save
Zamazenta
Urshifu
roaring like that
in this game, again, to put more pressure down onto the Zamazenta, which Tatsuomi has shown us time and time again,
a nice secret lab
is
has a
very
Pokemon Club.
comfortable
The designs
staying
are
on the
mad. Wish they would do
field.
something
You
simple,
have to
classy with
switch
those
that
World's
Pokemon
Chair,
out.
like those World's
Without
Chairs.
Chiyu
I think a lot of
around,
people
this
do
seems like a
collabs,
great
specifically with
opportunity for
Pokemon.
Incineroar to take
They
the
just
field.
do it too
Right,
over the
exactly.
top.
One,
It's
because
like
Incineroar would
no,
love to just switch
that's
in
just
general
bad.
in front of the grass type on Rillaboom on the other end. But of course, because Urshifu's locked into the Choice Scarf Surging Strikes, it would take a tough spot. But instead, he's going to use Surging Strikes with Urshifu.
On the Zamazenta here. How low is he going to get this thing?
Is not long for the rest of this match.
It's going down to the yellow. Past halfway. 72.
Brings Zamazenta down to under half of its HP remaining. So the body press.
Body press then takes Urshifu out.
He's done its job. He's done, essentially 1.5 times the HP bars of Tatsuomi's Pokemon. So Urshifu has put in so much work in Game 3. But it's the U-turn from Rillaboom. The real question is, did Calyrex go for the Stomping Tantrum into Zamazenta?
We'll have to wait just a little bit longer to get that information, but we do get the reveal of Tatsuomi's final Pokemon, and once
Iron
again,
Treads is back, coming in all 3 games.
Taking the field.
It's Trick Room instead of the
God, Trick Room just can't complete. He's just gonna take control of the game here because of Trick Room like that.
And you have a free switch into either the Incineroar or whatever the 4th Pokemon in the back will be for Kevin.
I love this positioning from Kevin there as well. One thing that Tatsuomi could have done in that previous turn is target down the
Raging Bolt.
The Calyrex Ice Rider with both an attack from that Zamazenta and a Wood Hammer from that Rillaboom to get very close, if not knock it out outright. But because we saw Kevin commit to that Trick Room,
we don't know his 3rd
recognizing
Pokemon.
that he might lose a Pokemon that turn, as long as Trick Room is there for a Raging Bolt, or a Raging Bolt can come in while the Urshifu is still around, that is still a very favorable.
Like, look at
board
Raging Bolt's
position
tail,
for him.
man. That thing looks
As
gnarly,
the
doesn't
Calyrex
it?
will still be able to attack first, and the Raging Bolt should underspeed the Zamazenta as well.
Yeah, the Zamazenta already under half HP, so it's in a really critical position for Tatsuomi. You know you can get some recovery every turn with the Protect, as grassy terrain is here. It'll give you a little bit of HP at the end of each turn. Double Protect from Kevin here on the turn. We've actually seen that now multiple times, that as he sets up his own Trick Room, he will then protect the following turn. Iron Treads
I don't get that. Why is he double protecting when he set up Trick Room?
Maybe to wait
and see if his opponent's switching, but if his opponent's switching, why not just send an attack in? So you're
anticipating the
switching, you
Protect
can't
on that
attack.
Iron Treads to ensure that Zamazenta can't find a knockout in this turn. Now you can fairly safely target into the Iron Treads with your Pokemon. You do still have to worry about a wide guard, and you do have to worry about the Rillaboom switching in for that Iron Treads as well. So there's a bit of a mind game here as to what attack.
I love how
Kevin
the
uses
school
with
looks
that
in this game. I think it's so cool.
But still, none of these Pokemon are necessarily
Like how big
worried
and
about
grand
being
they made
knocked out
it.
this turn. And as you can see, Calyrex actually switching out to keep itself safe.
Okay, so we're gonna
Kevin
see his
just
last
going
Pokemon
on
here.
the offense
It's
with the
Incineroar.
Raging Bolt.
Kevin going to reveal his 4th and final Pokemon in Game 3.
Intimidate, hitting
the
both of them.
Incineroar. Let's see if Tatsuomi was prepared for this situation. These Trick Room turns are so tricky to get through when you're not the Pokemon or the trainer that takes advantage of it.
Terrabug
Iron
again.
Treads yet again in Game 3. Last time it was double targeted, so that's why it wasn't able to hang on. But he did get crit by a Booster Energy Thunderbolt from Raging Bolt. This time it
Oh, the Zamazenta goes down.
Tatsuomi has lost his restricted Pokemon in Game 3. It's just the Iron Treads Steel Roller with the grassy terrain into a fire type. It does hardly anything.
It does hardly anything, and it will also tear up the grassy terrain on the field. Rillaboom will be back out shortly to reset that terrain and give Iron Treads access to Steel Roller once again, but you really wanted to land that attack into the Calyrex Ice Rider, which is why you terrastalize, so you can take those hits. That all being said,
I think Kevin's
though,
got this one.
2 turns of Trick
I think Kevin's got
remaining,
this one.
Tatsuomi is on the back foot. You have access to fake out this turn. You can go ahead and
Rillaboom's got some massive forearms, but he's staring down the GOAT Incineroar.
And protect to get through both turns. But you have to find your way through Trick Room in order to keep an advantage and keep yourself in the game for that.
I mean, would you want to just go
champion
You
title?
got 2 Pokemon down, you can't swap them out anymore. You want to just go parting shot on somebody first from the Incineroar here? Or you fake out, I guess, instead.
The grass and bug types on the field right now are not threatened by super effective damage. Draco Meteor lands into Iron Treads.
Oh, it did use Iron Treads goes down.
For the KO, and Tatsuomi losing his terrestrialized Pokemon. It's just Rillaboom versus the world.
Rillaboom versus the world it is.
Grassy terrain to help keep its health higher and also boost the damage of its grass type attacks. But with a Calyrex
See, if I'm Kevin here, I'm going
Ice
parting
Rider
shot like
waiting in the
Protect or something
wings,
like that.
Will it have enough in the tank to take all 3 of these KOs?
That's the forfeit, and Kevin
Wow,
Hart
he
throughout the
forfeited.
season has proved
There we
he's
go.
the junior in the world,
The
EYC
first champion.
NAIC champion, and now world champion.
Yeah,
in
that's
the junior
crazy.
division for the Pokemon video game.
That's
With an
crazy.
excellent
He went and won
piloting of that Calyrex
North American
Ice
International
Rider
Championship,
team being able to
European
anticipate
International
his
Championship,
opponent's
and the World
adjustments
Championships.
throughout all 3 of those
What a run.
incredibly long games. Kevin has shown us just why he is one of the most awarded junior champions.
Bro, good
in
for him,
Pokemon
man. That's
video game
crazy.
history.
Games 2 and 3 arguably were shorter combined than Game 1 was. There was so much back and forth in Game 1. These two trainers
Game 1
played
was so
at an
long. It was
elite
almost a
level,
30-minute
trying
battle,
to
I
figure
think.
out their tendencies, trying to figure out their play styles on what type of risky decisions they can get rewarded for. And Kevin losing Game 1 and coming back to win the series is so impressive.
Tatsuomi's play throughout
That was so
matchup
cool,
was
man.
impressive
That was
as
so
well.
cool.
Who would have expected to see Iron Treads in that matchup, ready to threaten
Yeah, shout out to
all that
Tatsuomi for
damage
bringing
down
Iron
onto
Treads.
the Incineroar, onto the Calyrex Ice Rider. Tatsuomi recognizing
I think
that
the
it was
great-
definitely
the sparkly
Pokemon
jacket
to play
and the
there.
gray
And
jacket
I think
look
I owe you a
cool.
bit of humble pie, Joe Brown, as I said we would not be seeing that bug type terrain. I think I owe you a bit. And
So nice we saw it twice.
yeah, it was so nice we saw it twice. So congratulations. I give that one to you.
Thank you. I tell you, let's look at the replay. This first turn.
So I
was
wonder how quickly
huge
they're gonna get into the
because
next battles.
GU being led instead of in the back, it meant that
Yeah,
even
Pro
if you
became the
tear
very
a
best
Ghost,
like no one
Surgery
ever
Strike
was
still
for
does a
real
lot,
for this
right?
year.
And the follow-up
He's winning
attack
every big
would be
tournament
able
he
to
was
knock
in.
it out regardless. So I think Kevin kind of just playing his own game. Maybe Game 1 was too worried about what Tatsuomi
How
was
old
doing.
were they?
Instead, Game 2 and 3 said, hey, what is my win condition? If I just take down
What is the age
GU slot, if I
requirement?
get Zamazenta down under half and then any chip damage later on will take care of it, it's better to focus on my win conditions than my opponent's.
Pokemon
I'm so glad you
VGC
mentioned that Chi-Yu as well, because I think
age
going into
groups.
game number 1, Kevin was not sure if that Pokemon would be making
12
an
and
appearance
under.
in the matchup. That all being said,
Seniors
though,
13 to
after he saw
15,
the Chi-Yu
and
in
Masters
that game
is
number
16
1,
and
he
up.
was able to correctly predict
What grade is
that
12 years
it
old?
would be making an appearance again in games 2 and games 3 and adjusted his playstyle accordingly. I had to eyeball the calculation a little bit there, but it looked like that Terra Water terrestrialization on Urshifu would have
looking at
guaranteed the
Kevin
knockout even if we did see that ghost type terrestrialization.
Right.
So great adaptation.
Exactly. That's one of those kind of pin situations we talk about in VGC at the high level that effectively it's a positive outcome no matter what, right? It was like we saw in Game 2, Gabby, that turn where Rillaboom swapped in. Well, he either gets knocked out from the Glacial Lance or he doesn't swap the Rillaboom in, which I'm happy. I'm going to be in a positive position either way. But finally, Tatsuomi takes his first loss of the end. Kevin Hahn also taking his first loss to Top Cut in the finals.
And that's all you can ask for in a finals, right? As someone in the audience, you want it to be close, you want it to be very exciting, and you want to see just why either of these trainers could leave here as the world champion. And that's exactly what we saw from Kevin Hahn and Tatsuomi Shimanuki as well.
Yeah, I think Kevin has to be so happy with these Pokemon. I think
he's in
like
6th grade.
Picked up the trifecta of these 3 championships.
Like 5th, 6th grade.
Was on all 3 of the championships that Kevin had at the international level this season. So
around 5th or 6th grade, I think.
All over the world, essentially. You go to Europe with
elementary, pretty much.
And win. Go to New Orleans with the family, pick up a title. Head over to Honolulu and become world champions.
Could you imagine doing that like in 5th grade?
I think so. And I also love to see trainers iterate on the same team throughout the season. I know that EUIC was obviously in a different regulation, so it's not like a one-to-one comparison, but just seeing people utilize the same tools and the same Pokemon time and time again, it gives you that expertise and it helps you just rely on those, almost like a muscle memory when you're in these tough matchups and you're trying to figure out the best path forward.
Yeah, he's gonna have a flex. So it's like that kid that won the gold medal at the Olympics because he ran the prelims for the U.S. relay.
So important
like the men's U.S. relay ran the prelims. He's in high school.
Champion.
All right, well, Anna is ready on the stage with our junior world champion. So let's get an interview. Anna, take it away.
Oh, here we go, the interview.
I am here with your champion, Kevin Hahn. Kevin.
Here's a Dracovish, too.
Game 1 didn't go so well for you, but you were able to keep it calm and collected and move on into those games 2 and 3 and come out victorious. How did you do that?
So I calmed myself down, and in the time between the matches, I thought about what my opponent would do. Now, in the World Championships, I feel like if you go with the same plan twice, it's not gonna work. So I figured they'd change up their lead to Chiyu Zamazenta. So after I saw that it was Chiyu Zamazenta and I let Calyrex Incineroar, I thought next time about what they would do.
He's a good Pokemon player. He might be able to play in the NBA.
They don't want to.
Look how tall he is.
So after
he's
I
like
got
5th grade
up with my fake out in Trick Room, I thought about it and I said, they're not gonna stay in with their Chiyu because I can easily double up to it and knock it out. They'll probably bring in the Rillaboom. So I clicked Glacial Lands and it worked.
Sure did. Great thinking. Now, I know that you've done a lot of training with some very special people, especially in your family. Tell us about your training for this event.
So I prepped a lot. I first tried to find out what my team was, and I figured that out in like 3 or 4 weeks. It was really tough, but I managed to do it. And then after that, I started preparing the matchups, which I did for the remainder. And then I worked with my coaches, Kylan Van Severin, Justin Tang, Justin Karras, and especially my brother, Chris. He's the one who helped me do this tournament the most.
And I know that he's helped you through many tournaments. You have been NEIC champion, EUIC champion, now you're world champion. What are you gonna do next?
Go for senior internationals, I guess.
Sounds like a good plan.
See, I like him.
Is there anyone you want to say hi to or thank you to that you haven't listed already?
I want to thank my Mousehole Discord friends, my school friends, and my family.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Kevin. Let's hear it one more time for your junior world champion.
Dang, good for him. What did you do for summer? Kevin became Pokemon World Champ. Yeah, that'd be so sick.
More in store for you going into the senior division. Casters, back to you.
Thank you so much. 1 world champion crowned for the video game today. 2 more to go. Cannot wait to get started with the seniors division of our competition. Sierra Dawn, Lee Provost, what a match to be kicking off the video game.
Incredible way for us to start Championship Sunday for the video game, and it's only going to get better from here. And that is saying something after that match. Which
only getting better from here. I'm excited for the next game as well.
Junior trainers.
100%.
So that was juniors, now we have seniors, and then it's masters.
Other players queued up on this stage, and while we get that ready, we have some giveaways for you. First off, we're talking
just
about
stalling. This is what they do when we're just stalling for time.
So
showing this stuff.
Your opportunity to grab it in game now, especially because this should be
how many times do you think they said this?
Yeah, make sure
this giveaway thing.
Jump into your copy of
Pilot
and use the code SLEEP.
Oh my God! Wait, I never got it though.
And you'll be able to grab that Sylveon until the 19th of August. Great one for the upcoming regulation, like you've been saying all weekend. Sierra,
someone remind me to get it on stream tomorrow.
A great thing for the collection all around.
Yeah, just a great Pokemon, so good stuff there. And of course, if you play both of the games, or even if you're watching, but more so play the TCG.
Oh my God, wait, I saw some news about Pokemon Pocket.
In-game. Make sure to grab it while
you can like pre-register for it?
Yeah, make sure to grab this.
I saw Sarah be posted something.
Beautiful artwork and a great addition for the collection once again. Now we're getting into the seniors side of things. We've had juniors. Now we can take an overview of the seniors bracket, see where trainers have come from that top 8 stage.
One thing that we always talk about with
competitors is
the future of Pokemon. But these are the individuals that sooner rather than later we're going to get to see in that
So on Instagram, yo, Anime Blitz and everything you're tuning in. On Instagram today, I posted the clip of the official Rayquaza pronunciation.
Across the bracket for both of our competitors, so Ray definitely a very
and
opponent here.
I said Recuse. For those that watch the channel, you know, the Recuse there's a whole story behind that, but I say that as a joke because I heard some lady say that.
Tournament, which is just incredible.
And everyone thinks that like that's how I pronounce it, because I said at the end my whole life's a lie, but I say Rayquaza, but it's actually Rayquaza. Is my hair? What the heck is I can't look like a buffoon. It's Worlds. It's Finals. I was out playing Beldum Comday all day today. Dude, I look good. I look better now. Looks better now. But dude, that clip on Instagram, it's at 86,000 views. When I started streaming, it was at like 30,000. It's gone up almost 50K.
The teams from both sides, I think it really
you guys, the play is on the come up. The play is on the come up.
There's so many options both trainers have.
What's it on TikTok?
The other trainers' team.
20K on
really
TikTok.
Be down to the choices, how well both of these understand
the matchup, and
how well they can kind of approach dealing with those big.
Imagine that's what like blows my channel up.
I think adaptation
me
as well,
saying
because when you look at this,
Rayquaza.
there's not necessarily one way to approach, but
that
you
would
make
be
sure you can't make
legit. That'd be the perfect way.
And it's really going to be a testament to both of these trainers.
I think I've told this story before. I should tell it again right now.
Top 8
there's the clip's blowing up right now.
I'll
tell the story.
The first one that goes to 3.
So
yeah, I think so.
Me and my
brothers like it will
were out playing Pokemon Go Fest during
got in their teams. There's
Go
ways for them
Fest
to kind
2020.
Capitalize against what the other
trainer is 23. It was
last
last Go Fest. Last year's Go Fest 2023. Go Fest 2023. Almost exactly a year ago from this time right now. It might be exact.
That feels like the running theme this weekend with how high the competition has been here, and
it might be exactly a year ago.
With how well they have prepared
until the 18th, they extended for one more
day.
Not
only that, the preparation is a huge key.
Did they?
But also testament to how well they've performed on the big stage and getting to this stage. And
it might have been because yesterday I was saying I need to get it tomorrow, which is today.
This is a really exciting thing with the regulation as well, being able to see where trainers have taken this.
Oh no, it was the 22nd.
Started off because we'll get to really be able to dive into accomplishments.
Almost
and
a little under
when you start off the regulation, like in Luke's case, as a almost a
full year ago today.
Start off the format strong and potentially end
it is Go Fest 2023.
I think that's a really cool thing.
Mega Rayquaza in raids.
Anyone that's been able to really dive
into
this.
We go to this place where we heard there's going to be a ton of people playing.
Newer players.
I go to play Go Fest there. Me and my brothers and our cousin was with us as well. And we're out doing these Rayquaza raids.
It's slightly different.
This is the most people I've ever seen playing Pokemon Go. Every single Rayquaza raid had at least 6 to 8 full maxed out lobbies of 20 people. There was just a sea of people playing. I'd never seen as many people playing Pokemon Go before in my life. We're out there from the very beginning of Go Fest to the very end, and we're in the last hour of it. And where we were playing was somewhere where the trainer club was. He's a Pokemon Go content creator. We went there because he was there, and we were like, there's going to be a ton of people there to play. So he's there, and we'll spend the whole day. We didn't see him at all. We saw at the very beginning there was this big group of people who I believe he was there, because I ended up seeing what his actual in-game name was later on, and he was in a raid with us earlier, but we didn't see him. We didn't find him until the very end. So we're walking through with the trainer club's like group squad of people he's got with him, just tearing through these Rayquaza raids. And me and my one brother like standing in the back of the group, and we go through and we're doing the raid, and we beat the raid. And everyone's like seeing their Pokemon 100 IV shiny and this stuff. And this lady goes, "Oh my God, shiny!" And these next couple moments, like in my head, it played out over like in my head, it felt like it was like a full 5-10 minutes. I was sitting there thinking about this, but in actuality, it was only a couple of seconds. I don't know if anyone else had stuff like this before. I've mentioned before, like when you have something that's going on, you feel like in your head, like you think of a million different things, and it feels super slow, but in actuality, it's only a couple of seconds. This lady goes, "Oh my gosh, I got a shiny!" And my brother goes, "Oh no way, would you get?
The next season.
And I'm thinking to myself in my head, I'm like,
time and time again.
You're an
and
idiot.
Really
it's Rayquaza. Like, what other shiny would she be happy about getting right now? Every single person standing right here is doing a Rayquaza raid. Like, my brother's an idiot. I'm like, what are you thinking over there? Asking her, is it a Rayquaza? Of course it's a Rayquaza.
I've had the honor of being able to play against
asking what it is. It's obviously a Rayquaza. And she goes,
"Oh,
Recuse."
Do not get me wrong on that.
And in my head,
but I'm really excited to have this.
This is the moment where I'm like, a million things within my head. I'm like,
and it was funny because you were talking about getting an opportunity to talk to the players, and Ray had mentioned that
I'm a
jerk. Worlds to be tough, and
thinking
it was. And I
my
love
brother
that kind of
is a complete idiot for asking what it was, because clearly it wasn't a Rayquaza. She said a Recuse.
And I'm now at the spot.
And then I think, wait, what Pokemon's Recuse? And what Pokemon? Even if she said it wrong, like pronounced the Pokemon wrong, because people pronounced it. Wolfie said Meganium was Meganium and Gengar was Genjar. Like, maybe she has pronounced something else weird. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it's almost like you see in the movie, like horror movies or that type of stuff, when they're like someone behind, like the scary monsters behind the person. Like, is it behind me? They're like, yeah, and they turn around and get scared. I'm like, I'm scared to turn around and see what this lady has on her phone. So I turn around, and she's holding her phone up, and it's a shiny Rayquaza. And I'm sitting there thinking, she just called Rayquaza Recuse. And to this day, me and my brothers have always joked about it. And we call it Recuse now as a joke because of that. And I've honestly thought, like, because it was with the Trainer Club's group of people, I'm like, I've thought before, like, is that like a joke or like some meme that's out there already that people like jokingly say it's Recuse and not Rayquaza? So I've just started calling it Recuse. And so when I saw them doing the official pronunciation, I'm like, it's Recuse, because I'm like, that's the joke name we heard. And dude, the comment section on those clips, go read them on my Instagram and TikTok if you haven't seen it. Dude, there's some good comments. They've been getting some good laughs out of me. Some good laughs out of me today. But hey, we gotta ban someone on Twitch. We got the view bots over here on Twitch. I ain't buying viewers. No way.
I have no idea what you should all expect to see, but I'm just going to give it my all and do my very best.
That's all we can ask, Ray. Thank you so much. Let's hear one more big round of applause for our finalists. You can head
all right,
to
here we
your
go.
tables. Thank you
Senior
so much.
division. This is ages 13 to 15.
Love having the opportunity to hear from our players ahead of the match. And
did you guys see who won the Pokemon Go one? It was the guy we watched on day one. I remember we were watching him a bunch. I was like, dude, this guy's good. And he went on to win the whole thing. He was here at Worlds last year and didn't win a single game. He lost every single game at Worlds last year. Shows up this year. And the thing is, he didn't just show up and won Worlds this year. He almost didn't come because he said he had school. He decided to come with because he qualified for something else just before. He's like, you know what, I should go. Shows up and wins Worlds. I was rooting for him, man. I thought that was so sick.
Access to being able to set up, to get that power boost with the nasty plot. And if it's in the right position to do that, it's going to outrun everything on Luke's side of the field. And he's going to have his wits about him to deal with those Astro Barrages, which are going to come out heavy and picking up potential knockouts.
I like those pants he's wearing. Those are sick with the bands. He's got a cool fit going on over there.
We've looked at this match that there is a couple of different ways the players can go ahead and approach this. So I'm very intrigued once we get into this matchup, what road they opt to go down for, because when we're looking at one end of the board, I want to wait till I got the headsets to really dive into this. There is two really big ways that you can approach this matchup, and it's going to be
like
on
the way of making
really
those.
kind of respond to see how well they
I was
did
talking
their
about that
homework
yesterday. I had to sew something once for a class in school, like some project I had. I had to sew it at home. I couldn't figure it out, so I used a stapler.
It's all about the decisions here.
I had like a sewing machine and everything. Couldn't figure it out. I can sew if you give me just a needle and some thread, but for my project for school, I'm like, give me a stapler. I'm gonna wrap this up quick.
Any of those threatening things that could come from Luke's side of the field, like that Miraidon, for instance, and allow that nasty plot to be set up. Because if you do get that, it enables the Shadow Rider Calyrex to just be that really dominant force on the side of the field, and you've got other support options there with the Incineroar that you could potentially bring.
So I wonder why they wear the headsets like
that as well. But that's kind of overstating some of the options.
Is it so the refs and people can talk to him?
Have some really interesting options.
Because we saw in the game yesterday, the technical difficulties, they took the headsets off and they were talking to each other.
attacking moves, but it's also
and the one guy
benefit
said they was playing
the
white
fact that
noise
the
in it.
Amoonguss is on the
Then what's the
opposite
point of
side
the
field that
microphone?
is threatening with that spawn. As long as the electric train's out, you don't need to worry about that.
God, Rowlet, if I was there, I'd bring
See,
you.
I'm looking at the fact that
I'd have
Luke
you
does
front and center
have
with
these
me.
damaging output options.
Oh my God, the
to
teams!
Make sure you can try and match and out-damage Ray, because when I'm looking at this nasty
Grimmsnarl.
something that can boost,
That's gonna be
you
an extreme
cannot
speed
be
Entei.
passive, and you do have those passive options.
I left
but I think
Amoonguss,
Luke knows
Rillaboom.
you cannot allow
Rillaboom
these
showing
setups.
up
When
today
you're
in these
getting
battles
a
so
little
far.
hint of a
Raging Bolt as
helping
well.
hand Draco
Wolfie
meeting,
was right.
you
Raging
cannot
Bolt's
allow
been
these setups. When you're
in both
One
games
thing,
so
I think
far.
the one thing would you look at with that Amoonguss though is its terror typing. You can't freely throw Draco Meteors out like he's talking about when you're looking at the terrestrialization on that Amoonguss.
Ray
But
and
before
Luke.
we get in any further with the teams, we can take
Online
a look at
Global
the
Challenge top 8 and
accomplishments
top
from our
4.
players.
both relatively
I should try an
new,
online
which I
tournament
think
for a
is
stream.
Really, really cool. So
That'd be funny.
we'll
I
start
wouldn't
talking
win,
about
but
Ray first. So the top
I
64,
think it'd be
we're
funny.
looking at the
Krober, thank you for tuning in
qualification.
for the last battle.
And
It was Kevin, the
I
guy from the US.
love this, but Ray has been just playing
The one that had the ice, the Calyrex Ice Rider. The one that was on the left.
To the type of player that you're going to be, that jumping into this new game and new generation, that this
I like
is
these
going
teams.
to be
Nice that
the
there's more
type of
variation in this
performances
division
that
than the
you put out.
Masters.
Yeah, incredible.
One thing that's kind of, I think the finals kind of embody that a lot too. Because normally when in the finals, like, there's, from what I've, like, I haven't been following it for too long, but from what I've understood from Wolfie's videos, from what he's explained, like, a lot of times in the finals, you see two things represented heavily.
Talking a little
The
bit more
basic
about the
meta
teams. We touched
team
on the importance of that Calyrex
that's, like,
Shadow Rider,
everyone
but
says
looking
is
at
good.
the other options around
And then the
it,
other
we
one,
got
which
the
is
double
normally the one that
grass here,
wins,
the
is
Rillaboom and
whatever
the Amoonguss.
off-the-wall
Of course, you do have
weird
to be
team
worried
someone was
of
able to come
potential
up with
Armor
that
Tail to
countered
stop
the meta that
fake
no one
outs.
else could beat.
But the Rillaboom does still have the really good utility in that grassy surge to get rid of the
Which
train
seeing
of the
stuff like that, I
Miraidon.
always
The
think is so
Amoonguss,
cool. People are able
it'll
to
be that
team build something
redirection. Of course,
that
you're not going to
perfectly
appreciate double
works
hits,
against the
but
meta
if
stuff.
you can keep the Calyrex
And with
Shadow
that, they're
Rider
able to
safe
make
for
it
long
super
enough.
far. Like, that was like
That could be
Michael
the
last
difference.
year
It could be a
making it to
huge
the finals with
difference
the
in this
Draco
match.
Bolt.
And the thing with the grassy terrain
Nobody
as well,
used
is you can
Draco Bolt. He made it to the
override
finals
that
with it.
terrain, and it enables that Spore then to be a big threat on the opposite side of the field, which is really useful. The other thing to note as well is that Incineroar, it does have that taunt and the Covert Cloak, so it's able to not really worry too much about
thinking
maybe
ideas
the
I
Iron
kinda
Hands
wanna
on the
do.
opposite side of the field with that fake out, where it has a free
I
taunt
might use
into
Extreme
those
Speed
things
Entei.
like the Amoonguss
You've seen a
and
couple
things
people
like
use
that
that. I
to be a
think
bit
this other
threatening.
team has, the other team they're about to show has
championship
one.
Dream, starting it off, starting that Pokemon journey, very reminiscent of that treasure hunt that you do at the beginning of the story, and what's going to be your treasure. Well,
I've
he
always
definitely
used
is about
Dragonite
to
for the
add
extreme
maybe
speed
something
stuff.
new to that collection, a World Championship trophy. So I'm so excited to see how
Terra
that will
Normal
turn
Choice
out. But a
Band
worthy
Extreme Speed
opponent
Entei.
sitting on the other end. You talked about that regional win, kicking the season off strong, and potentially ending
Ooh,
it
it's
off
Life
even
Orb,
stronger.
though.
Right on the restricted of
That might be
choice.
smarter, though.
And
I've
when we
never
look at this
used
pool
that.
of options, Grimmsnarl is a nice popular one to be pairing with it with these screens. But the
I wanna
Entei is
use that
something we
Entei.
haven't necessarily seen the
I don't know
most
how good
of,
this would
but
work.
definitely offering a
Should I do?
lot in
I
this
kind of want
match.
to do
Yeah, especially
Entei,
with that normal terror typing that
Zamazenta,
it's got
Iron
there, and
Hands,
a little bit different
Incineroar,
maybe than the Entei that we've seen in the past, where its common item is that choice band.
Amoonguss.
Seeing Luke opt for the Life Orb.
Yeah, I don't know the last
also
one.
offers up the option to go for the Protect, which allows you to maybe reposition some of
I
those
wanna try that
supporting
Entei,
Pokemon
though.
and allow it to be
So
enabled a
my
bit
story
further
with
and not
playing
go down or be in
doubles
that
battles,
position where
I'll
you have
say,
to switch it out so quickly.
is
This is such an
beginning with
impressive
Worlds
statistic.
last year,
Undefeated,
Worlds 2023.
all the way to the
I've
finals.
played Showdown.
Now,
I've played
it's
Pokemon
gonna
my
be
whole
the
life,
most
and I played
important
Showdown
match of
specifically
all.
for like
Can
battling
you
and
go
stuff.
say that
And
one more time?
battling and
Family
Showdown,
in the crowd
I always
supporting.
did singles. I
Nice
never
journey
did doubles.
out, but
I
this is gonna be
always did
so
singles
exciting.
battles.
I cannot
OU.
wait.
Gen
Either
7
side
OU is
of the
where I battled the
table,
most.
A very worthy
Because I love the
champion.
Mega so much. And being able to use Z moves as
that,
well, it was
and
so
both
much fun.
players, like I've already
So I battled
mentioned,
that a
done
ton.
incredibly well to just get
And
to
I
this
never
point,
did
but I don't
doubles. I
think
always thought
that's
doubles
enough
was
for
dumb.
these players.
Then I started
One more
watching
thing
Wolfie
to
at the
do,
start of
gotta
Scarlet
take
and Violet.
one
I'm
step
like,
further
this
and
actually
claim
seems
that
kind of cool.
championship for themselves.
And then I
Both
watched
players
the
have the
introductory
opportunity to
video
do.
and
We
opening
kind of
ceremony
already
for
touched upon some of
Worlds
the things
last
that these
year.
players have been trying to
And I
go
was like,
for in
okay, I
these
gotta try
matches.
this.
But the
I played for
important
3
Pokemon, I think,
hours.
for both players,
The
Urshifu
night
could be
one,
really
night one
important
of
for Luke.
Worlds
Could also
2023,
be
and I
more
won 3
important
battles.
on Ray's side of the field
All 3 of
because
those battles came
of
from
how
Extreme
important
Speed,
that
Terra
Entei
Normal,
is
Dragonite. I'm
on
like,
Luke's
okay,
side and
this
how
is the thing I gotta
excited
try started using. And from there, I started playing a bunch. By no means am I good, but I kind of understand some stuff. And the extreme speed Terra Normal was the first thing I ever got to have. The first thing that ever won me a game.
Luke's team is
So to see
full
people
of
use that
threats.
here, I
They'll
think is
focus
cool.
too
And a
close in
different
onto
version
the
of it with it on
and
Entei
all
now.
of a
I
sudden this
might want to try.
Miraidon is about
Because
to
with the Dragonite,
retrograde
you're
in
really
your
restricted
face,
to
or
just
Luke's own
extreme
Earth
speed
Shaker
terra normal.
fire
It's not really good for
back.
anything else. That
This is
Entei don't
gonna
have
be
Life
so
Orb,
intense to see
Sacred
what
Fire,
these
and
trainers wanna
Stomping
lead with.
Tantrum. Was that the ground move it had? Protect as well, and extreme speed obviously, but it wasn't stuck into the extreme speed is the main point there.
Maybe reposition some of those.
Yeah, Stomping Tantrum. It's not stuck into the extreme speed because the Terra or because of the choice band, but as Life Orb instead. Oh, there's the trophies.
Wait to see how this is going to be going down.
Maybe I do that on stream tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow. I'll play a little bit of the randomizer. Then we could get into some showdown, and I could start trying some of these new teams.
Making the noise, let's get to it.
Yeah, it's a really
dang, so he went 7-2 and he went 9-0. Luke's undefeated.
Straight out of the gate. It's going to pressure both that Calyrex with this electric train being set up, and more importantly, that Urshifu.
When are they going to give us shiny Koraidon and Miraidon?
Not really immediately pressured.
Oh my god, imagine they gave us them as a mystery gift after this.
As it's held out, I'm going to be able to take one attack and maybe get
Nah, I think if they do it, if they were to do it as a mystery gift, probably after the next year's Worlds, because next year's Worlds will be should be per the schedule we've been going on, should be the last one for Scarlet Violet.
Really threatened by that psychic.
But honestly, going into Gen 10,
where it can get a nasty plot off,
I was talking to my brothers about this earlier. Or no, it was the other night when we were watching Worlds.
That will be the protect.
It would have been Saturday, no, Friday night after I ended the stream. We were watching the last couple of games, and they were like, "Oh, is this gonna be the last?" Or like, "How many more are gonna be for Scarlet and Violet?" I'm like, "There should be one more." But with it going into Gen 10, like it's Generation 10. I don't know if anyone. I felt this way every time I've talked about it. Like it's Gen 10. Like that's this is gonna be the biggest deal they've had for a Pokemon generation. So I think they're gonna go crazy with it. Like I think something that's crazy, like every gimmick is gonna be like something absurd like that is gonna be in the game. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes longer to do it. Now everyone's been saying, oh, Pokemon should take longer to work on the game to make it a better game. Like I've always said, Pokemon is no excuse. They have unlimited money. They don't need to take longer to work on the game. Like they don't need to do that. But if they want to get something done to a certain standard, like oh my god, it hits the focus sash on the Urshifu right there. If they want to get something done in a standard to a specific standard they want to go to, they can do it in any time frame. There is no limit.
It'd be interesting to see
because they have unlimited money.
Is to bring in from Luke's
but
field now
with Gen 10, I could see them taking that extra time.
And that's going to be taking the close combat a little bit better, and the defense.
Big damage first turn here, completely different than the first turn of the last game.
So that psychic noise is going to drop the Urshifu once and for all on this turn.
Now, if Luke does have that Entei in the back, this is a huge move for him. Yes, he's taken a bit of damage from the Astro Barrage, but there's not been that Grimnir boost, which is great. Nothing's being knocked out. You've still got all your Pokemon, and you've removed that big threat to the Entei, which could come in later on and utilize that terrestrialization. You've got a nice position as well with
Let me grab the book.
out on the field.
Let me grab the book. Entei. How do you pronounce it? Commentators saying Entei. I have always said Entei. E is towards the beginning of the alphabet. We have Entei right here in the book. Type fire. Entei. Yep. So Entei. That must be his accent or something.
And this is why what
dang, Entei's kind of big.
6'11",
436.
You need to make sure it stays safe.
Entei's
and when
big
this Grimmsnarl
boy
is threatening over on the opposing end with these Thunder Waves, if that all of a sudden targets into that Calyrex, that is going to be neutralized for the rest of the matchup. Going to be slower and a potential to not even attack. So I love the Amoonguss joining the field.
Yeah, it's a great play here from Ray. He's got that board position set up now.
Amoonguss is out.
To that Rage Powder. Nothing's really too threatened. The Psychic Noise going to do super effective damage, but not enough to pick up the knockout into the Amoonguss. So there's no immediate reason for you to have to lock in with a terrestrialization here with the
Delete
Amoonguss.
the stream. Delete the stream.
Entei was out on the opposite side of the field. Again,
oh my god.
Is
it's Entei. It's Entei. It's Entei.
So you've got that really great way of just protecting perfectly that Calyrex and opening the door for you to get a nasty plot off in this position.
Speaking of Farigiraf, I like its design. Do you guys like it? I like how the tail of Girafarig is like, it's like a hood on the head.
Electric terrain, the only thing it'll really be able to do is some damage or just consistently keeping this
What is this, Terra Water?
This going to be
Berry?
The Terra Berry for a little Amoonguss, a little heart on top. So cute out here and trying to have a little bit more longevity.
Have we seen anyone do Terra Fairy on an Amoonguss?
Keep the Calyrex safe.
I mean, he's in the finals of Worlds. He knows more than me.
There's no need for it, but there is a need if you want to keep that Amoonguss around a lot longer, taking away that psychic weakness and also
gets the nasty plot off.
If
that thing takes something out, it is going to be scary.
Starting to get set up.
plotting on the demise and a lot of damage on the horizon. Amoongus just a little bit of damage in from that psychic noise, but this Calyrex is about to dish out a world of hurt reminder. That
this Calyrex is about to cook right here.
But you'll be doing a lot into that Grimmsnarl, picking up the KO and anything that's swapping in. And you do have another move as well. You can't just be firing off with psychics as well.
No, that's the thing. You can't just continue going for them now. I think you need to readjust. If you are Luke, you can't allow this Calyrex just to freely fire off.
What is my chair running into?
Amoongus in a great position where we've already mentioned the psychic noise. Not
it's the chair. It's the.
Even if
I thought the leg of the chair was hitting the
Amoongus
table.
not really
The actual
worried
seat
about
of the
that
chair.
so slow anyway.
Yeah, the Amoongus, that's just soaking up this paralysis from the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Is another
Toadstool Spore is better than Amoongus Spore because it puts anything like Golden Go to sleep.
Already taken some
Amoongus is the Amoongus is like a monster though. It's about to, if it wins Worlds tonight, I believe it'll have the most World Championships out of any Pokemon.
And constantly threaten the partner Pokemon. So perfect time for the Trick Room to make sure that horse is moving last.
Yeah.
I mean, is that if Amoongus wins Worlds tonight, is Amoongus in the GOAT discussion?
A nice thing for the Amoongus, right? Because it's so slow and it could almost threaten with those spores. But because the electric terrain is still active on the field, that's not a thing that you can
such
utilize
a cool
now. The Entei coming onto the field for Luke, going to be very threatening to this Amoongus, especially the double up from that Farigiraf. And both of these Pokemon will move first. The big risk here is if Raid decides to go for a Rage Powder, there is a chance of the fully paralysis from that Thunder Wave.
Like, Pokemon were really cooking back then with these designs. Yo, Johnny Deals, thank you for tuning in.
Especially with a
on Twitch as well. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch.
They can go for that Terrestrialization into the normal type now and have that immunity from those really threatening Astral Barrage.
Like, you think about like Entei, Raikou, Suicune, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Mewtwo, Mew, even all the Gen 3 legendaries as well. Like, they were just cooking. There wasn't a bad legendary until the late Guardians. I don't really like them.
The punish won't be there. Entei, the protect for that first turn.
Oh, and that's so unfortunate, but I mean, you get away with it slightly there because of the Entei. Just going for that protect. The Psychic Noise coming out.
They're just chipping down this Amoongus and it's paralyzed, so there's a chance it doesn't even do anything a turn.
Taking at this point, the Calyrex going for the protect there. Cannot go for it again. You've got to hope if you go for the same play this time around, the Entei doesn't go for that Terrestrialization, and also that you don't.
Yeah, do you guys think he's gonna extreme speed?
Oh, no harm, no foul on the turn. I think it was just a double protect to try and get through that first turn of Trick Room, but a real testament of how this.
I appreciate it, but I'm really not. I'm really not.
Want to go on the offensive.
I appreciate it though.
Absolutely massive.
I've only been following it for about a year.
A little nerve-wracking from here on out because you've seen the potential for where this can go wrong.
Yeah, and I think if you've got one, you think that's it out the way now. So hopefully Amoongus can get through the rest of this game and provide a little bit extra support. Now you will see the Electric Terrain has gone off the field now, but we're not keeping
Amoongus is swapping out
on the field. We're gonna let it just go back. Use that regenerate.
Raging Bolt. See, Wolfie was right, man. This thing's gonna be one of the best competitive Pokemon of all time.
It's gonna be Terrestrialization for Luke here in game 1.
It is on the Entei to Terra Normal, so he's gonna be hitting extreme speed for sure.
Here's the Terrestrialization.
This is my bread and butter.
So the Calyrex
this is my bread and butter right here.
Special attack. If it wants to keep firing off Astral Barrages, it's not
I'm the leader of the Brotherhood of Deals Discord, the Brotherhood Centers for Guard. Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you. Shout out to all the boys in the Deals Discord.
Not just defensive Terrestrialization, but offensive as well.
Ooh! Look how much damage into the Raging Bolt.
Dropping a lot of damage.
Yeah, and the big thing is the Psychic here into that Entei. And
Entei's dead. Entei's dead there.
Taking down that huge important Pokemon.
Dang, one hit KO on the Entei.
You needed this damage. You needed to stick around, but this Calyrex, now another boost, but I think it's too late. No amount of slowing down from Luke. You do have this Miraidon.
And then Miraidon on full, oh, it's not on full HP. Why was I thinking it's on full HP?
At this +4, and sure, maybe it's in this Trick Room, but Luke has not made us.
Luke hasn't lost a game yet so far at this tournament. It says right here, 9-0.
Maybe not. Depends how the Calyrex Shadow Rider has been trained.
Now he might have lost a specific. I mean a set. Sorry, he hasn't lost a set. He may have lost a game.
As well, it's slower. It's gonna have to take an Astral Barrage. Can it take a +4? Probably not.
Psychic Noise.
The Psychic Noise
hangs on.
Bolt, not even going for it if you was trained wrong. But I think at the World Championships, that Calyrex will be all
that
the
thing's done. Miraidon's down.
Into the Miraidon, super effective.
I think is that GG's? He's got the boosted Calyrex still.
last
He's got
Pokemon standing.
Raging Bolt.
He's not going to be able to
He's
get it
about
done.
to go down.
No, and the Trick Room's still in effect. So the Calyrex, the last thing to actually attack this turn. The Miraidon not got enough in the tank to be able to take that Raging Bolt attack. Frigoraph against the 3 Pokemon now on
I think
Ray's
this might
side
be
of the field,
GG's.
and probably feels a little bit too far for him to make a comeback in this one. Ray taking it with quite dominating fashion in this first game.
Now, I will
100%.
note,
We talked
the
about
last
importance
game
of
we
this
saw the
Calyrex
juniors
Shadow Rider,
finals.
not allowing it to get
The
set
person
up.
who
This is
lost
gonna
the
be great to
first
know the
game
amount of
ended up
damage that
winning
you'll
in
do
the
from
end.
here on out with that foul play, but of course not dropping it. Still plenty.
5 HP, it hangs on.
Good, but second Raging Bolt. That was the self KO.
Calyrex takes it out here for sure, right?
Self-worth it, I think, taking it down and then closed up with this Calyrex. It's been so phenomenal.
Yep, Calyrex takes Frigoraph out. That's GG's for game 1.
As he takes an early lead in this
That is
set.
GG's for game 1.
What a match as well. Even in that Trick Room, even in those twisted dimensions, great supportive options. And there is no way that Luke could get to that Calyrex Shadow Rider in the first place.
One thing I
So
will
now
note
you
that I
really
want to
have
start doing,
reevaluate. A couple
every
of
one of
maybe
these
passive
weekends, like
options being
when they have
brought.
these tournaments
And
for like
yes, you
this
got
next
the
season
paralysis on the
of Pokemon,
Mungus.
every
It's to
time there's
try and
tournaments where
set
they're
up.
streaming,
You
I'm
have
going to
this
stream
Frigoraph
them.
to stop any priority,
Like, do
get
like
the
these
Trick
watch-along
Room,
streams
but at
with
the
them.
same
Because I
time,
really
we're
enjoy
still
doing these.
looking
These
at
are
a
fun.
game of you need to outdamage
Like,
your
I feel like
opponent at some point,
I'm
so
learning, like
we
you
really
guys are
weren't
just talking
seeing
to
that
giant
there.
deals. You're telling
we
me
go
how
into
smart
the
you
latter
think,
stages
how
of
I
that
seem
game,
in
you
the
quite
about
rightly
competitive
pointed out
Pokemon.
that
I feel like
Calyrex is
I'm
still not
learning
taking any
so
damage.
much from
Just
watching
testament
this
to how
this much.
useful that Amoonguss is. Yes, it had that one turn where it was fully paralyzed, but
We gotta go
kind of
test.
unfortunate
That's what we're gonna do tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow's stream. I'm gonna do. I will do some of the randomizer, but then I think I gotta go on Showdown and start making some teams.
Nothing really came of that.
All the stuff we learned. I want to make Wolfie's team. I want to do. I want to make.
to remove it a little bit earlier on in this match.
I want to make a team
And
with
the Entei,
Zamazenta. I
when
think that'd be
you're
fun.
looking at this Pokemon that could be dealing so much damage. Not
And also,
really
I wanna keep doing random battles. I'm getting better and better at random
finally
battles.
did hit the field. It fired off one extreme speed.
That's
the
the thing
Raging
I
Bolt
feel like
being
I'm the
brought to
best at,
battle is
the
not gonna
random
be followed
battles.
By that, and then. Sure, the terrestrialization seems great, but being able to just go for these single target attacks at that point from this Calyrex Shadow Rider, that immunity doesn't matter anymore. It still has these other
This
attacking
Calyrex
ways.
is
So
cracked,
Luke,
man. The
it's
Shadow
gonna
Rider
be-
Calyrex.
He has to be careful in this next match, and I'm expecting something maybe a little bit more aggressive coming out.
Yeah, I think the one thing is to go for the terrestrialization maybe and get that NTI out a bit earlier, because if you can get it out a bit earlier and
changing up the
prevent
pronunciation all the time.
the
Yo,
Calyrex
Johnny
from
Deals, thank you for following on Twitch. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's half the battle, right? Because it's +2. Even with those sidekicks, it's going to be hitting very hard.
Miraidon
Even if
hits
you go
so
for that
hard,
normal
it does,
terrestrialization. So you've got to try and put the pressure on early on. Maybe utilizing.
I
something
like
your
Miraidon
animation, but it's
better
very
in terms
difficult
of
to kind
looks,
weave into
but
the
I can't
ball that
deny
you bring
Miraidon's
forward, I
the
think,
better
into this
one
match.
competitively
But it would be
for
very
sure.
useful,
That thing's
especially
cracked.
if you do see maybe that Calyrex go for the nasty plot, and you need that additional bit of damage to kind of hit it to knock it out, because you've got that security of the Focus Sash here, which can be quite useful in those situations. Outside of that, you've got to make sure that you have that electric train up throughout. If the Mungus is going to be something that Ray's really
You know what?
concentrating
We're
on
watching these
to
battles. We still got to remember,
help
we're
support
getting an
that
announcement
Calyrex.
tonight
And
of
the
where
big
the
thing
next
here,
Worlds
do
is
we
going to
see
be,
maybe a
and
little bit of change from
potentially
our trainers? Do we
some
maybe
sort of
see
announcement for a
Ray
game.
Luke
People
come
are
out this
saying
time
as
around
well.
from Ray's side of the field, because that would be the thing that allows
Telly,
that
thank you for
Mungus
tuning
a
in.
little bit more freedom to pressure things on the other side of the field and not be the only thing that can just say, I'm just going to redirect and maybe protect here and there.
It would also push off that Trick Room mode. So I think that Ray did a fantastic job of going through that Trick Room mode. I mean, you're taking the KOs and you won the game in.
Is Purple
but
Clip there? Is
that
Purple Clip there?
Extra security could be that difference between world champion or not.
Nope, didn't see him,
It's going
didn't
to be
see
on Luke
him.
to respond, though, and I'm hoping to see a little bit more aggression here. Don't let Ray have all the fun here.
You know how
Go
cool it'd be to
right
have one of
back
those trophies?
Into the match. Game number 2, Frigoraph Miraidon on the opposing end. It'll be the Amoonguss to support the Calyrex Shadow Rider.
Yeah, the electric chain coming out, we've already talked about it. It is going to give you that alleviation against a spore threat from the Amoonguss, but it is still a threat at the end of the day, because it is going to be able to redirect. It frees up the Calyrex to go for that nasty.
All right, we're seeing a Amoonguss out here first turn.
Frigoraph obviously gets the sidekicks, the boost in this situation.
Similar Pokemon to the end of last game with Frigoraph and Calyrex on the same sides they were at the end last turn last game.
The Amoonguss off the field as soon as possible. And going
Ray
for
is
that
up
foul
one
play, which
battle,
is doing
1-0.
good damage into that Calyrex. If you can get
Luke
maybe
is
some sort of
potentially
damage
facing
off
his
early on
first loss
Luke's side
of
the field,
Worlds,
once that
which would
Calyrex
come
is
in the
half
finals.
battle,
devastating
If you do think that there is the
that would be for
possibility
him.
of Rillaboom, a switch is great. And bringing the Entei out a lot earlier in the match will be able to pressure on this next turn, as when you're staring down a choice lock Pokemon on the opposing end, I'm not necessarily too
double
surprised to see
protect.
protect
Okay, so
coming out
nothing from there, and he got
Pokemon
pretty much the free
on
switch
Ray's
into
side
Entei.
of the field. The Psychic Noise, null and void, and now how will Ray react to the Entei?
Yeah, and it's a nice patient play here from Ray. Again, just probably wanting to scout out what that Miraidon locked into and then adjust next turn going in after that decision's been made. But Luke making a really nice play here, not locking into the Volt Switch because knowing maybe the Protect is coming out from both these Pokemon, hard switching into the Entei, and now it's in a position
the
where
Calyrex
he's
looks cool.
Entei's
just, I mean,
from
the legendaries back then are way cooler.
And then starts to
way
pressure that Amoonguss.
cooler.
It has just protected. Now, if you are Ray, do you have something in the back that you could switch in from the Amoonguss? And if you are going down that route, it does leave the Calyrex a little bit vulnerable in that situation, where if a foul play comes out and you don't have that Rage Powder support, you're going to be taking heavy damage.
Yeah, Ray definitely has a couple of Pokemon that would be able to
Helping
take
hand
a
the
Sacred
Entei.
Fire better, but no swap and helping hand this Entei. This could be a lot of damage, and we'll be going straight into the Amoonguss.
If he goes Sacred Fire here, that thing's
we'll
done.
Be taking the full force of this hit.
Nasty on the Calyrex, same as last game.
Have that +2 to the special offense to really be able to hit on that go button. A
Sacred Fire
will connect.
and it goes down.
Will go down. Calyrex Shadow Rider losing its partner.
Yeah, and that's a big turn here for Luke, removing that key support option here from Ray's side of the field. But the thing is, it's done its job almost. It's allowed that Calyrex to at least
he's right.
Get
it did go to, yes, Amoonguss goes down already, but it allowed Calyrex to get the nasty plot off.
Active on both sides of the field.
Now he's facing down the Urshifu, which is good against the Entei, and that boosted Calyrex, which is good against everything.
The Urshifu is going to come in, and it is going to threaten with those Surging Strikes, do super effective damage. Even if it terrestrializes, you can just lock in with the close combat there, and you've got the Unseen Fist ability, so you don't even need to worry about the Protect. You can remove that Pokemon quite happily.
And when Entei is the attacking threat on this turn, and slower than this Calyrex Shadow Rider, I mean, the Calyrex can just start firing off attacks, and the Farigiraf, I mean, we saw how much the foul play did, but at the same time, it's not really threatening too fast into this Urshifu.
I don't really get the point of his Farigiraf right here.
Yeah, and the one thing you would say is that Ray does have access to that terrestrialization, not using on the Amoonguss here, could go for it onto the Calyrex and get rid of that foul play.
He's going with Terra Water on the Urshifu.
Instead, it's going to be the
Stellar Terra
on to this Urshifu. We're not worried about defensive of all. We are making sure the damage output we have is what we need.
Double terrestrializing this turn.
On this turn, though, Luke, this is time to make sure your Pokemon can make it on through the Dark type for the Farigiraf.
What's the point of this thing?
Foul play even further, but it is going to be weak now to that close combat. Has Ray kind of scouted that out and maybe covered that slot? Gazin, then the Calyrex might be in a little bit of trouble. Extreme Speed coming out into that Urshifu.
That's going to be breaking the sash, but the importance of the terrestrialization. Sure.
Wow.
You can be hit by the Astral Barrage, but not
big
by the
turn right there, but the Surging Strikes goes for the Farigiraf.
The Surging Strikes firing off, but how well will the Farigiraf take it? Because it's going to be able to hold on and start firing off an attack back.
Hangs on and hangs on.
Going to lock in with that foul play into the Calyrex, taking that immunity to the Psychic. Here's a foul play.
Then foul play here on the Calyrex for sure. Oh, and the one-hit KO. I'm over here saying, what's Farigiraf doing? Makes it so it changes the types of the attacks. Immune survives the attack from the Urshifu and takes out the Calyrex.
Game of the set is now gone, and 2 Pokemon remaining for Ray. The adjustment, the Rillaboom coming on out, but Luke in so much more of a commanding position the last time around, thanks to this aggression and the Farigiraf that we talked about how little damage it can do, and proving us wrong. Huge terrestrialization.
Yes, so surprising and a really great one, because you do expect it onto that Entei. You think, okay, get the immunity from that Astral Barrage, but no, Luke pulling the Master Stroke there and really catching.
Look, I love the Dark Terra type because it looks like they have Conqueror's Hockey. You see that? The black and red over there?
Because there is that threat now.
Reminds me of Conqueror's Hockey in One Piece.
Urshifu on Ray's side.
The Surging Strikes, though, less damage because we've already used up the boost from that one, as Rillaboom is just going to be dealing that
Farigiraf
last
goes
little
down.
amount of damage into the Farigiraf to finally drop it down. this point, it has done what it needs to do, and Luke can freely bring something out onto the field to support this Grimmsnarl, which in this
Ray's
case
down
can
2
also
Pokemon. These are his final 2.
make sure you outspeed
Luke
and start going for
still
these
has
Thunderwaves.
yet to
that's the
reveal.
thing. The Thunderwave going to be really
no, he
useful
has
here.
shown
The
all of them.
screens, you've got to reflect if you need to, but the big important Pokemon that you want to bring out onto the field right now is
The
going to be
big
that
bad
Miraidon,
Miraidon, his restricted
overriding the
Pokemon he brings
terrain,
out.
winning that terrain battle, and now you are instantly pressuring that Urshifu. The Rillaboom can resist, and it does have the Assault Vest, so we'll be able to take those attacks a little bit better, but not considering it. Locked in cancellation, tied up. We are going to a game 3.
What a change of pace coming out from Luke in this match. Outpaced in the first and really pressing
so
on
like
pedal.
we said,
and from the
last game, the guy that won the first battle lost the next 2 and lost.
And then all of a sudden having
Meaning
this
the person that lost the first battle ended up winning. Luke lost the first battle, wins the second one. Is he going to win the third?
Psychic, thanks to that immunity, and fire off with a boosted foul play was absolutely everything.
Yeah, the Sacred Fire here, as you're seeing, getting rid of that Amoonguss like early on in this match was really key. You thought things didn't look too good though.
This was the big turn. The turn I'm talking bad on the Frigoraptor. What's this thing good for? It wins the game.
The surprise there, the support Pokemon all the way through, they've just been chipping things down. Was the one to terrestrialize, getting rid, surprise KO onto that Calyrex. Maybe Ray got a little bit complacent in that little part of the match.
I mean, that's not going to be a mistake that's made again. No. That is absolutely for sure an adjustment being made, but just a little late.
Man, look at all the people
point.
there.
Everyone gathered up here now. We got a game 3 for everyone here for our senior.
Oh my God, it's
final.
packed, man.
And so back and forth between the sets. I don't know which way this is going to go.
Yeah, it's really tough to call because you look at Ray's side, if he gets that Calyrex, I think you want more utility out of the Amoonguss, because I think the one thing that you would say the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 was the Amoonguss was able to support for a lot longer, where it kind of got taken down really quickly without really much
It'd be so cool to be there.
In that second
See me
game.
in the
And
crowd.
That was the key. That's what Luke really needs to do, I think. Getting rid of that Amoonguss, getting rid of the Urshifu as soon as possible allows the Entei and then the Miraidon to kind of really have that big impactful force on his side of the field, but also at the same time, you can't get carried away. You've got to keep that Calyrex in check. You've got a perfect Pokemon to do that, though, with the Frigoraptor, you know? Comes onto the field, it gets that electricity boost, so when those physical threats like the Urshifu come in later on, it's not really so worried about them, especially with the Rillaboom as well. They're the 2 physical threats that were at the end of that game too, but that Psychic Seed really helping out. Just let it have that longevity a little bit more that we might sometimes forget about because it's activated so early on, and Luke keeps it on the field that entire time.
For these trainers, one about to make history, one match away from becoming the world champion here in Honolulu in the seniors division. For Ray, a testament to the skill in the Scarlet and Violet era. And for Luke, the final way to be ending off his time in seniors. Let's make some noise and get into game 3 here. Adjustments.
I hate yawning. Just download United Tips to get started.
Yeah, nice adjustment here. Again, going from that Amoonguss into the Urshifu here. You've got that immediate damage.
Who's like the good
Calyrex,
Talonflame is a good Pokemon to use at the start. For like those starter Pokemon choices.
Protect the Urshifu here, scout out what the Miraidon's going to do again, or do you try and play into that, maybe expecting Luke to expect
all right, here we go.
Side of the field, switch that Miraidon
final
out,
game.
maybe go
game 3. The winner will be decided here in this match.
That second game, remove that from the field. You remove the Armor Tail. You kind of free up some of your more options where you've got access to those priority attacks as well. You don't need to worry about the Trick Room either, so your Calyrex can breathe a little sigh of release when that Pokemon has gone down.
Every match so far, we have seen the double protect on this first turn, but Ray is going to go on the offensive. Astral Barrage, nothing into the Frigoraptor.
There's a lot to the right in there, but they're right. He did go double protect the other first turns.
Draco Meteor miss into the Calyrex. That could have been everything, but instead, Miraidon down on the very first turn in the match. How devastating.
That is so unfortunate for Luke, going for the Draco Meteor. And
missed the Draco Meteor first turn, and the Miraidon goes down. Oh, but brings the Urshifu to focus that. They're swinging out here in the first turn of this last game.
Because of that miss, and because he's been brave and not protecting that first turn, going for pure damage.
the bounce back you have to have from that. Losing the restricted on the first turn, you can't come back from that. If you have something like the Entei, there is possibilities, but absolutely devastating. This is going to be an uphill battle from this point on. In the Calyrex, it has not been damaged whatsoever. So even if the Entei does target into the Urshifu here to take it down, the Calyrex will be able to respond.
You think he's got to go Terra Normal on this thing, right?
In that position now where it
increase the damage as much as possible.
Maybe even go for a Terastallization here because it's still available on the race side.
Well, actually, he doesn't need to this turn because he can go extreme speed into Urshifu and take that thing out and it won't get hit by the water attacks.
Now, go for that extreme speed, get rid of the Urshifu. Once that's gone, then you can start concentrating on that Calyrex a little
But
bit
here's the
easier.
thing, do you think Array knows he's going to do that so he protects with Urshifu and targets Entei with Calyrex?
You've got the Farigiraf there that can help with speed control, you can flip the dimensions, the Amoonguss isn't on the field right now. If it is in the back though, that becomes a little bit risky because your electric
Okay, here we go, is it going to be the Terra Normal?
In the turn 2, it's time for the Terastallization.
And it goes to the Farigiraf once again, Terra Dark.
Game 2, we saw that foul play coming out from that Terastallization, and what it was able to do to the Calyrex Shadow Rider.
So the obvious play is extreme speed into Urshifu. Okay, it is. It does extreme speed into Urshifu and it takes it out.
Down. Is there going to be the follow-up from this Farigiraf for a double KO onto this turn? We have to get past this Calyrex first as Psychic into this Entei instead. A lot of
Entei hangs on, it's in the
not
yellow.
enough. This is going to be the moment, Mo, for Blue to see if he can come back into this match. And
If it takes it out here, this will be massive.
Took the KO last
Oh, and it one-hits it!
Calyrex, one-hit KO.
Seeing the Draco Meteor miss that turn 1, deciding I'm not going to settle on that. I'm bringing my Entei onto the field. I'm going to use that speed. I'm going to get rid of the threat in the Urshifu.
2v3.
Once again for that successful Terastallization on the Farigiraf. Take advantage of that boosted foul play and get rid of the restricted
Amoonguss and Raging Bolt
leveling the
versus
Farigiraf,
Entei, and whatever else he has in the back.
Of the Entei, but this Farigiraf has been MVP so far, doing what the restricted could not, and now Ray down to final 2 Pokemon. It's the support, and it is the
Was
Raging
Wolfie the
Bolt.
one that
Raging
started
Bolt,
like
since
people
it's been
using
introduced in the
Farigiraf?
format, has
He brought it to
definitely
Worlds
had a
last
person to
year.
reckon with. And this one does
I
have
remember
the potential
everyone
for that
thinking
damage
that was
with
crazy.
that life orb. Can it do enough though? It doesn't have access to that priority thanks to that Farigiraf.
Screw
so
you,
it has to go
Amoonguss.
slow but steady to take these KOs.
Yeah,
Big,
the
stupid
thing
looking
is, you
mushroom
really want
Pokemon.
to utilize that Thunderclap in this situation, but with that Farigiraf on the field with the Armor Tail, that is blocked until that Pokemon exits. The Amoonguss as well is going to be heavily threatened from that Entei now with the
he's got Sacred Fire.
It's going to do a lot of damage into that Pokemon, but maybe scouting out a Protect from Ray's side, the Entei going for a Protect of its own.
Amoonguss as well.
Good
not
play
wanting
doing
to
the
take
protect from
attack
Luke.
From this potential Entei. So it's going to be the other 2 to act on this turn as Raging Bolt targets into the Farigiraf. It's going to be
Farigiraf hangs on.
This turn though. Not going to be full, but Psychic Noise targeted
Into the Amoonguss.
Yeah, and that's a really nice play there. Getting some damage onto the Farigiraf as soon as possible. Prioritizing getting rid of that Pokemon is really what you want to do. We talked about the importance of that Armor Tail.
So both Farigiraf and Entei are very weak, but
possible to kind of free up the ability.
And Raging Bolt and Amoonguss are very strong. Full HP pretty much. Amoonguss is full and Raging Bolt is pretty much full. It's only lost 19 HP. No, 21 HP.
Big threatening attacks from Entei on Luke's side of the field.
Notable, there is still Terastallization for Ray, so when the moment counts the most, we're going to be able to see the Sparkles come out onto the match, not for offensive on that
Terra Fairy Amoonguss.
Wanting to make sure that this Amoonguss can stick around as long as possible into that fairy type. Trying to make sure if his Sacred Fire comes out, it's going to be helping out, but helping hand. Can we get the damage here? Rage Powder, the Amoonguss is...
Okay, last turn he went down here from this, but he didn't Terastallize. Now he's Terra Fairy and Sacred Fire. Isn't enough because he Terastallized. That was like, oh, but he got the burn.
It does survive, though. That's all Ray needs to do for this one turn because maybe that is enough to remove the Entei from the field and the Thunder build.
And it is. Now, what's his last Pokemon going to be?
The Farigiraf, so that gets to stick around for a little bit longer.
All right, we got these 2 Pokemon, the Burnt Little Mushroom, on a little bit of
If it's Grimmsnarl, I think he might lose.
Into the ending of this game number 1.
It is Grimmsnarl.
This will be the Grimmsnarl once well trained as down to his final 2 as well on this full health.
The thing is, Grimmsnarl can't do damage.
in a good position to just go for another one of those Rage Powders. Can the Raging Bolt get rid of this Farigiraf on Luke's side of the field? And then
I think Ray's got it.
One-on-one
He's going to go Rage Powder for Farigiraf. Is going to attack Amoonguss unless Grimmsnarl goes first.
Yeah, Rage Powder coming out.
No, yeah, Grimmsnarl goes light screen. Yeah, Grimmsnarl doesn't do damage.
Trying to make sure that you can out-damage your opponent, not take too much as Thunderbolt into the
Farigiraf goes down.
More than enough to bring Luke down to final Pokemon. And
wow.
with a sport of one, and the only move of choice being this foul play, does Luke have enough to close this out?
It's going to be very, very difficult, you'd say, with the burn on
so
the Amoonguss.
Ray's obviously going to just keep going Rage Powder.
The electric terrain is now
and it's just going to be throwing attacks with Raging Bolt onto Grimmsnarl.
If the Amoonguss can get one of those off, maybe you take a chance to just protect the Raging Bolt one turn. Scout out that the foul play is going into that slot. Utilize the Amoonguss, go for the Spore, but we're not going to have it.
Instead,
at least try.
And with that, Ray Yamanaka is going to be your Pokemon World Champion here in the Seniors Division.
Wow, GG's.
Back and forth, best of 3 set, and in the end, being able to close it out. First year in playing now in Scarlet and Violet. First game, first generation, and a world champion. What?
Wow.
What an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
GG's.
From Ray, from start to finish.
Dude, Amoonguss is so good, man.
Testament to
Amoonguss really is good.
A little bit dicey after that game too, but he was able to kind of overcome that, come through it, and in the end, really capitalize on some very well-positioned Pokemon and utilizing the tools they had available, like that Raging
I'm
Bolt.
going to start using Amoonguss
One
more.
of those Pokemon that you think, are you going to bring it to this?
Thank you for tuning in.
Effective? But yes, it was effective. It was just what he needed in that end game. And the
now we're coming up on the main event. Coming up on the main event of the night, everybody.
To Ray and to both of our finalists.
Honestly, that was
what
all
time
we could
is the
ask
last
for
game
in a
supposed to
set.
start?
There was so back and forth, all the drama on the thrills, and a worthy world champion. The biggest of congratulations to Ray. And I mean, Ray had spoken about this being a tough tournament through and through, and Luke made him work for it in the finals.
Okay, I have the schedule pulled up.
Yeah, definitely didn't make it easy at all. And that, the
3:15 is
in
when
game
that
2
started.
Was so great to see the surprise terrestrialization on the Farigiraf, catching Ray off guard, taking down that Calyrex was such an important turn.
Behind.
The big thing that you would say for Luke was very unfortunate going into that game 3. Pivotal turn with that Draco Meteor miss, because if that hits, things might have turned out a little bit differently there.
They're an hour
so
behind
tough.
schedule.
You have these powerful attacks, but there has to be the drawback somewhere, and Draco Meteor sometimes that is going to be your downfall. And maybe if we had even seen the aggression from the Farigiraf in the opposing slot on the first turn, but that's such a hard call, because
well, no, they're probably just going to go right into the Masters finals, right?
Not so accurate moves. You can't just hey, maybe it won't hit, so I got to cover, because you still need to take care of the Urshifu in that spot as well. So that is so
no,
tough.
they're about
absolutely heartbreaking for Luke.
30 minutes behind
for
schedule.
Ray to be able to bring this to a 3-game.
About 30 minutes behind schedule.
This end game was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think as well, to talk about how Ray has trained his Pokemon, being able to take that helping hand, Sacred Fire, pivotal in that end game situation where it was enough to be able to protect that Raging Bolt and just enough time to allow it to remove the really key parts of Luke's side of the field and allow him to walk on and become a 2024 Seniors World Champion.
The first game that was the first set that's gone to 3 here in our
So we have next
so
Masters finals. It says at 4:15.
And what a
VG Awards at 5:15. Closing ceremony at 5:30.
Truly.
So essentially what's going to happen is they're going to do the interview.
So much.
We're going to go over to the Masters finals.
They're
going to play the Masters finals.
And seeing the adjustments
then
from
after
each game
that's
to
done,
next,
they have the
Ray
awards.
A little off guard by the
then the closing ceremony.
Game 2, and then game 3 being able to match it to be able to close it out.
To upgrade my showdown team, I'm saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, it was very well done, and I think that's the thing where Luke was quite comfortable in that situation, saying, "Okay, I just need to get my Farigiraf into a position where
I got to upgrade some of my teams as well."
A sense of security in a lot of ways, where the Farigiraf's it's thrown out the psychic noise.
I believe TCG should be done, right?
But I'm not going to lock him in
because I believe Unite ended last night, then Go was the first thing today. Then they ran through TCG,
at the right time,
and then now it's been VGC. For the past, how long have I been live? Almost 2 hours.
That moment just wasn't able to take that into game 3, unfortunately. But more
you guys want to see something sick real quick?
Because really not faulting.
You guys want to see something super cool? You type in YouTube, and I go to my channel.
To get over the line with
look at that.
Calyrex taking the opportunity
2,000
presented to go for that nasty plot.
40
get that
subs. subs. When we started the weekend, it was at 19, 1,900 something, 980. Now we're at 2,040. We're almost gonna gain 100 subscribers in just this weekend. Since Wednesday, I've gained over 100 already. Since Wednesday.
I mean, what a set, and I think it's about due time that we get to hear from our new Pokemon World Champion and head
now
on
the interview.
over to the stage to hear from Ray himself.
I'm here with your world champion, Ray Yamanaka.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing.
When you started your journey to Worlds, did you expect that this
so the
would
lady
be
on the
the
right is
result?
the translator.
世界大会に向けていろいろと準備してきたと思うんですけども、まさか世界チャンピオンになれると思いましたか？
全くそんなことは考えていませんでした。とても嬉しいです。
I had no idea that I would be the world champion. I didn't think I'd be able to do that at all, but I'm really happy that I did.
We're so proud of you as well, and you are upholding an amazing tradition of Japanese world champions. How does it feel to be representing Japan as a world champion?
日本選手の代表として勝てたっていうことで、すごい嬉しいと
The
感じてます
translators are kind of cracked, huh? They remember all the stuff that was said. Did they say it in a different language?
Yeah, I'm
then
so
they
happy I
listen
was
to the
able to win
response and
as a
then repeat the
representative of
response in a
Japan.
different language.
And is there anyone
I
here?
was talking over what he said.
The representative of Japan.
本当に嬉しいです。
Yeah, I'm so happy I was able to win as a representative of Japan.
And is there anyone here cheering for you or watching online that you want to say hello or thank you to?
今見てるご家族とか友達とか今応援してくれてる人に挨拶
The
と
player,
か
the player, the player, the player, the player. Maggie says the Poke player.
そうだな。
I like his outfit. He's got a sick fit. He's got sick pants and shoes.
応援してくれた
I have nothing but gratitude for everyone who's supported me on this journey so far, and I
人たちに感謝しかないし、これからも頑張っていきたいと思います。
I have nothing but gratitude for everyone who's supported me on this journey so far, and I will keep doing my best in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for an amazing
What do you think they do
match.
with all the fancy stuff in the background?
For your world champion. And that's not all. We have lots more Pokemon
Like
coming your way.
the massive
Pikachu
Pikachu right there. Imagine having that. Or that Majanium. The Talonflame.
Wow, what a phenomenal
Is that the Decidueye up there?
Finals we have had so far here on Championship Sunday.
Let me catch up to the beginning.
Crown here at the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. It has been an incredible weekend of competition across all the amazing games we have here. But now it is time for the Masters Division on the video game side of things.
And if you've been enjoying the action that we've had here so far, then make sure that you are signed up to get notifications. You can do that by scanning this QR code to get some email
Now we're
updates.
going.
Make sure you
Now
subscribe
we're going.
and make sure that you are
Masters Division Finals,
Pokemon events and
the
live
main
streams and
event
all the good
of
stuff
Worlds.
at the Pokemon Center you have coming your way.
You definitely want to stay informed of all of that epic Pokemon action. And speaking of action, the top cut that has gone through for these Masters Division players has been incredible. So let's take a refresher at the top.
We watched a lot of
and
these
how
games
things have shaped
yesterday.
up for our players. You can see our finalists here, Yuta Ishigaki and Luca
We
Cheribelli,
watched
being able to be one step
the
away
Luca
from the
game
world
here.
champion.
We
What's
saw
amazing
both
about this
these.
Top Cut bracket as well is we actually only had one player that had found themselves
And
in
this.
a top 8 of a World Championships before, and that was Michael Kelshi. Looked so good, being
Right.
able to make it into that semifinals where Yuta Ishigaki.
No, we saw this game
surprised, I
too.
think, a lot of people. When
I think
you
we saw
look at the
these
matchup
two.
on paper. You think maybe Michael's
Bottom
the
one
one
is
that's going
top
to be able
8,
to have the
middle,
advantage
both
there,
semifinals
but
and finals.
Yuta playing so well through that semifinal to get here. Likewise on the other side though, Luca Cheribelli, amazing player.
Yes, I think both Luca and Yuta were so dominant in their top 4 matches as well, really going on the offensive and just being in command, total control throughout the entire set. As you can see, they were both 2-0 victories as well. There was almost nothing stopping them from
They
getting
were
into
both
this
2-0
final.
victories.
But
We were
what
talking
stood
about that
out
yesterday.
Both of them in their play in those semifinals was the fact that they
Both
are
of them were
just
in the driver's seat for their
so
games.
unafraid to make some big plays to try to get that advantage either early on in the game or really turn the tides in their favor. So I think we're in for a good one, Lou, as we get ready to go for the very first game of this final match of the competition. It's just kind of been an amazing journey to get here.
I think that's the thing though, this World Championship was so coveted. We've been in Hawaii before, twice in fact, today being the 3rd World Championship here.
Yep.
And there's so much history being made, so much at stake for these
Pokemon was one of my
trainers.
favorite video
The
game
player
tournaments.
pool
It's my
incredible.
favorite video game tournament.
And now we're down to just 2 final competitors and being able to see all the victorious successes and the
That's not Wolfie, is it?
Just 2 final competitors and being able
That's not.
able to see all the victorious successes and the heartbreak along the way does just show the journey that all these players have been through. And even
I don't think it is. I've never seen him wear a hat like that.
Trainers enter into the competition on the very
I don't think I've ever seen him wear a hat.
The fact that it's just going to be
Doesn't that look just like him though?
Credit the journey competitors. The player pool was incredible. And
that looks just like him.
Final competitors and being able
You see this guy right here?
to see all the victorious.
I don't think it is because I've never seen him wear a hat. Like I've never seen Wolfie wear a
We've
hat.
gotten a chance already to see how that has played out for the juniors
That's
and
such
the seniors
sharp eyes,
division.
player. I'm
But
amazed
just
that
in
you were
case
able
you're
to-
tuning in
you
for the
can
first
spot.
time, it means that we've got one very powerful Pokemon on either side that a lot of these teams
I've been looking.
have been
To be fair, I've been
created
looking in the
around.
background the whole time. So I'm wondering if we'll see like Purple Clip or someone like that. Because you know how they've been doing the interviews with all the other people. I'm like, maybe they're doing an interview with like Purple Clip.
Shadow Rider Calyrex that we just
Because
saw
he's
in
like one of the biggest
seniors
Pokemon
division as well,
creators.
and we're kind of
And
rocking
he's
the
there.
pitch a little bit for that Pokemon choice, but it's not to be for the Masters division. That restricted Pokemon is either going to be Miraidon or it's going to be the Ice Rider Calyrex.
And both of those Pokemon have definitely been towards the forefront of what we would consider the meta heading into this event. Ice Rider Calyrex alongside Shadow Rider Calyrex, very consistent in terms of the damage output that it can have. With a
I like the
type,
shot they have
100%
here for
accurate
the
move,
commentators
because
you have like
Similarly, for
you're able to
Miraidon,
see
this is
the
a
fans and
Pokemon
stuff in the
that
background,
has
and then
an
the
enormous
stage.
special
Like I think
attack
that's a cool
also
dynamic.
a very powerful signature move.
It's
even
not
though
like
it is
they're
going to
not
be
too
single
close to the
target,
stage. Like
but
you have the
also,
space between where you can see all the
could you not
fans and
love
stuff. I think that it's a
Dragon?
perfect spot where they have it.
Speaking of signature moves as well, obviously the Electro Drift, so much damage coming down, but as you said, it's single target. So if you want to have those spread type moves, you can look right at the Ice Rider Calyrex that's using that Glacial Lance to deal so much destruction on the field. It's really hard to avoid those attacks, obviously, as well, because they are on the more accurate scale, of course, and doubling down into both the opposing Pokemon. If Chilling Neigh boosts get rolling through as well, it makes the Calyrex so formidable to deal with. So it's going to be a clash of the titans between not only the Pokemon, but two very esteemed Pokemon trainers as well today.
Even though we kind of expected to see Miraidon and Ice Rider Calyrex both towards the top tables of our competition, I think what's been so unique to watch is just how all of our trainers actually approached how to build around that. For Miraidon teams, in the past couple of weeks, we've really started to notice a trend where Miraidon has been supported by Pokemon like Whimsicott, Farigiraf, but then it's sort of about how do you round out the rest of the team that becomes a bit more predictable. You always want to have sort of that Fire, Water, Grass core if you can, and in this case, we do end up seeing sort of a decision made between what type of fire type you would like to have. But on the other side of things, Utah made such a creative approach to building out an Ice Rider Calyrex team that's
one of these two here is going to be a world champion.
I think those Terra types have really come to the
Utah
forefront as well.
Luca.
Some trainers opting for really offensive Terra types to give an extra boost behind the damage of their moves. But then we've also seen a lovely change in transition to more defensive Terra types as well. Particularly on Pokemon like Miraidon that we've been talking about. The Terra Electric was reigning supreme when we first were able to access this Pokemon. But now coming into the Pokemon World Championships, we're seeing some more defensive plays. Things like the Terra Fairy in action that not only provide some little defensive coverage from those powerful Draco Meteors and the Mirror, for example, but also potential Glacial Lances. You're dropping that Dragon type, getting rid of your Ice weakness, and boosting a cheeky Dazzling Gleam as well.
Here, she said
it is such a nice bit of coverage that you can have too. And we've seen Miraidon be able to close out games, kind of similarly to what we see from Ice Rider Calyrex being able to do the spread damage. Chip down those Pokemon enough, then the Miraidon can clean up the rest of the work at the very end of the day.
And sometimes you need a helping hand on your team as well, whether it is literally a helping hand from something like Iron Hands or the move choice from Farigiraf, for example. All those supportive Pokemon are the key components to enabling those restricted Pokemon to shine in their signature roles.
So they're going to do the thing where both of them come up on the stage over here with the main host lady. Then they go over here, they show the teams and stuff. Then they have the game. And then it's the interview. And then it goes into the awards. Then the closing ceremony. Then they announce at the very end where we're going next year. Who I think is going to win? I think Luca's going to win.
Iron Hands has slotted itself back into
his
the
games
fray.
yesterday.
At the very beginning of Scarlet and Violet, when it first became
after watching his games yesterday, I think he's going to win.
It was everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So Ice Rider Calyrex nowadays doesn't necessarily always have to operate in Trick Room to actually
and he's got
be
the
powerful.
Miraidon.
Well, sometimes the Pokemon can be slow, but let's pick up the pace here at the Pokemon World Championships. Let's introduce you to our two finalists in the Masters Division.
All right, here we go. God, I'd be looking so tough if I did one of these.
Let's go. We've been waiting all year, and we're so ready for this. We got some new tricks up our sleeve. something to remember. We can give it all that we got tonight. We're not going home till we win the fight.
One of these guys is going to be a world champion. This is it, everyone! The championships!
Masters champion.
The Masters finals!
Welcome to the stage. From Italy, Luca Ceribelli.
Look, they got the fire!
And from Japan, Yuta Ishigaki.
They did it wrong. They went out in the wrong order. Oh, they just didn't show Luca.
All right, we just have a few moments before the match, so I just want to know, how confident are you feeling?
Decent, yeah.
Great, simple answer.
Decent,
Very
I'd
good.
be.
What about you?
I'm
How confident?
brimming with confidence going into this match.
All right, that's a good answer too. Let's hear it for your two
What'd he say?
competitors.
I let the game decide.
All right, that's a good answer too. Let's hear it for your two competitors. Do you want to see them play? I do too. Please take your seats. Casters, let's get right into this match.
Pokey player was there, the whole crowd could feel his aura, they would.
Our competitors
They'd see me
to get
standing
ready
over there.
to go for
They'd have me
this
walking
World
out there,
Championships. So
walking
exciting
up.
because Lou, we're going to be crowning a new world champion here this
For
weekend
Worlds?
for the Masters division.
The finals!
I definitely want to see them play, and it sounds like the crowd does as well.
Are you ready?
It has been such a journey for these trainers to be able to get
This
through
is
to
it,
the
everyone.
world
This
stage
is the
and
main
both of them
event.
after that first ever
This
world
is
title.
what we
For
have
either
been
of
waiting
them, there
for.
can be so much history, so
The
much at stake to be made here.
2024 Pokemon Masters VGC Finals. Who will be the next champion of the world for Pokemon?
Thank you so much, you two. I am here with friends of our finalists. A few words, so I'm hoping to dive a
They got
little
more
bit
interviews
deeper.
before.
I have Arash Ahmadi and Hugh Mahara. One question each. I want to know, do you think Luca is ready to become a world champion?
I think so. Like before the
Do you
tournament,
think he's
I knew
ready?
he was
He's
one
in
of
the
best
finals.
the
Yeah,
world.
he's ready.
I didn't know if he was the best, but like after seeing how he went from 3-2 in day one, like winning 8 games straight against some of the hardest matchup for Marathon, and then winning all the games in Top Cut, like right now I think he's the best in the world. Like if anyone can get it done, it's him. Yeah.
Has an opportunity to prove it now. That is for sure. Yeah, let's hear it, guys. We got to make sure we got a lot of noise in here for our finals. But of course,
Let's start the game. Let's start the game.
Do you think ready to become a world champion?
同じ質問をします。お友達の石垣選手は世界チャンピオンになる準備はできていると思いますか?
I'm seeing the art after seeing the word. To listen to your commentary is better. I appreciate that. With suit on top is the realest thing ever. Yeah, look at it. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing the whole thing, just on the top. Well, to be fair, you wouldn't unless I started standing up and dancing around. So
I cannot wait to get started with this.
So that's why you wouldn't even know I was wearing shorts in the
Going
first
over
place.
to our casters.
Thank you so much for those words of encouragement for our competitors. There it really is no surprise why both of them are here. We talk about them being prepared and ready to go for this Masters
This
Finals.
is it. This
Let's
is
give
it.
you a
This
little
is
bit
it,
of insight
everyone.
why we
This is
expected
it.
to see them here in the first place. On your left,
I'm
you have
gonna host the Worlds in my house
Ishigaki,
next
who
year.
came into
I'm
this
gonna
event
be there next year. I'm gonna get big enough by the next year that Pokemon's gonna invite me out. That's the goal.
Years having actually played this game and also
Here we
came
go.
in as one of the favorites from the
I think
Japan
Yuta's
national
gonna win.
circuit.
I think Luca's gonna win. I said the wrong name. I think Luca's gonna win.
That he's going to be able to pull
He has
off
the
here
Maraudon
and
team, and he's got a
remain
team that's very
composed
similar
on
to
the
the teams
world
I've
stage.
used.
His opponent, however, in the form of Luca, has a lot of accomplishments as well. If we just look at his World Championship history back in the 2022 World Championships, he finished top 64. Then following
Dude,
Worlds
I would
in
be
23,
so
finished
nervous
in the
right
top
now if I was
32,
one of them.
And then has gone
I would
even
be
further
so
here
nervous.
in 24 to be at least second place. And who knows, in a matter of minutes, we might find out if he's going to get the #1 spot. But also more recently at the Bologna special event in Europe, was able to get second
Yeah, I did
place.
notice he does
So
have the
he
same
knows what it
translator
takes
with him.
to be able to get to this point, but he also knows how it feels to get second. He wants to get first.
Absolutely. Both of our trainers really looking forward to that world champion title. But Lou, who do you think is going to actually win this championship?
Do you know what? I could have made this decision on an absolute coin flip. It is so close between both these competitors.
I think
Yuta
Luca.
has so
I
much
think
offensive
Luca.
pressure with the Pokemon choices on his team. But let's be honest, I got to be rooting for Europe here. Luca Ceribelli, he's going to be the one for me.
I was also on the fence about this one because I think there's so many different things that Luka can do in order to win this match, but right now, the onus is on Yuta to really set the pace of this match, to try to throw Luka
Scott
off
thinks
his game.
Luka's gonna win.
If
Scott
Yuta
knows
can just
his
kind
stuff.
of go for
To
the
be fair, everyone
gold
knows
in
their
those first
stuff.
couple of turns, he might just have the game outright.
I heard would escape my body. I'd be freaking out up there.
I love to see that
I'd
here
be so
in the
nervous.
final. Definitely one I'm going to be keeping my eye on as one of the newer Pokemon that we've been able to play with in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet as
Yuta's
well.
got
So
a
it's nice to
Pelipper
see
on
it,
his team
and it's kind
and
of
a
first attempt here on
Iron
the world
Valiant,
stage
though,
to
which
see
is
what it
kind
can
of
do.
crazy.
Yeah, but the Ice Rider Calyrex, it has been a
But
little bit
Luka's
underrated
team,
as
look,
we've
I mean,
taken
he's
a look
got
at maybe
Iron
some of the
Hands
online
and
tournaments. Heading
Overpon
into
Hearthflame.
this
Both
weekend, as a lot
Pokemon
of
I've
our
used
trainers
a
tried to
bunch and
prepare
I've really
for
liked.
the very best
But I've used
of
Pelipper
the
a bunch too
tournaments.
as well.
But
And
now
I
think
like
for
that
this has
Yuta's
just
got the
been such
Landorus.
an accomplished Pokemon for him. One thing though that Yuta has not faced yet, despite all of the preparation that he has put into this tournament, he has yet to face a Miraidon. So this is going to be his very first experience in the entire tournament here in the finals.
Isn't that wild?
He
that
hasn't
you can go
faced
through
a
the whole
Miraidon
Pokemon World
yet? That's kinda
Championships, and
crazy.
This is the first time, I mean, better late than never, I guess, to face down against a Miraidon. And he certainly does have some tools in his team composition to be able to deal with it. But just a little refresher
So
as well
Luka's
of
probably
both
the best
of
in
these
Italy, huh?
contenders. You can see that they already have a lot of accomplishments on their roster.
Torino and
as of today, they're going to be able
Bologna.
to add one more.
One more. Both of them looking for that big,
I can't pronounce it.
big
I know the
finish.
place. I
Yuta
follow the
actually,
Serie A.
though,
I
being
know.
able
I
to
recognize
do so
the
well
name.
in these online qualifiers, I think it speaks a little bit to just how you're supposed to be able to play maybe some of these best of ones, those one game sets. It can be very impressive and also very difficult in the moment to figure out maybe what kind of game plan you want to go for. But
All right, here we
certainly a
go,
team
here we go,
that
here
can
we
really
go.
try to throw people off guard with. When we take a look at Ice Rider Calyrex teams, we really have seen more often than not at the very beginning of the format leaning heavily into that Trick Room mode. But as we started to progress and move towards the World Championships,
If
really has
Wolfie
been a
was
bit
in
more
this,
about
I would be
trying to
borderline
a
throwing
little
up right now. I'd be
bit,
so nervous.
faster. But there's no tailwind on this Pelipper.
Exactly, but Yuta does still have a lot of speed options here. You have very speedy Pokemon in the form of the Iron Valiant, particularly when it gets that booster energy activated, as well as the Landorus with the Choice Scarf. So you have the two fastest things out of this composition of 12 Pokemon that could be in this battle. You also have the utility to go for Trick Room in the form of Calyrex. So Yuta really does have that in control, and then we'll be forcing Luka to have to adapt to that very early on in turn 0.
And on Luka's side with this Miraidon, again, a very classic composition around this particular Pokemon. But when you look at maybe how Luka might want to try to approach this game plan versus Yuta, you're really looking at the Miraidon, the Iron Hands, to be able to take advantage of the electric terrain Miraidon is going to set.
Are they behind
and
schedule or
potentially
ahead
this
of
Farigiraf.
That's the thing, it swings and roundabouts of the electric type
Masters
Pokemon here.
Finals.
Miraidon on the very fast and offensive side.
4.
Iron Hands, a little bit more stocky, a little bit
No,
more
they're an
slow
hour
and
behind
steady.
schedule.
So Luka does have the tools to be able to adjust accordingly to whatever Yuta is throwing down. And you can see here, perfect preparation, staying with the former world champion Arashi Marty, who you heard from earlier, winning back in 2013. Could Luka be winning here for Italy in 2024?
Let's go ahead and find out, everybody, as we jump into the very first game of the Masters Finals of the 2024 Pokemon World Championship.
Here we go, the start of World's Finals!
Right away, going to see this Miraidon next to this Urshifu.
We have Pelipper and Landorus on Yuta's side, and then Miraidon and Urshifu on Luka's side. Both are 9-2 in Swiss, but have made it all the way to the finals. With dominant performances in the semifinals from both of them.
That is going to be able to remove the Miraidon from play.
And the Landorus, it sees the perfect target on the other side. This Miraidon with the Terra Fairy is going to be weak to the Sludge Bomb, but it's also being pressured down by those super effective Sandsear Storms. So this could be one way that we actually need to see Luka make one of these split-second decisions. Do you try to Terrasilize down? Do you try to get yourself off the field with something like a Volt Switch? It's going to come down to this first turn.
The Urshifu on Luka's side as well, having that Focus Sash gives it a little bit of flexibility. You can apply a lot of pressure with something like the Surging Strikes, particularly boosted up by the opposing Pelipper's Rain, and really kind of provide a way of getting through that opposing Landorus. But let's see how this turn is going to play out.
It does have a Focus Sash, so it's going to be able to withstand one of those hits as well before the Pelipper may be able to follow
Into Iron
up.
Hands.
That's why this
So
Miraidon is going
Urshifu
to
has to
be
be
forced
wary
to
of
manually
Hurricane
switch
from
off the
Pelipper.
field. It's going to be the Iron Hands that takes its place, hopefully able to take these hits also. You see the attack boost come through from this Quark Drive as, look at that, there is a Terrasalization.
Yes, the Iron Hands joins the field. It is holding
Was that on
Assault
me or
Vest, who's
them?
going to be able to
Terrasalization. Attack boost come through from this Quark Drive as, look at that, these hits also. You see the attack boost come through from this Quark Drive as, look at that, there is a Terrasalization. That the Pelipper can bypass some of these speed interactions, just be able to help out as the Sludge Bomb gets tanked here by this Iron Hands. In response, this Urshifu with the Surging Strikes, it's gonna be 3 hits, and this Landorus, that's gonna be the only thing it gets to do for this game.
And Landorus goes down!
Fantastic.
Terrestrializes and goes down!
This threatening Landorus from play. I love the way Luca was able to pivot this in here. From Utah's side, it looks like he was thinking that Miraidon is going to go for the Terra Fairy. So then it's going to be a lot more vulnerable to something like the Sludge Bomb coming through from the Landorus. So a fantastic switch by Luca, not only using that Assault Vest to take the attack, but enabling the Urshifu to come through and get that damage on the board.
Pokemon down already.
It's a very tough turn for both.
Luca's taking a little bit of damage on his Iron Hands.
Terra going to come through.
But the Urshifu is still standing strong.
So both of them really having to make that quick decision.
Are their characters randomized? Because neither one of them had these characters yesterday, I don't think.
Pokemon and critically down the Terra, it's gone.
That's very true, and it's going to be interesting to see which Pokemon Utah has in the back. If it is something like that Ice Rider Calyrex, you can start getting into a position where you might be able to set up the Trick Room and gain a little bit more momentum on your field. And we are going to see the Calyrex join the battle here now. This is your big offensive powerhouse. And again, you have the utility with something like the Pelipper to be able to go for a helping hand here, just to be able to boost up some extra damage. Or at the same time,
with Calyrex being like meta, you really can't use berries at all, huh?
Yeah, but the problem here is that because that Terra is gone, this Calyrex can't even go for defensive Terra with the Terra Grass. Maybe a little bit of good news for it is Luca is going to remove the Urshifu from the field in favor of that Miraidon.
Miraidon's back out,
is going to happen
staring down Calyrex, Ice, and Pelipper.
Do you see the Hadron Engine activate once again?
Calyrex swaps out.
Also going to get out of there.
Now who's coming in? Who's going to be his last Pokemon? Amoonguss is his final Pokemon he has with him.
Slower mode in the back that was kept for Utah.
And Iron Hands fakes out the Amoonguss. Takes damage from Rocky Helmet. Then Pelipper throws the Weather Ball into the Iron Hands. Almost takes it out, but it's still there into the red. It's still hanging out of the red.
Not quite enough, but now this Amoonguss is on the field. While it's not going to be able to go for something like the Spore because the electric terrain is active, none of these Pokemon will be able to get put to sleep. It does have the opportunity here to go for something like the Pollen Puff or the Clear Smog, just get a little bit of damage down, but it can also go for the Rage Powder.
Pelipper swapping out. This game's kind of like almost a slower game with a lot of swapping like we saw with the very first game of the night in the juniors finals.
To enable a safe setup with the Trick Room, but it's always a little risky switching in, and at least if the it's going to be just the Draco Meteor straight out the blocks here into the
straight up Draco Meteor take out Amoonguss.
Redirectional support anymore.
That's going to be another knockdown.
And we're in a 2v4 situation already in the first game.
Down to his two final Pokemon in this first game. The Wild Charge as well is going to have to be taken here by this Ice Rider Calyrex.
Gets the Calyrex low.
Not only is he going to be able to get a boost from that, but you're also going to see
but the Iron Hands goes down to the recoil there, making Luca lose his first mod of the battle.
To eliminate this Iron Hands from this game, but there's still so many more Pokemon that Luca gets to depend on.
Urshifu and Miraidon side by side in the rain still, I will note.
It's actually a benefit because you get the option to bring your Urshifu back onto the field, and it still has its Focus Sash intact. 2 more turns of this electric terrain as well for Miraidon to play around. Pelipper also does not want to have to face it. It looks like that's the forfeit coming in from Utah. Luca's going to take game 1.
Forfeits already in Worlds. That was the fastest battle of the night. The first game of the Masters Division.
Very difficult decision there for both of our players to make, and Luca was the one that ended up getting it right.
Exactly. I think as well when you see the Pelipper in play, and we're so used to seeing Pelipper holding the Focus Sash, but the fact that it was there so vulnerable, you've got the Miraidon that's in the dominant speed tier.
Luca is
just
one
able to
game
apply so
away
much
from
pressure
winning
with any
Worlds.
electricity it wants to throw its way. Things were looking very dire for Utah. I have to say,
yeah,
coming into
that's
this
what I
match,
always
you
say.
and I
Like,
were
why
talking about
forfeit
how
in the
turn 0
finals?
is
Why
going
not
to be
play it
critical,
out?
And that's where the momentum is going to swing. And that's exactly what we saw happen here. Pelipper going for the helping hand, perfect. If this had been a Terra Fairy Miraidon on the opposing side, this would have been a knockout here for Utah and would have already gained so much momentum. But Luca not enabling that for him here, instead switching in the Iron Hands and getting the KO on the Landorus instead.
Had it been the Sandseer Storm, you're still doing a critical amount of damage to both Pokemon, and so it's a little bit hard to kind of consider maybe would that have been a bit
dude, this is just like what I was saying yesterday, like in his semifinal games, I was like, dude, Luca's looking good. That very first game we saw of him on stream yesterday in the knockout rounds, it was like very back and forth. But then every other game we saw him with, I was like, dude, he's just dominating the game. He's in the driver's seat the entirety of the game.
Storm, and you know that you have the accuracy as well with Pelipper on the field. So going into this game too, considering that Luca is now just 1 game away from being the champion, if you are Utah, you have got to do everything you can to stop him in his tracks. Make sure that if you are bringing those powerful Pokemon like the Landorus, for example, that you're making those turn calls correct.
We did not get a chance to actually see Trick Room get utilized in that
a ton of
first
people
game.
there.
Wonder if that is a strategy that Utah
you ever see like the CS:GO tournaments? They're in like almost like arenas and stuff.
We don't necessarily
Do you ever
know
think
how the
that
Iron Hands and the Calyrex Ice
we'll
Rider would
see
fare against each other?
Pokemon get
whilst
to
they
something
are
that
both
big?
considerably on the lower side of that speed. one option that you could see you to try to rely upon.
It gets that
I would
big.
almost like to see the Calyrex coming out here with the Pelipper.
Like, competition-wise, there's a ton of people that play. 600-something people qualify for Worlds for the Masters division.
Big damage out on the field and
I think there was 900, almost a little under 1,000.
Very powerful offensive Pokemon like the Landorus to try and get a knockout while Calyrex sets up. And you also have Amoonguss for redirectional support.
942 total players in BGC.
Well, there's going to be an adjustment
942.
Here from Luca, as we do get a chance to see this Ogerpon
Iron Valiant shiny as well in the World's Finals.
Finally making an appearance on this stream next to his Landorus.
Yuta is not slowing down, instead going on the speedy side here. You've got the Iron Valiant on the field. With the boost that it's going to get from Quark Drive, now it's going to be extra speedy, and you have the Choice Scarf on this Landorus. Iron Valiant's going to be the fastest thing on the field.
And that Landorus not too far behind it either. And so now, Luca's going to have to figure out what to actually go for
we
here.
have Iron Valiant and Landorus staring down Miraidon and Ogerpon Hearthblade.
Of the special attack output from this Miraidon, because you have no way to actually remove the terrain. So it's always going to keep that Hadron Engine boost to its special attack. The other thing that you have, though, is if you really want to, you can consider trying to switch something in or go for coaching. There's a lot of options here for this Iron Valiant to provide in terms of support.
It's going to be tempting to go for the Spirit Break, though, to kind of force the
All right, here we go. Luca's Terrastalizing very first turn. He Terrastalizes the
Miraidon
to what will be Terra Fairy.
We
remember that from yesterday after seeing him play a bunch with this thing yesterday on stream. Terrastalizing the Miraidon more often than not in most of his battles.
It's going to be some
Ogerpon goes, follow me.
Just going to save it from taking a Spirit Break and
Spirit Break from Iron Valiant, saving the Miraidon right there, and does not very effective damage into the Ogerpon.
Is resisted though, and that special attack drop not going to matter on this.
Sludge Bomb from Landorus into Ogerpon, yeah, that's going to take it out.
Sludge Bomb follow up that gets the knockout at the end of the day. But the most important thing is that this Miraidon is going to be
Volt switch into Iron Valiant and takes it out!
Switch into the Iron Valiant, which is a one-hit knockout.
You've removed one big threat from the field here, as well as enabling Luca the opportunity to now adjust and switch up the ball position. The Volt switch will
that
mean
was
Pokemon has to come
huge,
into
dude, taking
fruition,
that thing out right there.
With
a Volt switch as well, because now he's able to swap out and reset and set up whatever he wants right now.
As well as once again boosting up that Quark Drive and boosting the attack of the Iron Hands.
Because his Ogerpon got taken out, so he's able to put 2 fresh Pokemon out.
We've got 2 Future Paradox Pokemon in this match, but it's going to be Iron Hands that continues to prevail above all right now.
Do you know what I wonder, though, is if Yuta is now going to completely switch things up here. You went with the fast mode front and center. Now you have the utility to bring
Calyrex is up. Calyrex is up. Yuta sends out his Restricted Mon. And Lucas sends his Restricted Mon Miraidon back out as well.
A lot of damage right now into both these opposing Pokemon. If you've got the Calyrex in play, you can try and get the Trick Room. And if there is indeed something like the Amoonguss in the back as well, that could be a fantastic endgame.
Both are down a Pokemon.
It could be, but there's not really a great way to remove this Miraidon before it can potentially get a decent amount of damage.
All 4 Pokemon are on full HP as well.
Sludge Bomb, and it's not necessarily guaranteed to be enough for a knockout in a lot of cases. So if there's any little bit of extra damage that could come through, maybe this Calyrex is able to withstand another attack. It's why this Terra is going to be so important to have preserved for something like this Ice Rider to have a defensive capability.
I almost wonder if the Terra on the Landorus could be good as well, though, because, you know, Fake Outs in the field with the Iron Hands, you're locked into Sludge Bomb, and you're going to be able to do a significant chunk of damage to the opposing Miraidon here. If you do indeed go for something like the Ghost Terra, then you can avoid being hit by that Fake Out. But the Grass Terrestrialization is also a key component. A lot of decisions here for Yuta.
A lot of decisions and not a whole lot of time to do it, as
Yuta's now Terrestrializing
in this set. One more win here, and Luca's going to become your world champion. So it
Terrestrializes Calyrex.
The Ice Rider Calyrex going to take on that grass.
If Luca has a good turn here, it could be GG's.
That it can get through and survive some of this damage, and that this Trick Room is going to be the exact environment that it wants to be in.
Iron Hands fakes out Calyrex, so he can't set up Trick Room or anything like that. Sludge Bomb onto the Miraidon, which is super effective, but doesn't take it out.
Not enough to knock out this Miraidon.
And then Draco Meteor lands against the Landorus and ain't surviving that. Landorus goes down. 1-hit KO. Landorus is down.
To becoming the world champion.
No stopping Luca at this point in time. You needed the Helping Hand to be able to get the KO with that Sludge Bomb. It just wasn't enough without a critical hit to completely deactivate this Miraidon on the field.
And Amoonguss is up.
Play from Luca here, and you see
Yuta has Amoonguss and Calyrex staring down Iron Hands, Miraidon, and whatever else Luca has in the back. Back against the wall. World Championships on the line. while Luca, on the other hand, is in the driver's seat of this match. Staring down only 2 Pokemon. 2 Pokemon, a lot of HP. Calyrex nearly on full, and Amoonguss is on full. Although the Terra is used, Amoonguss cannot terrestrialize.
You have the speed in your control, and you will be able to start dishing
and he
out
is
some
a
of these
couple
glacial
turns away
lances.
from winning the
As
World
Ryan does
Championship.
go
So
for
it's
a
another Draco Meteor onto the Amoonguss. Doesn't take it out, though, because he already got the special attack drop from the last turn when he took out the Landers with the Draco Meteor. But, oh! The Wild Charge just barely hangs, or the Wild Charge just barely doesn't take out the Amoonguss, and the Amoonguss hangs on at 2 HP. Amoonguss goes Pollen Puff onto the Calyrex right there to assume get it back up to full HP. And Calyrex puts up Trick Room, and just like that, literally does best snap.
We have to see
just like that, the
like
game is completely turned around. As we've been saying for pretty much all of these games, Trick Room can completely change the game. Amoonguss survives on 2 HP, allows you to get Trick Room up, and the game is completely turned around.
Have trained their Pokemon in terms of speed, and who is going to be the faster? Amoonguss really sitting on borrowed time here. There's no other Pokemon to switch out with, so the regenerator ability is null and void. And because the electric trainer's on the field, you cannot go for any spores. If anything, Amoonguss here needs to maybe, I think, only go for the redirection. You've got Clear Smog, but I don't think that's going to do too much. Although into the Miraidon, it might be enough.
It might be enough, absolutely. But Amoonguss and Trick Room is going to be the first to move. Iron Hands is going to take a very pitiful amount of damage there. And
brought Iron Hands attack back down. Iron Hands hits a Drain Punch and takes Amoonguss out.
The Rocky Helmet.
And it went before the Calyrex as well, so able to get a little bit of damage back. This could be indicative of how they are trained indeed. Of course, Amoonguss does go down, and now Calyrex has the
Iron
ability
Hands
to go
about to
for that
become a world
glacial
champion.
Instead, however, it's high horsepower.
Iron Hands get takes up a high horsepower.
You get a KO
with a crit. I think it would have taken it down regardless.
As well, but
how much HP was it on?
Utility to go for that glacial lance. Instead, however, it's high horsepower.
I don't know if it would have been taken out regardless.
A little bit of damage at a time. Now that Miraidon is at -6.
Miraidon went Draco Meteor, right?
So it may be as long.
Yeah, Draco Meteor on the Calyrex, and the Calyrex survived.
You are the Calyrex here. Not only is the Electric Sea boosting up the defense on Farigiraf's side, but it is rocking that
now
foul
it is
play.
Farigiraf and Miraidon versus Calyrex. World Championships on the line. Glacial Lance, what is this going to do? Miraidon goes down!
Farigiraf, no, it's still here. It's going to have to take another one of those.
And Farigiraf is on half HP. Is Yuta going to turn this game around with the Amoonguss surviving on 2 HP? Attack rises again with the Chilling. A foul play goes. 35 HP!
So close, but Calyrex hanging on.
And Calyrex will go first here. Glacial Lance isn't going to be enough though to take out the Farigiraf. And it is! Game 3! Oh my gosh.
Pokemon World Championships. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm not even in my seat, Rosemary. It's that intense. Oh my goodness.
It's going to a Game 3.
I cannot believe how down to the wire that went. So much to take away from the last couple of turns of that game. As we ended up seeing a Trick Room get set up, the Iron Hands did move first in Trick Room. What an interesting takeaway from that game.
Trick Room was honestly very interesting here. Not only were the speeds, like you said, with the Iron Hands and the Calyrex interesting, but the key thing for me was that Amoonguss. It was able to
that Amoonguss surviving won you to the game. Literally, Amoonguss survived and Yuta won because of that.
Celebration there from Yuta, knowing that was clutch.
This is it, everyone. We're going to the final Game 3. Game 3 of the Pokemon World Championships.
But if he doubles down into this Amoonguss and I allow it to
I've been telling you guys, Trick Room will completely change the game.
Calyrex needed in the end game as well, so fantastic to see that come into play.
It did. You could see just how much that HP differential got made up there from that Pollen Puff. Absolutely. I mean, there you go. Even just being able to deal that Rocky Helmet chip, you could see Luca was a little bit disappointed not being able to actually get the knockout there. And so as this Iron Hands gets to go for another attack, it has to take that high horsepower, ends up getting knocked out for all of its troubles. But then we finally get into the last couple of moments where it's the Farigiraf with the foul play versus this Ice Rider Calyrex that had those attack boosts from Chilling Neigh.
Honestly, that can be so detrimental. If you get those attack boosts up, we know how much damage foul play is capable of, but look at that, 35 hit points remaining, and I would be so interested to go back and do the math.
So I adjusted my face cam on Twitch.
Was indeed super critical towards the end. Farigiraf goes down though, the single target, doing that extra bit of damage to push it over the edge, as well as obviously having had the boost just meant that it was going to be a fall for the Giraffe there. But now, Pokemon trainers, it is Game 3. One game separates these two trainers from world champion and runner-up.
Cannot believe this is what it all comes down to.
This is it, everyone. This is it. This is the pinnacle of Pokemon. Game 3 in the finals of the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. Luca came out strong game 1 and easily got the win, but in game 2, Yuta's Amoonguss survived on 2 HP, allowing the Calyrex to get up the Trick Room and change the tides of the game, and allowing him to get the win in game 2, pushing it to a game 3, and here we go. The finals will be decided in this game right here. At the end of this game, a new Pokemon World Champion will be crowned. Who will it be? We have on one side Iron Valiant once again, sitting next to a Calyrex. On the other side, we have Ogerpon Hearthflame once again, and Miraidon once again. The same leads, I believe, as this game too.
If you go for the Terra Grass as well on that Calyrex Ice Rod, you're in a difficult spot here. It means you will resist the electric type attacks from the
Or do you go the land, or it's game 2? I don't know. It's game 3, who cares?
If it wants to go for that fire type Ivy Cudgel, it is going to be dealing a huge chunk of damage. But whether or not with the coaching, being able to boost up your defense as well, that's going to be able to put you in a survivability spot is yet to be determined. And if there is not a terrestrialization,
again, shout out Pokemon for doing the sick background for here for this game.
It will. So I think it comes down once again to what's going to happen on this very first turn, as we do see the leads on the board. Do also continue to think about Trick Room setup in this moment. I wonder.
Exactly. Trick Room has the capability here, and really, Yuta is in. I think
Ogerpon uses Follow Me.
Redirection coming through from that Ogerpon, drawing in all of the attack potential. Maybe something like a Spirit Break, but instead,
Iron Valiant goes coaching.
Coaching coming through, and as you can see,
Calyrex gets the attack boost
the attack and the defense
and defense boost. Draco Meteor. Oh my God! But the Calyrex barely hangs on 14 HP. And he gets the Trick Room up.
Now the speeds are very, very interesting.
That right there might end up being the most important turn of this battle.
Switch something in from the back, or let the Iron Valiant go down. Be happy for it to be KO'd and allow it to try and go for something in return here. You could always maybe switch out.
Calyrex is on death's door right now. While Luca's Pokemon are both on full HP, although the Calyrex got the Trick Room up.
Position switch from that Iron Valiant, or do you just go for the Glacial Lance?
I think you just have to try to make the most of the attack boost that you've been given, right? You may not necessarily be able to get a big knockout.
Yeah, he did just get the attack boost. So I was like, does he want to swap out, or does he want to stay in?
Maybe how these are trained, but at the very least, you've scared away this Miraidon.
Luca took out Miraidon.
It is going to retreat, and instead, it is
and
going
sends
to be
an Iron Hands
that takes its place. So let's see what happens from here after we see this attack boost for the Iron Hands.
Well, Yuta doesn't necessarily want to see this Iron Hands. We know that it has
Iron Valiant gets subbed out.
In Trick Room against that Calyrex, and with the very low HP remaining, it's
and in goes Pelipper.
Able to get the edge
okay.
on it. Pelipper joining the field, though, bringing that rain is just going to enable none of these fire type attacks to deal as much damage. But
Spiky Shield with the Ogerpon.
That Spiky Shield.
Spiky Shield means that you are actually going to have it on the field a little bit longer. It's going to deny a boost,
into the Spiky Shield
to this Ice Runner Calyrex's attack, but as it's
Iron Hands is going to take some damage.
It has the Assault Fist. It
gets it down into the yellow already.
Boost up its defenses, so that's over 50%.
This is it. This is game 3 of the World Championships.
If I'm the Iron Hands now, I've got a decision to make. Do you go for the fake out into the Calyrex, or does the Calyrex protect? And then you wouldn't go for the fake out into the Pelipper, because if you leave the Calyrex...
Not gonna lie, I want Luca to win. I like his team. I want Ogerpon Hearthflame and Iron Hands to both be world champions. Ogerpon Hearthflame to be world champion in its first Worlds it's in. Oh, that would be so sick. And Iron Valiant can't have a world championship. I refuse to accept Iron Valiant as a world champion.
Have to fear a fake out. Fake out does go into the Amoonguss.
Fake out into the Amoonguss.
So now that you see that come through, it's
takes a damage from the Rocky Helmet again. I believe that happened last game as well.
And the
Ivy Cudgel into the protected Calyrex.
I really like this play by Yuta. It's sacrificing a turn of Trick Room to switch up the ball position, because now Amoonguss going to be the slowest thing on the field. It can go for something like the Pollen Puff and help that Calyrex regenerate a little bit of HP, particularly with the rain in play. It gives it a little bit more defensive support, or at the same time, you can go for that redirection. You know that the Iron Hands only has single target type attacks, so you can draw them in.
I don't know. Do you want to go Pollen Puff on it? Isn't it so low where you really don't think it would matter?
It does make it difficult, meaning that if you try to redirect away something like an Ivy Cudgel, or even just a Wood Hammer, this Calyrex is already not going to be sitting at a very healthy amount of HP. So as you head into this next turn, we are going to end up
Luca
seeing
is terrestrializing
first. And let's see what it's for.
On the Ogerpon, okay!
It is indeed going to be on the Ogerpon here, dropping its grass type and just becoming a fully fledged fire type.
Pure fire type.
On the field here, trying to maybe use that embody aspect to boost up the attack stat and get rid of this Amoongus.
Would be nice, but the Amoongus
Rage
going
powder.
for
Is he gonna? The rain is up, so it isn't gonna do as much damage as normal. Iron Hands goes low kick. Just a little bit to Amoongus. I don't know if it's gonna be enough from Ogrepon here though. Glacial Lance.
Hits into both of these targets.
Iron Hands goes down. Ogrepon takes a little bit of damage.
That grass typing, it still only takes about half of that damage.
It's still going to be vulnerable though, considering
With
that's
the
another
attack
chilling
boost.
nay boost that the Gallimax
Ivy
has
Cudgel.
got. The Ivy
Is
Cudgel
this gonna? This is gonna be a big play right here.
the
Does
supposed
it
Amoongus.
take down
It's gonna be
Amoongus?
able to hit
And Amoongus goes down.
Ooh, the knockout even through the rain. That is what you can see from just this embodied aspect attack boost, really trying to help out there. It allows Yuta to bring in something else, and this Calyrex in Trick Room is still going to be one of the
Pelipper is
faster
back
things
out.
on the field, but it's going to be the Farigiraf now. that's going to take
Farigiraf
this
now.
Iron Hands' place.
Luca still has Miraidon in the back, while Yuta has Iron Valiant in the back.
Generally on the slower side, Pokemon-wise on the field. But whether the Pelipper or the Farigiraf are going to be able to move first could be critical here. Pelipper in a prime position to target down something like a Weather Ball into that Ogerpon and remove it from play. At the same time, Farigiraf doesn't want to have to take another one of these Ivy Glacial Lancers. Maybe doubled up from the Pelipper could be enough to get the KO. You have got the other boost. Ogerpon
Farigiraf, I've been doubting all night. Is it going to prove me wrong once again right here?
We are going to have to see you to try to make the most of it.
It was, I believe, the
And while you have
senior
all these boosts
finals.
intact, even the
I was like,
sliver
what's
of
the
HP
Farigiraf
means
going to
that
do?
you
And it
will be
cooked
up
that one
and ready
game.
to go for something like another attack. Now that there is also this terrassalization on the Ogerpon, there's no way that Farigiraf can actually terrassalize to a water type to try to resist some of this damage. So we see the Ogerpon go for the spiky shield
again.
here. Very safe play to make sure that it will be one of the fastest things outside of
Glacial
this
Lance
Trick
from
Room.
Calyrex.
So when we
Ogerpon
do see
protects
this
itself.
attack from this Calyrex Ice Rider, it is not going to end up
much is it gonna
attacking
do to Farigiraf?
into the Ogerpon there. But critically, we also don't see a helping
Down
hand
into
from
the
this
yellow.
Pelipper. But the
Foul
Farigiraf
play.
going for the foul
Calyrex
play
is going to
will
go down
knock
here.
out onto the Calyrex, but what is this Pelipper going to do?
I mean, I don't know if there's
Now,
too
what the
much
heck
that it
is
can
Pelipper
do here.
going to
The
do?
foul
That's
play
a great
removing
question.
restricted here.
Weather
Pelipper's
Ball
going for the Weather
into
Ball.
the
It is
Farigiraf. Is this going to
onto
take
that
it out?
Farigiraf.
It does!
Life Ball boosted. It gets the knockout. But both these trainers now, as Trick Room ends, forced to their last two remaining Pokemon. Pelipper's going to be
2v2.
joined by the Iron Valiant. and
Oh
it's gonna
my
be
god, it's
Miraidon
Iron
joining
Valiant
the,
and Pelipper on one
Ogerpon.
side.
Yes, but now that
Against
we end
a
up seeing this
terrestrialized
board state, who the
Ogerpon
Iron Valiant
Hearthflame
that's gonna be coming back
and
in for Yuta, which,
Miraidon.
outside of Trick Room, now that that's expired, is
will
going to be
come
faster
out
than
on
Miraidon,
top. This is
especially
it.
because Miraidon
This is what decides the world
Electric Drain
champion.
comes back in.
That's very true, giving a natural Quark Drive
The
boost
shiny Iron
to
Valiant
this
as well.
Iron Valiant. And as you said already as well, the terrestrialization has been used on that Ogerpon, so there's no fairy terrestrialization that can come through from this Miraidon. I have to say though, the one thing for Ogerpon here is that redirection. If you want to go for the follow me and save the Miraidon from having to take a powerful Spirit Break from the Iron Valiant, that can be exactly what the Miraidon
Look at
needs
Pelipper.
to get
Pelipper's
some
just
damage
smiling
down
and
the
happy
field.
to be there.
Could go for something like a Dazzling Gleam, but there is the potential of a White Guard on
Miraidon's
the opposite side.
locked
So I think he's
in.
gonna lock in something that's going to be boosted by the Electro Train, maybe the Electro Drift. I think it's time to
Look
see
at
it.
him.
I think it might be time to see it as well. We saw how much the Volt Switch from the Miraidon did into the Iron Valiant before, so we know that an Electro Drift would certainly be able to get the knockout as well. Yuta still hasn't used Terra,
I don't know
though,
who's gonna
and
win.
there
I
is
have no
a
idea
very
who's gonna win.
good defensive Terra, but you take a look at this Pelipper being able to terrestrialize to the grass type.
Yeah, Pelipper can't protect either, so it's going to be completely vulnerable to any electric type attacks that are coming its way. So I think as you have got the terrestrialization in your back pocket, Yuta needs to unveil it now, and I think that's exactly what we're
Yuta
seeing
is
right
terrestrializing as per what the commentators were saying.
Into potentially one
It's
of the
going
final
into the
turns
Pelipper
of this Masters Finals.
to Terra
The
Grass.
Pelipper going to take that grass typing, a great way to be able to resist these electric type attacks from this Miraidon, but you do make yourself a bit vulnerable
Is
to
a
this
Terra
Ogerpon,
Grass
even in the
Pelipper about
rain.
to win
Helping
Worlds?
Hand, though, into
It goes
this
Helping Hand
Valiant.
into Iron
Do we end up
Valiant.
seeing a redirection, though, from this
Ogerpon goes follow me.
It is going to redirect away this attack.
The Helping Hand boost, though, is still going to be able to come through. Spirit Break.
Iron Valiant goes
fastest
Spirit
thing on
Break.
the field. Connects down into the
Ogerpon
not
doesn't
enough
do
to
much
get
Ogerpon.
the
Ogerpon hangs that and
physical
eats that
attacker.
very
Ogerpon
good.
does not mind taking that drop
Like
for a
Lax
second.
eating
Miraidon
attacks.
does go for the
Electro Drift from Miraidon into the Iron Valiant.
Is gonna be
And Iron Valiant goes down! One hit KO!
Might just be all she wrote.
Pelipper versus the world!
Bastion of hope here for Yuta to try to get through this game, but the rain has stopped. The protection is gone here for this grass type Pelipper. And as we see
The
court
battle
being
was
saved,
canceled. And Luca wins the 2024 Pokemon World Championships! Let's go! Look at him with his whole team in the stands! What a battle, dude!
Flames are ablaze, the engines engaged.
Oh my gosh, dude, let's go!
Cherry Belly. An encore of applause
What a game, dude. What a 2 games. That was crazy. Gosh. Glad it was 2 entertaining games. Let's go, man. Let's go. Wow, did you see that?
We have seen come before him. This is a player that has worked so hard for this moment. In 2023, being able to have one of the best seasons ever. You talk about all those top 16s that he's been able to have, the top 8s,
my gosh.
second even in Bologna this
Oh
season.
my gosh.
Before we've made it to this World Championships, and he's done it. This
I was telling you guys, like, I have a feeling Luka's gonna win.
What a one to have.
I'm actually choking up behind the desk a little bit here, Rosemary. That was such a beautiful celebration coming through from Luka.
See, that's what you love to see, man. Runs into the crowd, celebrates with his team. That's all I love to see that.
Here going through the crowd, getting back onto center stage after celebrating with his friends who really were the true play he made along the way, as well as some incredible Pokemon play. And commiserations, we have to say as well, to Yuta Ishigaki. Fantastic play, so much offensive pressure coming through from the Iron Valiant and the Landorus, as well as being so dominant.
That's what I've been saying all weekend, man. Dude, I'm a fan of this kid for life. I've been saying all weekend. I'm like, dude, I like seeing the emotion from them. Dude runs into the stands right when he wins, like he scored a last-minute screamer in the Champions League final, dude. That's what you love to see.
That, in theory, should be able to help try to neutralize a little bit of this Miraidon matchup. The Landorus being able to deal
my
with
gosh,
super
man.
effective
What an
damage.
end of the world.
You also
What
have
an end of
Iron
world.
Valiant that has thrown a spanner in the works for a lot of the players that he's faced already. But Luka, very calm, cool, collected, and also not afraid to take those risks, like switching in that Iron Hands for that very first game, thinking there's
I gotta
a
put my
Sludge
face
Bomb on the
cam
other
back.
side.
I had it in the
don't have
top
to worry
right
about a Sanseer Storm.
I think you said it perfectly. He was completely in control. And I think although Yuta had so many key pieces that could apply a lot of pressure to Luka, he stayed composed throughout. And actually, it's not just about the Pokemon on the field. Sometimes you have to play the player as well. And I feel like Luka was constantly reading the book that Yuta was writing and was constantly able to adapt. That turn 1 play at the beginning of the set as well, like you said, bringing in the Iron Hands, just meant that the strategy and the pressure that Yuta has was completely
What did
neutralized.
Wolfie place? He
as
went,
well as
he ended
going
top
through the rest of the
32.
set, making sure that those key components were removed so beautifully by Luka.
It was amazing, and as we
Your
got a chance to
commentary,
see
man,
from
bro, I
Luka
appreciate it. I
yesterday,
appreciate
it's just been so great
Thanks
to
to all
see his
those that have
growth
been
over the
tuning in.
course
It's
of
not
this
over yet, though.
tournament.
We
Those
still have the
top 4 matches
closing
at top
ceremony
8
where
already
they're going to
just
announce
so
where next
stellar
year's
in
World
terms
Championships
of the play
is going to
we
be.
got a chance to see from him, but let's go ahead and relive some of these moments from this third game. We saw right away this Ice Rider Calyrex didn't necessarily end up getting knocked out to that first Draco Meteor, but Yuta was able to start to kind of mobilize through these Trick Room turns and potentially win this game.
I think things got very difficult here as well, with the Calyrex applying a lot of pressure, getting those chilling nade boosts as well. But the critical thing, I think, was actually at the very end, that last turn of Trick Room, going for the defensive play with the spiky shield, knowing the Miraidon had been preserved in the back for later with so much damage of Electro Drift. I think, again, timing it perfectly when Electric Train had left the field, being able to reset that with the Hadron Engine just meant that Luka was able to have the perfect endgame play. Calyrex going down here as well.
Ogerpon Hearthflame becomes a world champion in its first Worlds.
I think also just Luka being able to play through these Trick Room turns and preserving this Ogerpon was so important, despite the fact that he ended up terrestrializing it to this single fire type and actually removing its capability of being redirected from this Amoonguss. It was still able to withstand so many of these attacks, particularly that Glacial Lance, to know that it could be there by this Miraidon at the very end to remove the biggest threat. That Iron Valiant no longer able to go for something like that super effective Spirit Break, and it was just amazing. If there was going to be one person that could potentially get through this really unique matchup, it was Luka, and
winning
congratulations
Worlds
to
is
him.
just, that is so sick, man.
Let's hear it for your world champion! Luka, I know it's very fresh in your mind, but what do you think will stick out as the most memorable moment of your Worlds match?
I really don't know. I just feel like just the moment that sealed the game. I think this is all I'm thinking about right now. Just the screen saying I won the last game, so I really don't have much chance to say. All the memories are kind of blurry right now, but the most important moment for me was right after, when I was able to celebrate with my friends, which is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it must be overwhelming. We know you have put in so much work. You've had other top finishes and you've been practicing and playing. There are people out here who are thinking, you know what, I want to be like that. What advice would you give them to work hard and end up on this stage like you?
To be honest, this was very unexpected for me as well. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to say what was my preparation there. I just say just have some trust in yourself, something like that. Yeah, just train and like I can assure you, with the right friends, with the right preparation, with the right support beside you, everything can be possible.
That's great advice. Believe in yourself, practice hard. And there are a lot of people out here who believe in you as well. You said you were celebrating with your friends. Anyone you want to say hello or thank you to right now?
Well, if I'm gonna go name for name, we're gonna be here until tomorrow. So shout out to my friends of Il Server and all the Italian community.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support and congratulations again, Luca, your world champion. Now don't go anywhere. We have some trophies to give out. But for now, back to you, casters.
Such a deserving champion. What a series. The entire day has been nothing short of fantastic. That was so back and forth, Gabby.
It really was, and you could tell that both these trainers were just leaning in on those predictions for that end game. That was such an exciting match.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see Calyrex Ice Rider win, but that was such an amazing game played by Luca and his Miraidon.
Thoughts, guys? Because honestly, I was out in the crowd for that, and everyone just losing it when Luca won.
Yeah, it was just absolutely incredible. So happy for Luca after seeing him kind of progress through this season, the top 8 EUIC, getting so close in the Bologna special event, and then coming into this event and just having an
he was the guy they were interviewing just before.
Amazing showing coming into the
final.
Yeah,
so when you first place, you get 30K,
at times it looked like
and then the trophy
was against the wall.
Look at the Marsh Tomp there. Hey, Marsh Tomp, get out of the way. You're blocking Rowlet. Good thing I got the Rowlet representation over here.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we got a game 3, right? That's, I feel like as casters, that's our big wish we're always hoping for, is to get to that pivotal game 3.
there too.
But between both of them, we saw the fast modes, slow modes. It's very fitting that Miraidon wins its first World Championship in the Scarlet and Violet era that it's eligible for. So I think Miraidon was the real big meta call this weekend that players got rewarded for, and it got rewarded in the Masters Division as well.
TCG
Not
gets
even just the meta call for this
50K,
weekend, but from the get-go, the second we had Regulation G, trainers were on this Pokemon from the start, electrifying win at the very first regional. It hasn't really slowed up from there. There was definitely good contenders along the way. Ice Rider almost did vie for the title, and even throughout the different championship matches that we got to see, we got to see a variety of Stricteds really push together. I mean, Calyrex Shadow Rider as well had a fantastic showing here.
It really did, and it goes to show you that even if the metagame feels like it's in a position where, oh, only Calyrex Shadow Rider will win, oh, only Miraidon will win, there's a lot of opportunities for innovation, and we saw a lot of unique Pokemon picks, such as that Iron Valiant, such as Iron Treads from our juniors match, Joe. The Shadow will win. There's a lot of opposition where, oh, only Calyrex Shadow Rider
expected when we were looking at Regulation G, and Iron Valiant to be in the grand finals here, which is absolutely fantastic, and putting up a really good showing to make a run with a Pokemon that maybe people didn't necessarily expect to, and make it to the finals is nothing short of amazing. But Luca did such a good job in kind of weathering that and coming out on top, and just really good positioning. The Iron Valiant with the Spirit Break.
God, winning world, you got Aura forever in Pokemon. Any really Pokemon thing you go to, it's like, yeah, I'm a world champion.
It was just Luca able to kind of preserve the Ogapon at the very end when it really mattered, to have that follow me, to utilize, to pull that big threat out of the way and allow the Miraidon just to kind of finish things up. Like you say, Miraidon started the format successfully, and it's kind of poetic. It's ending the format successfully. Just an amazing job by Luca, and kind of.
Yeah, I wonder if like a Miraidon will win next year as well.
From that top 8, not to mention everything from the entire weekend.
Yeah, and I do think big credit to, I think Lee pointed out, the thematics of having 11 years later an Italian champion facing off against a Japanese finalist. It's very poetic to see here.
It really, really was. I mean, I love these photos. I just have to say that from the gate. There is so much personality on it. But I mean, even when we're looking at kind of the trends and kind of like what's
determines
stuff, Joe Brown,
third
I know
and fourth?
that
Because both Michael and Songjay both lost in the semis. How did they decide who was above who?
Useless information. They keep track of the Pokemon that win the World Championships in the Masters Division every single year. So we go back counting from 2009, and Utah unfortunately did not get Amoonguss that fourth victory. So Amoonguss is still tied at 3 for the most World Championships in the Masters Division with Incineroar, Salamence, Thundurus, and Cresselia. But other
That's
fun
crazy.
facts,
Thundurus, all
second
three, I'm
World
pretty sure, with
Championship
Ray
here
Rizzo.
For Luca. Iron Hands, 100% win rate, 2 for 2 on Shohei's team and Luca's team there. Urshifu, 2 out of 3 years. And now Farigiraf getting some revenge. Maybe Michael Kausch a little proud in the crowd, moving from finalist last year to now world champion.
Yeah, Iron Hands.
I mean, Kyle, someone that maybe
Double
next year,
champ.
because these runs back-to-back have been a saint. But for those individuals on that list, not everyone can take that championship title, but you definitely have a nice chunk of change in your pocket to make sure that you can make the trip out to next year's World.
Yeah, not only do you get your invite as well for becoming a semifinalist here at the World Championships. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I know we don't know where we're going yet, but I would hope that the prize money would be enough to afford a very extravagant trip to wherever Worlds will be next year.
Extravagant trip. Does that mean they're going far? I think it's Sydney, Australia.
A nice dinner with your friends after this weekend. Enjoy your time.
Yeah, Luke was buying tonight.
Yeah, it's a good day to be friends with Luke, everyone. But there's so much at the championships, and I know the money. I mean, it's absolutely great, but being able to be a world champion after this weekend, getting that trophy, that's the real prize here.
For sure, for sure. And what's some great memories as well. I mean, we've seen this throughout all of the video
So everyone's been asking if there's an announcement for games. That should come, if there's any announcement, it'll be
all their friends supporting them.
soon.
I mean, what a moment for
They're
these
going to do
trainers.
the closing, or there's going to be the
Fantastic.
awards,
I mean,
and then
even Luca was
the
saying, like,
closing
this moment,
ceremony is
jumping
where
off the
anything would
stage,
be.
I mean, very cheering them. Fantastic.
It's those moments, isn't it, that you always remember when you think back to those World Championships, when a champion is crowned and they jump into the crowd and you've got all of their friends and family around them and kind of celebrating together. It's just a magical moment, and you know, this one is going to be immortalized now. Luca is the 2024 World Champion. It's incredible to see. So happy for him, and obviously everyone that is around him supporting him throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I think nobody's going to forget him jumping off stage with the fire going off. Very iconic, similar to Sejun's spin move, right? Everybody remembers that from his victory, and I think it was just so cool. Immediately understanding not only was this
Unite,
a
though,
big
that's
win for him,
per
but
team,
for
though,
his community,
right?
for his friends.
Do you
Really,
think there's 5 people a
appreciating
team?
being happy with himself with a victory, but also knowing the people that have helped get him to this position as champion.
Definitely one of my
I'm
favorite
surprised
moments, if
TCG's
not
the
the
most,
top
though.
favorite moment. But of course, we want to make sure that we can hear about your favorite moment and share it on Shoals, what you've thought of this weekend, who you're cheering for, what you enjoyed, and from every facet of the Pokemon World Championships, because we only get to cover a little bit of what's here in Hawaii, but it has been a great weekend overall. There's tips because we are cheering for what you enjoy. Of course, we have great weekend overall. There's still a smidge more for today, though, because of course we have our trophy ceremony over on the stage with Anna.
It has been something to remember.
Oh, Pikachu's up there.
You all came to watch the show. None of our trainers went down without a fight. I want to say a special shout out to everyone who played at events this year. Locals, regionals, internationals, and of course at Worlds. You are the reason that we're seeing such high caliber professional play here at Pokemon. So give yourselves a round of applause. Now we have some champions to crown.
Back again. I saw it again.
Please first give warm congratulations to your junior finalist, Tatsuomi Shimanuki.
God, that's so cool having the trophy. Imagine having that.
And now, let's hear it for our video game junior champion.
Look at Pikachu doing a little dance over there.
Next up, our video game senior finalist. Let's hear it for Luke Crow. Next up, our video game senior champion, Rei Yamanaka.
I like those pants he's got. Those are sick.
And now for our Masters division. Your video game Masters finalist is Yuta Ishigaki. And finally, your video game Masters champion, Luca Ceribelli!
Let's go! Let's go, dude! Let's go!
And now one big final round of applause to these top trainers of the Pokémon 2024 World Championship!
God, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. They got those sparklers, firework things in there. And the fire! God, that's so cool.
While we reset the stage for closing ceremonies, we're going to stop in the analyst lounge one last time to recap the epic journeys from this year's event. Don't go anywhere because closing ceremonies will be starting very soon, and of course have some special announcements.
Special announcements. Is that next year's Worlds or is that something else? Oh my God, Spraggles is here.
Have it. Our champions have been crowned. The World Championships has almost come to a close.
Suit.
They are preparing for an
Look
amazing closing ceremony up on the big stage with some announcements that you are not going to want to miss. I know they are really good because they refuse to tell me what they are. Hi, everybody. I am Jake, aka Spraggles, your resident content cowboy here. I am joined by Scott, Ross, and Butters. We're going to be talking about Unite, TCG, VGC, and Pokemon Go. Everything that happened this weekend.
So it goes. Spraggles is Unite. Scott is VGC. I don't apologize. I don't know his name. TCG, and then he said his name was Butters, and he's Go.
Better championship Sunday in the video game. Sometimes we get some strange matches when players get a
GC.
Hey, I think everyone probably just enjoyed a great show there. I don't know if we've ever had a better championship Sunday in the video game. Sometimes we get some strange matches when players get a full night to prepare. One side has a little advantage over another. Not the case at all this time. We went to 3 games in every set. Very much.
Yeah, every game, every match went to 3 games.
With a 5th place international
you do. Spraggles is the best. I played against Spraggles and he beat the piss out of me in Unite.
Almost won every big tournament in that division. Senior division match, super close. Maybe a Draco Meteor connection away from a championship. And yeah, in that Masters division final we just watched, so close toward the end there. Iron Valiant, valiantly coming up with a runner-up finish and just an excellent win there by Luca. Unfortunately, Yuta just unable to break the curse of Japan never, ever winning on odd number years.
That is one of my favorite weird facts that we have about it, but somehow it's still
Japan's true. Never won on an odd number year. Wait, it's an even.
Somehow it's
years. Just unable to break the curse of Japan never, ever winning on odd number years.
That is one of my favorite weird facts that we have.
Even number is
World tournaments, Japan gets the win. We had a Japanese player in the final. Unfortunately, Shinosuke was unable to take
this guy's voice, he's got like one of the best commentary voices there is for Pokemon.
Across the board. Fernando proved everybody wrong, and Red Drago coming in.
Look, he's got the Lugia. Shout out that dude with the Lugia.
Didn't even get to the final.
Wow, amazing. Tell me about Pokemon Go. I know there's a lot to talk about, not just what happened with the championships, but there's
the championship of Pokemon Go was sick. I watched it earlier.
Oh, yeah, I'm buzzing right now. This is the best day to be a Pokemon fan of the entire year, in my opinion. Actually, scratch that. Best 24 hours for Unite to be a part of that as well, because those sounded epic. And on our side, we had a trainer literally go from 0 wins in 2023 to the hero of 2024.
I was watching the game. We watched Yakai. We watched him on stream on Friday night.
First ever APAC region Pokemon Go champion, and then Inadequates. He is one of the most consistent trainers in Championship Series, but he's also probably the most talented team builder and team composition reader there is. He is able to read the opponent like I have never seen. Unfortunately, Yakai was the only trainer that he was unable to read, and Yakai was able to 3-1 him today. Martel Galde also put on an amazing performance with Whimsicott. I know we saw that in the VGC, but you don't see that much in Pokemon Go, so that was pretty epic.
I know it's Worlds, so you assume people are from all over the world, but just actually like seeing everyone all over the world, man, it's so cool.
We had an awesome championship Sunday.
I gotta ask, they had never won before and they won the entire thing? Yes. That's amazing.
Yes, I mean, they qualified 2 years in a row. So they had to qualify through the APAC qualifier. So they did do well in that. But in last year's Worlds, they went 0-2 and 0-4. They didn't win a single game. And this time, they didn't drop a single match. Going all the way through the winner's side of the bracket, Inadequates was unable to reset the bracket. So literally 0 to hero. It is an amazing Pokemon journey.
That's actually like insane.
Incredible. I mean, that makes me feel like maybe I could win. You know what? I think I can't, actually. Pokemon Unite was absolutely insane. We had another sort of number streak that was broken. We have only had a victor from North America. Both of our world championships were won by Luminosity. This year, Day 1, the former world champs knocked out of the tournament. Early in the day, we found out that we would not have a three-peat champion on our hands. In fact, it was going to have to be a region that had never made it to a grand finals before, which was pretty exciting. There were a few regions everyone had their eyes on. One was Japan. They have looked insane all year. It feels like Unite is exploding in Japan. The players are getting incredible, and Fennel was a team to look out for. We also had this early team Fusion, the first team to qualify through Worlds.
I'm the best Razor League Decidueye of all time.
The team to beat. Fusion starts making their way through the tournament, and then they end up getting knocked out by the underdog team, the dark horse, the team that so many people counted out, Zora Tigers Gaming from Korea. They make their way all the way through the bracket to the grand finals and face off against Japan, which is Fennel. Japan put on an insane performance, just like our last two world championships.
Yeah, dude, I love Spraggles. He's a great commentator.
They won 3-0 against their opponents. They didn't end it with
one thing I've noticed when they like interview people throughout Worlds,
they are the
they
world
ask them,
champions.
what's your favorite game to watch?
It was
almost everybody has always said Unite.
On top.
And Spraggles just adds such a good element to it with his commentary.
It was very
in Pokemon Go, we had the same thing. Our former world champion got knocked out in day 1. How did your guys' world champions do throughout this tournament?
We had a bunch of world champions that we were tracking throughout the weekend. Tord Reklev was 1 match point away from making it into the top cut. Diego Casaraga, your 2017 champion, was very, very close. We saw Vance Kelly in day 2. We had a bunch
see me
of
up on stage.
champions having good runs.
I don't think I'm good enough to be on stage. I want to be there just saying, guys, look, I'd want to be IRL streaming at Worlds. That's my goal.
You know what the question's going to be?
I do, yeah.
Did we have any Mammothswine on stream this weekend on Unite?
So, last year this question was asked, and I said, no, of course not. Mammothswine is not good enough. This year, Mamoswine won the World Championship.
Every time I looked at the screen, every single
Tobo
time
won
I
Worlds?
see Mamoswine, my boy, plodding along. I saw Night Mamoswine. I saw Christmas hat Mamoswine.
That's right, yeah.
I saw the Mamoswine that looks exactly like me with a hoodie and headphones and a baseball cap. Oh, made my day, that did.
Hey.
TCG was good, but I like me some Mamoswine.
Another 0 to hero for Mamoswine, right? Didn't win any games last year.
That's right.
This year wins the entire thing.
That's right. Mamoswine, a Pokemon that everyone has loved in Unite, never found its place in the meta, and now all of a
Tobo
sudden
won
is
Worlds.
the biggest thing.
Let's
I really do
go.
think it's because of your question last year. I think that was huge.
People were watching and they went, there will be next year, Ross.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me a little bit. What happened with the champs?
I mean, we had a wide variety of champions. We're just throwing them at the bracket as quickly as we could. Every world champion who played on the stream in day one lost, so maybe we were the problem with the stream. We needed to stop showing them. We did have both our reigning world champion and well as a former world champion in Wolf Glick make it to the top 32 of the tournament. Both of them lost that round, and that was kind of a story of the tournament. I think a lot of our big names, our tournament favorites, really struggled.
Did you call him Wolf or Wolfie?
Well, as a former world champion in Wolf Glick,
Wolf Glick.
Quality of play has really never been higher. So I think everyone's probably looking at this tournament thinking, oh man, I'm really going to have to work next year if I want to compete with these guys.
Amazing. I would love to talk with you boys about Mamoswine all night long, but we have the closing ceremony ready up on the big stage.
The closing ceremony, the closing ceremony. So this is where they'll announce Worlds for next year, and also some people are saying there's going to be announcements for games. This Worlds has been so good, man. This has been so much, like Hawaii I feel is a perfect place for Worlds. Like all the artwork and stuff we've seen for everything has been amazing. All the commentary has been great. All the coverage has been great. All the games have been amazing to watch as well. Everything's just been phenomenal for Worlds so far this year. And here we go with the closing ceremony. We will get the announcement of the location for the next World Championships. And everyone's saying they think we're going to get something in regards to some games. Let's see and find out. I'm just juiced to hear where it's going to be next year. My guess is Sydney, Australia.
Pokémon Worlds 2024. Many years at Worlds, as you know, we like to preview the latest and greatest to come to the Pokemon universe, and this year is no different. But
oh my God, they're going to announce something.
Let's take a moment to look back on this weekend.
Oh my God, they're going to announce something. They're going to announce something. They're going to announce something.
You showed the way, you opened up the door. Now we stand among legends and shout your names. Your light will never fade away.
I'd be out there killing it in bags. Look at Rowlet on the plane. Rowlet, you're a star. The giant Pikachu. They had that lady completely blurred out. Do you see that? God, I want one of those bags so bad.
No room for mistakes.
The bags are so cool. I might have to buy one on eBay. The trophies. The cards are so sick as well. The CEO of Pokemon. This was all the opening ceremony we watched on Friday. There's Wolfie! Wolfie! That's the former champ of Go.
Shout your name.
Look at Spraggles.
Your
Worlds is so cool, man. It's the pinnacle of Pokemon. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Oh, it's repeating what Purple Cliff said. In his Worlds video from last year, Worlds 2023, he said entering into the convention center is unlike anything else because it's one of the only places in the world, if not the only place in the world, where you go there and everyone else there is as obsessed with Pokemon as you are. And it's like, just thinking about that, I'm like, God, I want to go so bad to Worlds one day, just experience what it's like. It seems like it's so cool.
What an event! The memories from this weekend will be treasured. I know I personally am so proud to be part of this with all of you. Now, we have some news and updates to share. To present those, please welcome to the stage the president and CEO of the Pokémon Company, Mr. Tsunekazu Ishihara!
They're bringing out the president to announce something new. Mr. President!
「観戦してくださった皆さん、本当にありがとうございます。そして新しい世界チャンピオンになられた皆さん、心からおめでとうございます。
Thank you everyone for tuning in and congratulations to all of our new world champions.
今年の世界大会は格別なイベントとなりました。皆さんの温かいご支援に感謝いたします。
This has been one of our best events to date, and I am thankful to all of you for your warm support.
また今年の世界大会の成功にご尽力くださったボランティアの方々、大会スタッフの皆さんに感謝します。
And thank you to all of the staff and volunteers who worked so hard to make this event a big success.
I like his fit, dude. He's got some cool jeans on, the sick Pokemon shirt, some Nike SBs. The president of Pokemon knows how to dress.
それではこれからポケモンの最新情報をいくつかお伝えしましょう。
Don't forget the Apple Watch as well.
Now, I would like to share some of the latest news for our Pokemon games.
ポケモン GO は先日8周年を迎えました。
Pokemon Go recently celebrated its 8th anniversary.
Yes, Pokemon Go. My favorite Pokemon game ever.
豊かなゲームに成長していくのを私は目の当たりにしてきました。地元の公園で友達と一緒にレイドを楽しむ遊びから最高レベルの競技プレイまで誰もが楽しめる幅広いゲームになりました。そんなポケモン GO に新機能がまだまだ追加されます。
It has been exciting for me to see how full and rich the game has become, with something for everyone, from friends raiding together in local parks to the highest tiers of competitive play. And there are still many more new features to come.
では予告を
Ooh, you think they're gonna announce Dynamaxing?
Here is a preview.
Oh my god, they're showing video? It's gonna be the Galar starters. It's gonna be the Galar starters. It's not gonna be 2040. Shadow Charizard, Morpeko. Is Morpeko in? Wait, is Morpeko not in the game yet? Morpeko's the announcement. I don't want Morpeko. Can someone tell them that there's starters in Galar? That's not. Wait, there's more. There's more. There's more. This is gonna be Dynamaxing. This is gonna be Dynamaxing. Everyone shut up and watch. Bradley, are you seeing this? Something big is coming. They didn't say anything. As for right now, the Players Presents gave more information than this.
So Morpeko is coming to Pokemon Go, and it will have the ability to change its form within a battle using a charged attack.
That'll be cool. I wonder if that'll be good in battle.
バトル環境にどう影響するのか楽しみです。
We're very excited to see how it may affect the Pokemon Go's competitive environment.
さらにポケモン GO の世界に
It's definitely going to be good competitive because why else would they announce that at World's closing ceremony?
近日中に公開される続報をお楽しみに。
Additionally, you can look forward to something gigantic coming to the world of Pokemon Go. Please stay tuned for more details soon.
So whenever we get a presents, that's when they're going to announce the Dynamaxing stuff probably. And Gigantamaxing.
ポケモンユナイトは3周年を迎えました
Pokemon Unite recently celebrated its 3rd anniversary.
Tell me you're buffing every stat on the Decidueye.
アクティブで情熱的なコミュニティが
And Crustle.
描いていることに
Crustal's been on stage all weekend. Is that the Easter egg? Crustal's getting a giga buff of every stat?
決勝戦にも現れていました一昨日に発表された500点選手の新モードは今後の戦いに大きな影響を与えるかもしれません
I'm thankful that we have such an active and passionate community, and the World Finals match yesterday was truly a testament to their spirit. And the new 500-point mode that was revealed the other day may have a role in future competitions.
さて、ポケモンユナイトの最新映像はこちらです
Here's the sneak peek at the next updates for Pokemon Unite.
You think this is going to be for new Pokemon being added in? New Pokemon join the fray. Wait, didn't we already know that thing was coming in? Armor Rouge? Wait, Cerulege is already in the game. What? Armor Rouge is new. Armor Rouge is new. Ooh, that was a sick animation for the move. Okay. 2 new Pokemon, 2 more new Pokemon. Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? Dialga. No, I hate Dialga. Oh, Darkrai. Darkrai's gonna be. Oh my god, he puts you to sleep. I'm gonna throw my phone out the window playing that when I get put to sleep by Darkrai for 15 times. But that's sick though. I want to play him. Pikachu. It's Pikachu. It's Pikachu. It's Pikachu. There's no way it's Psyduck. Is this a meme? What is Psyduck gonna do when it goes against Ho-Oh? I can't lie, but that's 3 sick new Pokemon being added in. Nobody would have guessed Psyduck was getting added in. I'm hyped for that. That's gonna be sick, man.
グレンアルマ、ダークライ、コダックが参戦します。近日中公開される続報をお待ちください。
Armor Rouge, Darkrai, and Psyduck are preparing to dive into the action. More information will be coming your way in the near
Do you
future.
think he has all these lines memorized?
次に今年リリースされるポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットの最新映像を
Pokemon Pocket, Pokemon Pocket, Pokemon Pocket.
Now, please take a look at this new trailer for this year's upcoming title, Pokemon.
This year. Oh my god, are they gonna give a release date for Pokemon Pocket? Oh my god. The Charizard pack! The Charizard pack! Greninja! That Articuno is so cool. Charizard! Dande! Glurak! You had it in the German name! God, the Moltres and the Articuno are so... Or Zapdos are so cool. Is that Sabrina? Ooh. The special cards. Who's that on the bottom right there? Gardevoir. Was that a shiny Gardevoir? So there's trading in the game, looking at all your cards you've collected. That Pidgeot's sick. Grand total acquired. I'm gonna go crazy on this game. I wanna play this game so bad, man. October 30th, we have a date for Pocket! Pre-order? Oh my god, is that Mewtwo breaking out of the tube? No, he's breaking out of a window. Wait, where's Mewtwo going?
1996年の発売以来
Pokemon Pocket, October 30th. We have a date.
ポケモンカードを集めることです。
2 months away, pretty much. What's the date today? August 18th. We're about 2 months away.
新たなデジタルフォーマットでお届けするのが
2 and a half months away.
カードゲームポケットです。
Players all over the world have been enjoying collecting Pokemon cards since their debut in 1996. Now, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket lets you easily collect Pokemon cards in a new digital format.
本日から
I'm so excited for Pocket. I'm so excited to play that game.
事前登録ができるようになりました。この秋、皆さんにポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットを遊んでもらえるのを楽しみにしています。
Trainers can pre-register now via the App Store and Google Play, and we're so excited for you to have the
Pre-register on
opportunity
the App
to play
Store.
Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket this fall.
続いてはポケモンカードゲームの最新情報をお知らせしたいと思います。
It's not on the App Store.
Next, we'd like to share some news about the Pokemon Trading Card Game.
I didn't see anything on the App Store.
こちらの映像をご覧ください。
Tell us you're bringing
So
Gold
please
Stars
have a look at
back.
this video.
Tell me you're bringing Gold Stars back. Wingull, okay. I like Wingull. Comfy, Cutiefly. I like this animation. Clefairy. Oh, it's Lily. The Malasadas? That's what that big fatty Sophocles is always eating. Murkrows. The Murkrow stole them! Hey, Murkrow, give those back! Clefairy ain't playing around with its snacks. Lily's Clefairy. Oh my god, they're bringing these back. They did this during Diamond and Pearl. Oh my god, they're bringing back these kind of trainer cards. Like trainer Pokemon cards. Like there's the Cynthia Rayquaza. And Garchomp, give us a Lance's Dragonite and a Red's Charizard, and I will never, ever say anything bad about anything in the TCG ever again. Give us Ash's Ash Greninja. Oh my god, that's the Dark Terror Dragonite, or Charizard. That's the one from the guy from the anime. Freed. Oh, my boy Iron Hand. Dragapult. Is that Reshiram? Oh my god, it's gonna be Yen's Reshiram. Oh my god! Give us En's Reshiram. Give us En's Reshiram. Baxcalibur! I'm getting chills, dude. This is one of the coolest trailers I've ever seen. And Zoroark, everyone think N is a Zoroark. Reshiram. Where's Charizard? And Zoroark! And oh! Give us an End Reshiram. Give us an End Reshiram. Okay, the Reshiram is cool. I was hoping the Reshiram... Oh my god, look at that card! That was gold. That's gold! Wait. In Rocket's like Team Rocket sensor. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's go. This is gonna be insane. I skipped.
We hope you look forward to the excitement that the introduction of trainers Pokemon will bring to the Pokemon trading card game.
They're returning. They're adding them. We're bringing them back.
Entering
in the game, they're coming back to the game.
ここに幕を閉じますが、 今後の世界大会
Oh
を
my,
見据えたい
give
と
me
思います
Red's Mega
次
Charizard.
の世界大会の
Or just Red's Charizard.
開催地
Or
を見て
Lance's
みましょう。
Dragonite. Or Ash's
Now
Ash
we're about to
Greninja.
close out our event here in Honolulu. I would like to take a look at the future of the Pokemon World Championships. Let's see where we're going next.
Oh my god, where are we going next year? Where are we going next year? It's LA. Anaheim. We got Macy's in this. I don't want to see Macy's. Anaheim's in California, right? Then we already know next year it got leaked out of San Francisco. Yeah, see, they're announcing this now because it got leaked. Because a stupid hotel said. I'm gonna be at one. I'm gonna be at one. I'm gonna be at one. You're gonna see me there. Mark my words, I'm gonna be at one of those. I'm gonna get invited by Pokemon. I ain't going to compete. I'm going there to be an entertainer. You're gonna see me IRL streaming or something like that there.
Thank you, everyone, for always supporting Pokemon.
No problem. Thank you for making amazing content.
お会いしましょう。
And I look forward to seeing you all next year.
Dude, the TCG stuff is crazy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ishihara! As the 2024 Pokemon World Championships draw to a close, we leave more fulfilled and inspired than ever before. We've crowned new world champions and made new friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. The future of Pokemon shines bright, with the 2025 season coming up quickly on the horizon. A heartfelt thank you to our gracious hosts in Hawaii for the unforgettable weekend. Thank you all for your unwavering support of Pokemon. Until next time, trainers, stay strong, stay passionate, and we'll see you in the next chapter of our incredible journey. Bye for now.
And that's it. The end of the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. My goal for next year, I want to get invited to Worlds by Pokemon. I want to get big enough to where Pokemon's inviting me to Worlds. That's my goal for Worlds next year. That's my goal.
No matter
Hawaii is the perfect place for Worlds, man. Can I get that big boy Lax plushie? What are they doing with that thing afterwards?
The spirit of the game.
Worlds is the best, man. It's so cool. All the biggest games coming together. People competing at the highest level. Everybody there being obsessed with Pokemon. Are these all the competitors here on the left they're showing?
Let's go, we've been waiting all year, and we're so ready for this. We know why we all.
So they've already been to Anaheim and San Francisco. San Francisco was 2016 when Wolfie won. In 2017 was Anaheim, the year after Wolfie won.
Let's give them something to remember. We can give it all we got tonight. We're not going home till we win the fight. Let's give them something to remember. We can leave it all on the floor tonight. We're not going home till we win the fight. So let's put on a show.
Well, we got some cool announcements there. Some cool stuff for Unite, for Go. Most important, the release date for Pocket. Most importantly, though, the date for the TC, or the stuff for the TCG. The stuff for the TCG was, I think, the biggest stuff. Those trainer cards coming back. Oh, God, I'm so excited for those. Those are going to be so sick. And they're going to make another Team Rocket set, too. That's what that R was at the end. Nothing ZA, though. I see you guys asking about ZA. So I'm really thinking now that ZA is going to be... We're not going to get anything for ZA until the next console. So I think it's going to be on the next console then. Because why wouldn't they have said anything if it was going to be on the Switch? I think what they're going to do is they're going to release, or we're going to get the announcement for the new console. And then maybe in the you think they would do a Nintendo Direct where they announce the new console and then they go, here's like a game that's going to be on the console and that's ZA in a Nintendo Direct?
We got some new tricks up our sleeves.
Dude, the thing is though, like for years now, we've had 2 Pokemon Presents. Right now we have 1.5. The Players Presents and the Pokemon Day Presents. You'll phase Alien, that's what I'm thinking. You said my guess is Switch 2 will have the launch title of Legends ZA. That would make Switch 2 and Legends ZA sell like insane because everyone's going to want to get the new console and everyone's going to want to play the Pokemon game on the new console. And then there's all people that want to buy ZA. They're going to make so much money if they do that. And honestly, I would rather wait. I'm fine with us not knowing anything and just us waiting indefinitely for ZA if it means it's going to be on the new console. Because if it's on the new console, that just means the game will be that much better. Yeah, like, there's probably some combo thing you could do. Get the new console and ZA.
While the island sunset glows, making new memories of my family.
Well, let me tell you guys at the end here. I had a great time streaming Worlds. I came up with this idea like the beginning of May. Beginning of May, if you look at consoles, every other console fails, GameCube failed, Wii succeeded, Wii U failed, Switch succeeded, so maybe you can let ZA the fail safe to avoid that. But I think the new console's gonna do good no matter what. Because you have ZA, if you have ZA on it and Gen 10, it's destined for greatness. Go back to what I was saying. I came up with the idea to stream Worlds in like May, because I saw stuff or maybe June, May or June. I saw OniPixel do this stuff for Counter-Strike. I've seen clips of him on TikTok. I've never played Counter-Strike or watched any of his streams before, but I saw his clips, looked him up, and saw he did the watch party things for Counter-Strike. I saw Tim the Tatman was doing one for Rainbow Six Siege. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do that for Pokemon Worlds. So here we were streaming Worlds Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These have been some of my favorite streams I've ever done. Right now, across all social medias, I'm doing better numbers than I've ever done. I'm gaining more followers on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, gaining more subscribers on YouTube, more viewers on YouTube. I had my most viewed video of all time on YouTube this week. This week's been crazy for me. The week of Worlds 2024. This is only the start, though. This is only the start, everyone. I'm gonna become the biggest Pokemon creator in the world. I'm promising you that. I'm gonna become the king of Pokemon, the Poke Playa. I will be the biggest Pokemon creator in the world. I can promise you that. My goal for next year, I want to get invited by Pokemon to Worlds 2025. Because they invite people like Leonhardt, like Purple Cliff, and everything in Poke Playa. Those are literally the 2 of the biggest creators in the world for Pokemon. I'm going to be up there with them. And I know if I get invited to Worlds by Pokemon, that I'm that close. I'm that close to becoming the biggest there is. So that is my goal for next year. That's my goal for next year. I'm going to do everything we possibly can to do that. I'm going to be making insane videos, insane streams, posting clips and stuff every single day. So hope you guys are looking forward to it. Hope you guys are looking forward to everything I have in store, because this next year is going to be crazy. I'm so excited for everything that's to come, but this weekend, man, was absolutely special and so much fun and so exciting. I appreciate all those that took the time to tune into any of the streams. Tune into the stream on Friday, tune into the stream on Saturday, tune into this stream tonight, the final stream. Unfortunately, Wolfie couldn't get it done after going 16-0 on day 1, but it is what it is. Had an awesome time watching the rest of the battles. Glad to see Luca win in the end. Shout out to all the other winners and stuff. It was awesome. Shout out to all the casters and stuff, dude. This was an awesome event. Had tons of fun following along with it. I had a great time streaming it all with all you guys. To everybody that tuned in tonight, thank you so much. Arceus, thank you for tuning in over there on Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in. Technical Dom, I appreciate that. Dayol, thank you for tuning in. Phase Alien, thank you for tuning in on Twitch. Crowbird, thank you for tuning in. OTX, thank you for taking the time to tune in. M, thank you for taking the time to tune in. Louis Cat, thank you for the dono. OTX, thank you for becoming a member as well. Zach Track, thank you for tuning in. Execute, thank you for taking the time to tune in. All those that tuned in tonight, thank you guys so much. I scrolled up as far as I can in the chat. Everyone that tuned in tonight, everyone that watched the stream, left a comment, typed in the chat. Dropped a like, subscribe this weekend. Thank you guys so much. I truly do appreciate it. I will be live tomorrow morning once again. We're going to do some of the randomizer in the morning, and then we will be, I'm going to do some showdown. I'll put some teams together based on some of the teams we saw here in Worlds tonight, so that'll be fun tomorrow. As for this stream here tonight, as for the Pokemon 2024 Worlds streams, this is the end. This is the conclusion of it, and I thank you all so very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and this is the PokePlaya, the future king of Pokemon, signing out.